This is ABC News with David Rowlands. One Nation leader, Pauline Hanson, says she wants to crack down on the type of migrants that are allowed into Australia in her latest proposed immigration policy. She says One Nation would ban all migrants from countries on Smart Travellers Do Not Travel list, including Lebanon, Iran, Sudan and Syria. Hanson says if countries aren't safe enough for Australians to travel to, it's not safe to let their citizens into Australia. And she's made the following claim.
A lot of the terrorist attacks that have happened in Australia have happened from these people who have not been vetted properly, who have been refugees, and that's where a lot of the terrorism has happened. I don't give a damn. I don't make apologies for being tough on this. It's about time someone did.
An Israeli airstrike on southern Lebanon has killed 7 people and wounded 3 in one of the deadliest attacks since a precarious truce between Israel and the Iranian-backed Hezbollah militant group came into effect nearly 2 months ago. Larry Buttrose has more.
Lebanon's state-run national news agency says the strike targeted a home on the edge of the village of Ansar in the country's south, and paramedics are still searching through the rubble. Israel and the Lebanese government announced a framework agreement on June 26, laying out a plan for Israeli forces to withdraw from southern Lebanon in exchange for the disarmament of Hezbollah. It also envisions steps towards an eventual peace agreement between the two countries, which technically remain in a state of war nearly 80 years after Israel's establishment. Hezbollah has refused direct talks and wasn't party to the deal.
The search is continuing for survivors following a powerful magnitude 7.7 earthquake off the coast of the Indonesian island of Flores that's killed at least 20 people. More from the BBC's Asta Destra Ajengastri in Jakarta.
It's very difficult to reach the area. The epicenter of the quake is about 2,000 kilometers away from the capital, Jakarta. And it also hit different parts of the region. We've seen the closest city, Sika, and Maumere, which is the closest to the epicenters, a lot of damage in that area. But also we see in other places nearby in the western part of Flores Island, and then in Labuan Bajo, which is a touristy area where people go to see the ocean.
The New York prosecutor in the case of Luigi Mangione says he'll seek a sentence of life imprisonment for him. The 28-year-old has pleaded guilty to the fatal shooting of health insurance executive Brian Thompson on a Manhattan street in 2024 and is due to be sentenced in December. The US Attorney for New York's Southern District, Jamie McDonald, says life imprisonment for Mangione would send a message about violence.
Mangione attempted to send a public message through violence, but the message that emerges today is very different. Violence is not a legitimate instrument to promote any political or social message, and those who resort to violence in an effort to advance their beliefs will be prosecuted, convicted, and put in jail.
Hundreds of people have gathered in Alice Springs today for the funeral of Kumanjai Little Baby. The little girl's family invited the wider community to join them for today's service, acknowledging the hundreds of volunteers who searched for the 5-year-old when she went missing from a town camp earlier this year. Ahead of the service, the girl's grandfather, Robin Granitz, said it was important for people to come together following the period of cultural mourning known as Sorry Business.
In our culture way, we used to get together, paint it up, and making sure that you are being there to be helped and represent on your family from your communities, and that way we know that we are all connected in culture, coming together, and that's our big culture. Sorry business is the main thing of all things.
Police have charged a man for allegedly threatening a person with a knife in Newcastle in the New South Wales Hunter region. Police say 2 men were confronted by a man armed with a knife in a car park around 5 o'clock on Wednesday evening. A 40-year-old man from Bar Beach was arrested shortly after and charged with domestic violence-related offences of stalking and intimidation. He's been formally refused bail and is facing court next Wednesday. And in sport, Australia is battling to save the first cricket test against Bangladesh in Darwin. At stumps on day 3, Australia is 4 for 161 with Cameron Green not out on 43 and Alex Carey on 19. The hosts are still 67 runs behind Bangladesh after the tourists scored 426 in reply to Australia's first innings tally of 190.
Get ready for a year of Test cricket like you've never heard before.
Pitches up, hits the bat, now is that out? It's LBW.
Grandstand cricket.
12 months, 20 test matches, New Zealand at home over summer, the 3 most iconic overseas tours, the 150th anniversary test under lights at the MCG.
Driving through the covers and crunching it away to the boundary.
And it starts now with Australia versus Bangladesh.
Pitch out the leg before, finger goes up and Cummins strikes.
Listen to every ball live from the top end. On ABC Listen, just look for the cricket button.
ABC Sport.
We begin this broadcast by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which this match will be played today and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. We extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples listening.
Boy, we're going to have some fun.
The AFL in 2026 on ABC Sport.
And the siren sounds. Here we go. Listen to the roar. It is showtime.
You take a seat because it don't get better than this.
Right to the goal line. Jamie Elliott, the man who gravity forgot.
That's why we love AFL football.
On ABC Sport, this is the AFL.
Sit back, relax, witness the greatest. It don't get better than this.
From 45 and rise it all the way home.
An ambitious effort. Unbelievable.
The left foot is a goal.
Oh, yeah. Take a seat because it don't get better than this.
Throws it, kicks on goal. The prancing pony.
What a goal.
He's off and running from 45 to get the party started.
Take a seat because it don't get better than this.
It's bouncing, it's through. Bailey Smith, he'll want the cameras on him right now.
Light camera action, baby. Countdown to contact.
Spins around and buries it.
Loads up from 55. That's a monster bomb.
40 metres out, snaps towards goal. What a beautiful finish.
Baker goes square, goes for glory.
He eyes the goals and sends it home.
100% pure footy.
Every minute of every match, all season long.
Gathers, snaps, goal.
It's just football at its best.
Take a seat because it don't get better than this.
Kick on goal, dribbles it through. What about that? Took them all on and said, I'll have some of this.
Bailey pinches his pocket and bang, bang, bang. That's the price you pay against the Premier.
Watson snaps. Oh, Watson puts it through. And the Wizard arrives precisely on time. He's built for the big stage. On his left boot, his kick is good.
Inside 50, off a step, turns and goes bang. And snap.
And goal.
There's some bravery through the middle of the ground.
How good is that? What a goal. He wastes no time. He whacks it through for another. It doesn't have to be your night, but it can be your moment. Hands it to Charlie Cameron. He can walk it in. Show him your tail lights, Charlie.
Welcome to ABC Sports coverage of the 2026 AFL Premiership season.
Runs the 50 out. What a way to finish.
On radio
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
and ABC Listen.
You take a seat because it don't get better than this.
Hawthorn and Collingwood meet again in the penultimate round of the home and away season in an intriguing contest to shape September spots. After Dylan Moore's goal after the siren in round 8, resulting in the only draw of the season so far, Hawthorn have climbed their way to the top 4 with 14 wins for the season. But the challenge now is to try and stay there. Well, the Magpies, well, they've been described as a middle-of-the-road side by their coach. They fought their way into the wildcard position. Can they host a wildcard? They're in 8th spot on the ladder, 12 wins, 8 losses and a draw. Matt Clinch with you for ABC Sport. There is a late change. The man of the week, Steele Sidebottom, is out, having announced his retirement. He's out with illness, and Harvey Harrison comes in. Well, for the Hawks, it's a 200-game milestone for James Sicily and Max Beattie, their mid-season pickup in the 2026 draft from Woodville, West Torrens. He makes his debut on the MCG this afternoon. Clint Weldon to call the action alongside me. Welcome across, Clint. Great to see you.
Fantastic to be here, Matt. It's starting to genuinely feel like finals, isn't it? These two powerhouse clubs go head-to-head, massive crowd expected. I know a number of Collingwood fans will be disappointed that the man of the week with Sidebottom saying he's going to retire at the end of the season. They'd have been coming down hoping to give him an enormous cheer. Won't be with us, unfortunately, due to illness. But yes, so much at stake where both of these clubs are placed on the ladder. And can we have the same riveting, rip-roaring finish that we got the last time these two clubs went at it? The first draw in the history of these sides playing each other. 174 times they've played each other. One draw the last time they met. Wonder how Dylan Moore's feeling ahead of this one after getting the draw-making goal last time out.
We're about to head inside the Hawthorn camp. The youngest ever Essendon Premiership player is on double duty today. Adam Ramanauskas, welcome to you.
Well, good evening now. It was good afternoon earlier here at the MC, but now it's good evening. And I think there's going to be a few more people here than the Richmond St Kilda game this afternoon. But looking forward, I agree with Clint. I just think games now, they've got that little bit more meaning. Ladder positions now are becoming a lot more evident and important. This one, they could face off each other again in a couple of weeks' time in a final series. So do you put all your cards on the table and go for it, or you hold a couple of things back? But really looking forward to it tonight.
And alongside Rama, he's been wrestling the Eastern Freeway, but Daniel Harford is here. Welcome to you, Harf.
Nice to be with his crew. Very excited about this contest. Excited to work with Rama. Youngest ever Premiership player at the Bombers. Geez, they were just handing them out, weren't they? Just opportunities to young fellas back then. You didn't earn it, clearly. But I'm excited to work with you, Rama, and keen to see what the Hawks do on the back of what happened last week.
Yes.
Because they were absolutely monstered by the Brisbane Lions up at the Gabba. And I reckon we're getting an insight into what Sam Mitchell might be thinking about what's required to win in September with the one ruck situation. There's one specialist situation with Reeves being omitted tonight. So it's another look at what Sam Mitchell might want to have post-season in September.
Well, you've let us in beautifully. Let's head down into the Hawthorn camp. Tim Hodges is on the boundary for us tonight. He's alongside one of their assistant coaches, Dave McKay. Hodgie, welcome to you.
Clinchy, hi to you and the team. Dave has been good enough to join us straight off the training track after the warm-ups. 8 days your team's had to stew on the Gabba horror show. How has the week been?
Look, it's been a good week. We reviewed the game pretty strongly and really went after the areas that we got beaten in last week, and had a really good week on the track, an extra day, so we're able to get a little bit more work in, and expecting a good response tonight.
Talking about 85,000 here tonight, can you make it a real dress rehearsal for what's to come for this footy club in a few weeks' time?
Oh, look, it's needless to say, it's an important game for a number of reasons, and I guess as this group has evolved over the last few years, we've really embraced these moments, these games, and gone after them. So, tonight's no different. Obviously, quality opponent, big stage. We think our group really is excited by that opportunity.
We appreciate your time so close to the ball up. I'll send you upstairs to Rama and Half.
Dave, Daniel Harford, mate, good luck to you and the lads tonight. I'm interested in the selection with Ned Reeves going out. Is it a bit of a look into what September might look like structurally for the Hawks?
Look, to be fair, we haven't looked beyond this week, really. It's I guess changing the structure a little bit in the setup of the team this week. We bring a little bit more running power, a little bit more speed into the side, and but we're still, we're not locked into anything at the moment. We're certainly trying to find the best mix, and Ned's been really important for us this year. He's given us really good opportunity at stoppage around the ground and centre bound. So, obviously we've got to, fill the void a little bit in that sense tonight. But we think we add a little bit more, running power and speed, which will help us.
Would you have liked to have been a bit more settled with the team leading into the last couple of weeks?
Oh no! Look, we've had a few injuries throughout the year. I guess the one real positive for us is we've had 9 debutants and, really played, exposed a lot of our list, which has been really exciting. See some young guys come through, and, we think that's going to help us in the back end, and we think, that exposure allows those guys to come in and, play a role, and so we've looked at it really in a positive lens.
Dave, what to do with Nick Dacos tonight? Tag, not tag, go head-to-head with him. He's been an exceptional player this season, Brownlow medal favourite and the like. It feels like he is the driving force in their midfield. What to do with him tonight?
Yeah, obviously we've got plans for Nick, quality player in ripping form. So there's obviously limiting his damage is really important. He's a good player. He's going to be hard to, I guess, stop getting access to the ball for the whole night. But in terms of limiting his damage, that's going to be important. We know, they certainly don't just rely on him. They have a strong system, and he's part of that. So our focus really, big picture, has been on combating their system, and then certainly monitoring him.
James Sicily, 200 games tonight. What makes him a good leader? Because from the outside, you see the theatrics on the field where he's outwardly emotional with decisions from the umpire, or a little argument here with an opposition player, or even sometimes his own player. But Monday to Friday, what's he like as a captain?
Look, Sis is, what you see is what you get. And that's why it makes him such a great leader, and why he's the captain of the footy club. At times he does cross that line, but we love him playing on the edge, and it's what makes him such a great player. And during the week, he really invested in understanding the game and helping, I guess, coach that to the younger part of the squad. And game day, we just asked him to play on edge, play aggressive, and play his role. And when he does that, he's one of the elite players in the competition.
And finally, Dave, as we'll let you go, tell us about Max Beattie. He becomes your 10th debutant for the year, the most since 2005.
Yeah, Max is a great story. Mid-season draft, playing in the SANFL. We love what he brings. He's speed, energy, composure with the ball in our front half. So yeah, it's really exciting for him to get his opportunity. But he's earned it really, through form in the VFL, off limited opportunities. Coming in through the mid-season. But we couldn't have been more impressed and excited to see him do his stuff tonight.
Really appreciate your time, Dave. Good luck tonight.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Dave McKay joining us from the Hawks in the lead-up to tonight's game. Hawthorn and Collingwood from the MCG. Just repeating the late change, still Sidebottom is out with illness, and Harvey Harrison comes in.
Well, that's an interesting, that last question that you asked. 10 debutants for Hawthorn this year. That's a smart club in transition. Staying, finals bound, top four, wherever they are at the moment. Other clubs, and Clint and I had a long conversation about this off air before we came on. Other clubs are prepared to keep pushing and pushing and pushing before they recognise the situation. Now, Hawthorn have recognised the situation and gone, we can be ultra competitive half still and get these young kids filtering through in and out of the team, but make sure we give them games. Whereas some other clubs go, Clint, you know what? We're just going to try and squeeze the lemon all the way till we get right down
to the well again.
Yeah, we're going back to the well. We're going again and again.
So can you win it with that mindset?
Well,
or are you conceding that perhaps this isn't your time and you're going to prepare for next?
I'm probably saying you're thinking about the next time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're ultra competitive. So your fans are coming to the football every single week thinking you may win. Whereas these other teams down the bottom that hold on to it too long, their fans are going to the football and knowing they're going to lose.
Yeah, well, I must admit, when I heard there was another debutant coming in this week, I thought, gee whiz, it was a bit like you at 93. Sorry, 93.
2000.
01, you beat us at this very venue. That's why it comes up.
Celebrated prelim final, don't you?
Shut up, mate. I thought, gee whiz, it's either slim pickings or these kids come from nowhere and really does fit into the system. And that's why I asked Dave McKay the question about, would you like to have had the team a bit more settled at this end of the year? Because in the last couple of weeks, with wildcard round coming up, if you finish in the top six, which Hawthorn should do, you're going to have that week off, so you're going to lose a bit of momentum getting ready for that first final you play in the final. So I reckon, perfect world, they'd like to have had a bit more settled line-up in the last couple of weeks.
So how do you assess last week's loss to the Brisbane Lions? 67-point losers. Nick Watson held goalless for the first time this season. There's some that have said there's a couple of cracks there that have exposed. There's others that say everyone's entitled to a blimp on the radar.
I thought it exposed their midfield last week. I still think they're a midfielder short. Connor Nash hasn't played for a long time, and now he's out for the remainder of the season half. He was very, very underrated in the role that he was playing because he had a defensive mindset, so he's prepared to do the grunt work. But now, losing Warple, obviously that's even harder now. So you didn't have Will Day for half the season. So I think they're one short there. I think their backs are fine. I think forwards work okay. But I just think they're a midfielder short.
Well, that's the chase for merit. So they've identified that in the last couple of years. They know where they're deficient. I think structurally they got pulled apart a bit last week. I don't think it was Mitch's best night in the coach's box. Hasn't had many bad ones, but I reckon that one would chalk up as one that he'd like to have again. with his matchups and some of the things that went on. So I think, being the competitor that he is, I've got no doubt that as soon as that siren sounded last weekend, he was getting ready for this one and absolutely dotting every I and crossing every T to make sure they come out firing tonight.
Well, margins like that in the run to a final series suggests that you're not going to win it. So I think I heard a stat this week, a team losing by 10-plus goals this late in the season. It's ridiculous amount of years that they've been able to win a premiership. So that worries me for Hawthorn.
On that, though, Brisbane, of course, the week before that had been belted by 76 points and absolutely looked like everyone put a line through them pretty much, and then hit back really strongly against the Hawks. Can we see that sort of a response from these teams?
Well, I thought the difference with that, there's a body of work from Brisbane that you go, okay, their forward half of the ground has been really solid this year. Their back half of the ground has been horrible. So can Brisbane effectively put a 6-week block together, which they did with their first premiership where they just won? Can they do it again? So on evidence of last week and again tonight, they've beaten the Suns up at the Gabba. I've got more trust in Brisbane doing it than Hawthorn doing it.
Oh, yeah. Well, they know they can. And this is and you know this better than anyone, Ramit. You've been there to the biggest dance, and you know you can. Once you've been to the top of the mountain, you know you can. So Brisbane have done that the last couple of years, and I'm not necessarily saying that they just sort of float in and out and get ready when it's finals time, but they know they can flip a gear if they need to. We saw it last week. That was a gear flip from them against the Hawks. I would expect to see a similar situation here tonight. If Hawthorn are serious about contending, they would need to put in a really strong performance tonight.
I want to see Hawthorn a little bit nasty tonight.
Yeah.
That's what I think the nice passages of play and the goals and the celebrations, that's fine. That's great. But I think you need a little bit of nastiness coming into a final series. And I'm not sure who that is. Probably the skipper in James Sicily, but he'll tip too far over the edge. So I want it to be somebody else tonight.
Also, what is their weapon against the best sides? They've got Jack Gunston and Nick Watson, who have both kicked over 50 goals. They've got a forward line which features Mitch Lewis and Marbiel Chol in it, but it feels like they're not quite as strong as what they were in the early stages of the season.
Their weapon is their ball movement. So from back half to front half, how quickly they can do it. Gunston's always the deepest forward. He starts behind the goal line at times. So Hawthorn love to make the field really big and force you to defend him. So if Gunston comes up, it just makes the ground small. But he's lengthening to make sure there's gaps everywhere for Hawthorn's ball movement.
They do defend pretty well.
Hawthorn,
yeah,
they do. Barris and Battle.
I reckon that's one of their weapons too.
Jarman Impey's having a career best year. Their backline's rock solid.
We all talk about the offense a lot in the game. It's because it's a sexy part, and we all like to see great offensive ball movement. But they defend really well, and I think it's a real DNA part imprint from Sam to try and make sure that he can bounce off the back of that. They can attack off the back of their defence. And make that really solid. The additions in the last couple of years have certainly solidified that. I'm still trying to work out what they're doing with Josh Weddle. Can't wait to see where he plays tonight, because I'm not sure they know where his best position still is after all these years.
Full forward tonight.
Well, you know what? It mightn't hurt.
So the other question I have is, what are they going to do about Nick Dacos? Finn McGuinness hasn't come in, so is there someone in particular that might have that job?
Well, I was hoping to get a little bit more out of Dave McKay.
He gave you nothing.
No, he gave me zero. But you look down the list of players there, and there's nobody that jumps off the page to me to go, yep, that's the one that can go with Nick Dacos. Maybe Cam McKenzie. Maybe.
He's got the power. He's pretty explosive, Cam McKenzie.
But other than that, I can't really see who else it would be. And I think
he's a natural ball winner.
I think going head-to-head with Nick Dacos is fraught with danger. He'll have 40.
Yeah.
That's just the type of player he is. So you need to put the brakes on him. And if Hawthorn can't do that tonight, Collingwood are going to get a lot of looks.
I guess his average is 35 and a goal. So is that par?
Well, yeah, but he'll go beyond that tonight.
Beyond 35 and a goal tonight? You're backing him in?
If nobody is accountable for him.
Well, they'll be accountable to him around context.
Your accountability or Finn McGuinness accountability?
Mine.
Right, okay.
Lock him out, he'd never get a kick. He'd be on the bench, sulking.
You think the fence is the thing around the MCG?
Yeah, right, mate.
The question will be, if he gets 40 and kicks 2 goals in a losing side, will he feature in Rammer's votes? That'll be the interesting part.
Rammer's votes, exactly
right.
I
was proven correct.
Correct.
I was proven correct. So, look, Nick's a sensational player.
One of the best.
Yeah. Sensational player, but that game against Geelong, I didn't think his impact was there. That's all. There's nothing wrong with that.
We debated on a Thursday night. Oshie Mullen did the tagging job. Rammer gave votes to none of them.
No, I gave Ollie Dempsey, which their coaches agreed with me. He got the 10 coaches' votes.
Yep.
And I gave 2...
Now you're testing MS.
To Dan McStay.
Yes.
And he kicked 5 that night. And I gave 1 to Tom Stewart, who I thought controlled the back half of the ground.
Did they all feature in the coaches' votes?
Absolutely they did.
You're a genius.
Yeah.
I knew you'd come back. It's taken you a while, but you're getting there.
Adam Romanascus alongside Daniel Hawthorn, Matt Clinch and Tim Hodges. Tim Hodges is down on the boundary. Clint Wheldon to call the action. We can go down into the Collingwood camp. Hodges alongside one of their greats in Jeremy Howe.
Matt, it's great to be joined down on the boundary by injured Magpie Jeremy Howe. It has been an emotional 48 hours for the footy club and everyone who bleeds black and white with the retirement of Steele Sidebottom. He's your best mate, so it's been particularly emotional. How have you got through the last 48 hours or so, when you probably knew it was coming?
Yeah, I personally... I can't put myself inside his position on how he'd be feeling. I know it's been weighing on him a little bit, but I think even just seeing, once he locked it in for that Thursday, just seeing a bit of a weight off the shoulders for him. But, yeah, no doubt, highly emotional week, not only for him but a lot of people, because he's a giver. He gives so much to so many people, and, yeah, it was just a really challenging couple of days, but also, it was a really good celebration at the same time. And yeah, again, emotions were run high. Myself and Pendles tried to get a bit of a spill in there and try to keep it together, but the tears were flowing, and I think they were all worthwhile, because he's such an amazing man, and you just try and let him know how much we appreciate him.
What is that? Is it all you blokes have kids now that make you more emotional than you used to be?
Maybe it is, as generally Pendles is the one that can hold it together, and he spoke before me, so once he went, I knew that I was going to be in strife as well. So I just think when you spend so much time with someone in particular, whether it's at the footy club, away from the joint, we both had kids at a really similar time, so we went through similar experiences. So, yeah, I'm really close with him. He means a lot to myself and my family. So, yeah, it was you just wanted to do him right by speaking really positively.
Tens and tens of thousands of Collingwood supporters coming into the MCG as we speak. They're not happy that he's a late withdrawal.
Yeah, so whatever goes up must come down, I suppose. But yeah, look, he's unfortunate that he's going to be he's laid out today. But yeah, it gives Harvey Harrison an opportunity to get back in. So he played an unbelievable and really important role last week, and he'll be needed again tonight. But yeah, it was unfortunate for Steele, but next guy up. So good for Harves to be able to get another chance.
He did have the sniffles at the press conference yesterday. Do you think that's? I mean, it was officially it's illness. Do you think it's actually not a bad thing for him as well to just rest up for a massive round 24 and what's to come?
Yeah, it's not the worst, to be fair. It's like a highly emotional week. You can understand what the physical effects of a week like that could probably do. So for him to sit this one out, get himself cherry ripe for next week, because Brisbane's arguably going to be just as big.
It's been a couple of weeks on from your busted arm. How are you, and are you confident you can get back and play a meaningful role for the Pies in whatever September holds?
Yeah, look, I've had a really good couple of weeks. So, yeah, I think I had surgery, maybe 2 weeks ago now. So, feeling really good, recovered really strongly, ticked off a really big session today. So, it's just a matter of, I understand that the bone's not going to be completely healed, but I've got enough metal in there to keep it supported and together. So, yeah, I'm looking at trying to get back for next week. Everything's aligning for that. Training programs align for that. So, we'll just see how we get through next week.
So, you'd like a run next Friday against the Lions to set you up for a wildcard spot?
Yeah, well, for me, I'd like to play as much footy as I can. So if I've ticked everything off and everyone gives me the A-OK, then yeah, I'd be more than happy to play next week for sure.
It's awesome to have Jeremy Howe so close to the bounce or the throw-up of the ball. I'll send you upstairs, Adam Romanascus and the boys.
Jeremy, firstly, thanks for joining us. Just, you're talking about Sidey, obviously, your Pendles, yourself, and we talk so much about Collingwood's list and age demographic, but I just feel like the team is changing before our eyes. You see these young players coming through now. They've had so much more opportunity this year. What's impressed you most about those younger fellas this season?
Well, I just think that when they've come in, they've had impact. So that's the most impressive thing. I think you see it do it at VFL level, and I understand that AFL is a step up, but they've been backed in. They've got opportunity, whether it's through injury or they've just pushed their way in. I think it's really exciting for what we've been able to do. I know there's been a thirst to change the list over and turn it over, which I feel like it's kind of happening organically anyway. And with the young guys coming in, like our side was always going to look a lot different this year than it did last year. It'll look a lot different next year than it does this year. So that's the evolution of the game, the list turnover. But our young guys are coming in and they're performing. So I think that's the exciting thing. And we've got a fair few of them playing at the moment, which is really good. And they're being backed in and the boys love playing with them, so with any luck they can keep performing.
Is there one you've taken a particular shine to?
I knew Angry Anderson right from the start. I just said to him, I was like, you made it the right stuff. You know exactly what you need. You know how to go about it. Anyone who's willing to come in and start belting Scott Penderbury in their first training session was like, well, he's ready to step in and make an impact. So he's obviously highly impressive. I love Will Hayes. I think he's an exciting young talent. But then, we've still got the likes of Oscar Steen was really unfortunate because he was making a huge impact, especially at centre bounce for us. But again, it's there's a group of the young guys that are coming through, and as an older guy for me, it kind of gets me excited.
Now, I saw Pendle's tweet or social media post that he put out to Sidey talking about, there's still a few games left in us. Now, you're sitting 8th at the moment. Do you feel like you can mix it with those top 4 teams? Like, obviously, Fremantle have taken all before them this season, but do you feel like you're competitive enough to really give it a good shake?
You only got to go back and look at the history of our previous games against those sides that you're talking about. It's like, arguably, we could have knocked Freo off, could have beat Sydney, could have beat Hawthorn that we drew with. So there's no side that we fear. It's just a matter of getting it done on the night. And, we've got obviously a really strong run in. So we've got Hawthorn tonight, we play Brisbane next week, and then whether that's a wild card or a first final, if you get them both ticked off, you're not too sure. So we understand that we're playing really quality, good sides that are sitting up relatively up near the top. So we'll get tested out before the finals and the wild card, so what better way than to try and knock both of them off.
Jeremy Howe's with us from the Magpies in the lead up to tonight's game. Jeremy, it's Matt Clinch. There's been media reports that you've been offered a one-year contract deal for next year. Is that true, and are you close to considering whether you want to continue on?
No, they offered me 3, so I knocked it back and just said I'm happy with the one. So,
take the one.
Yeah, look, those conversations have kind of been progressing, so it's looking positive at the moment, and yeah, we'll hopefully get something done in the near future.
And going back to that draw you had against Hawthorn in round 8, how vivid is that in your memory? And on that occasion, Hawthorn kicked a goal after the siren to score the draw. What do we expect tonight?
Well, hopefully not that. So it's look, I was managed that game, so I was sitting like a nervous fan, so quite helpless in that scenario. But I feel like what we were able to do was play a really strong brand. And I think, unfortunately, there was a couple of little late errors at the last minute, and you don't have to do much to drop them. But yeah, look, we're looking to have a really strong performance tonight, and we feel like we're every chance.
And if Nick Dacos does go on to win the Brownlow, I think he's been the number 1 ranked player in the AFL since round 12. What's the thing that will stick with you about how he's gone about it this year?
Well, he's just arguably the hardest working athlete I've ever seen. It's like he's got a thirst to want to get better all the time. If you're as good as he is, it's like if his work rate's matched by his talent, and there's no doubt you get both of them at the same time, it's a pretty hard guy to stop. And he's continually still like a kid, though. He's always got a footy in his hand. He's dragging his brother around the club everywhere. They're kicking 1,000 balls a day. So it's just like his love for the game is incredible, but his love to work is even more. So there's no surprise as to why he's so good. His work, like his game day work ethic is through the roof. Hard man to tag. So you've only got to look at his previous performance, and he's still getting better. So it's a pretty scary thought.
Jeremy, always appreciate your time. Good luck tonight.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me.
Jeremy Howe joining us from the Magpies. Welcome to our audience through WA, Northern Territory, and coming from the Q Clash to the MCG, Matt Clinch and Clint Wilden to call the action. Jeremy Howe joining us from the Magpies. Adam Ramanauskas and Daniel Harford are across the back row for us tonight. So the intrigue for the Magpies. Without Jeremy Howe, they're missing so many of their back line with Braden Maynard out. Those two hopeful to return. Darcy Moore won't before the season's out.
The other one's Harry Perryman as well.
Harry Perryman, Jamie Elliott. We can keep going if you want, but they've got what they've got, which is a bit of the Collingwood mantra at the moment.
And I wonder the impact of Sidebottom not being out there tonight, because it's been such an emotional week, such a big build-up, and I have no doubt if he plays tonight, there's another 10% in the pies. Yeah. Just the way, and the crowd and all that sort of stuff. It would have been a real fillip for them tonight to have him out there against the Hawks. Because if we go pound for pound, the Hawks should win, right? They should win, and they should do a decent number of them. But because of the way Collingwood play, because they're such an emotional team and they're so strong and connected, and it's the one thing I admire about Craig McRae with what he's done with this group, this club, really. Everything's so tight, and they just have a knack of being better together. The collective is always greater than the sum of the parts. And I don't think you can say that about a lot of teams in the competition, but Collingwood are that team. So that's what worries me. If you're a Hawthorn fan, that's what would worry you tonight, that the way that they play and have the strength in their numbers. But if you isolate it, you're pretty pragmatic about the lineups, the list. You think, gee, Hawthorn should win this time.
Look, I think what will be worrying Craig McRae is how does he match up on those tools for Hawthorn tonight. You had Chol, Lewis, Gunston. Nick Watson is not a tall, obviously, but he's kicked 50-plus goals. So, Perryman or Maynard may have gone to Nick Watson. I look down the list, and it's probably Isaac Quaynor that gets him tonight. I would say that's the natural matchup there. But other than that, like Billy Frampton, he's going to have his work cut out tonight. If he's playing on Jack Gunston, that's not a natural matchup for him, Gunston, because he's a hit-up lead at the ball, lead at the kicker player, whereas Frampton likes to play in the bigger plays, wrestle, take those intercept marks. He's had a great year, Frampton, but I think tonight he's going to have his work cut out, because you look down that list, half, and there's not many options for the Pies.
No, you're right. You're not too many options there to take that sort of matchup. And that's the thing that Hawthorn's got going for it. When it's all going well, they've got versatility.
Yeah. They've got layers.
Got the layers. Got the big blokes who can take the big hangs. They got the mediums, the hybrids who hits up the Gunston style. You've got Watson floating around as the small, but who can do lots of things as well.
Moore and McDonald who buzz around everywhere.
Get back. Yeah, they're the blowflies. They just get up and back and annoy everyone. Yeah, so it's a really dynamic mix when it's on and when it's working, when they're getting enough ball and all that sort of stuff. But the thing about Collingwood is they defend so well at contest and they limit ball use really well. And that's going to be the challenge tonight. That's the opportunity for Collingwood, I think, tonight, to just defend the ball use, a bit like Brisbane did last week, and give them no time and space, and then surge it into their forward 50 and let the forwards go to work.
Well, they're a very system-based team, Collingwood.
Yeah.
So they play with flair within a system.
And pressure when they're playing at their best.
That's right. Their pressure's enormous when they're at their very best. So you look, they're always set up well behind the football, Collingwood. They've had to be ultra efficient going inside forward 50 because they don't get a lot of inside 50s if you compare it to other teams. So obviously the loss of Jamie Elliott earlier in the year was a huge loss. They've had to manufacture a new forward line. McStay's probably having his best year in a long time.
Yeah.
So
been fantastic.
So yeah, I think Collingwood have a genuine chance tonight. I really, really do. I think the after effects of last week's Brisbane beating on Hawthorn will be interesting just to see the reaction.
Yep.
And I mentioned I want to see Hawthorn be a little bit nasty tonight. Most teams replicate their coach a little bit.
Yeah.
And I know when Sam Mitchell was playing, if Hawthorn had been beaten like that, he comes out with a little bit of steam coming out of the years the following week. Luke Hodges was the same. So usually that will be replicated somewhere. But you look down the page. So Sicily and Barras have got that sort of in them. Hardwick has definitely got that in him. But other than that, they're just maybe nice players. Newcomb, Meek. Sorry. Leak me. It's been a long day already.
Shift 2 or 2. I'm worried for you, but we'll get through.
We'll get through it. But yeah, it's all set up. As Clint mentioned earlier, there's that finals feel with a game like this. So let's see what happens.
So many questions for tonight. Who can stop Nick Dacos? Nick Watson held goalless last week. How does he bounce back? James Sicily in his 200th game, and Collingwood's forward line has been a work in progress. They've got a career best out of Dan McStay this year with 41 goals.
Imagine if the Eastern Freeway was open, how many people would be here?
Nick Dacos and James Sicily gather in the middle of the MCG. Tim Hodges is in the front row of the boundary for us tonight. Hodgie, the crowd continues to roll in.
It's a monster, Clinchy. James Sicily won the toss in his 200th. The Hawks will start by kicking to the punt road end. That's the left of screen if you're at home watching on the telly, listening to us. Just repeating the huge late out. Steele Sidebottom is out with illness 48 hours after announcing his retirement from the game. Harvey Harrison takes his place. Just on the crowd, it is a monster. The MCC telling us between 81 and 85,000 people tonight. So it's it'll be in the top 10 crowds of the year. A fun fact, if they do hit 85,000 on top of this afternoon's 35,000 for the Tigers and Saints, it will become the most attended day in the 173-year history of the Melbourne Cricket Ground, which is just extraordinary.
Wow.
So the double-up has certainly worked. And the crowd is remarkable considering how cold it is.
Yeah.
I know Mick Malthouse always clips me when I talk about how cold it is, but it's currently 11. We're going to hit a low of 8. It's bloody freezing down here already, guys, so it's going to be a long night.
Hang on, what about the feels like? There's a feels like.
There's always a feels like.
It must be nearly 8 or 9 already, so it's very cold on the fingers.
Come on, Hodgie.
Good on you, Hodgie. Great to have your company tonight. Righto, Rama, half. Who wins tonight?
I like the Pies tonight. I think, yeah. I didn't like Hawthorn's performance last week, so I'm on watch early in this game for a bounce back, but I like the Pies.
I'm expecting a bounce back. I think Hawthorn comfortably.
Comfortably?
Yeah.
A September shaper. It's Hawthorn. Fight for the top 4. Collingwood fighting for the wild card. Here's Clint Weldon on ABC Sport.
Meek versus Cameron. Neither got a telling tap, but Cameron for the Magpies gathers, gets a hand pass. Guess who? Dacos immediately involved. Nick Dacos hands it to Houston, tries to work it forward. Hacked off the ground by Allen. Inside forward 50 for the Magpies. Bounced off the shin of Day of the Hawks. They can get it beyond their defensive 50 towards the centre square. Comes here to Newcomb. Shrugs one tackle. Loses the footy that'll be holding the ball. They want to play on quickly here. Anderson moved it inside forward 50. The kick was smothered. D'Ambrosio was back there to mop up. Gave it to Amon. Kicks to Impey, who marks it left half back.
He plays on, and Nick Watson offers a lead up the wing. Sends it in that direction. He takes the mark and cuts to the right-hand side. Spots Gitterman. Kicks over his head. And Gunston leading up takes the mark. The perfect start for the Hawks.
What a kick from Watson across the body. He broke back into the corridor, and the Collingwood defenders shifted to guard that line of entry. But Gunston cut back to the pocket, or the flank, and he kicked across his body a laser. 45 metres, hit him on the chest.
It was the smallest of tick leads by Gunston. He had the hand pointing out where he wanted it, and Watson hit him.
As Liam Puncher is his opponent, out to the left. He kicks from 45 metres out and misses to the left-hand side. Behind to start proceedings in the opening 90 seconds. Hawthorn on the board. Collingwood yet to score.
And they rue that advantage play on. They had the Magpies at half forward. That was a chance to just breathe for a second.
Here comes Josh Dacos with the kicking duty. Short to the right back pocket to Quaynor, who marks. Pauses. He's congested in front of him at right half forward. He gets told to play on. His kick is touched on the way through. And the touch, and it was Watson. Spills off hands. Chance here for Nick Dacos to move it on to Pendlebury. Hands it off to DeGoey. Defensive point of the centre square. Will kick up the corridor. Attacking the football Membry. Couldn't take it cleanly. Spilled down Josh Dacos. Hand passes forward. Chance to run onto it. Hayes tried to tap it to his own advantage. Couldn't take it cleanly. Good pressure. Came from Amon at the Sicily. He was tackled, wrapped up, lost possession. Still the Magpies inside forward 50 to Houston, to Allen, to Nick Dacos. Trying to work it on to Membry. Doing really well. Lewis got back there and intercepted. To Morrison for the Hawks. And then to Hardwick, who's able to steer it to Impey. He marks and plays on and kicks the right half back.
He chips it over the top to Dylan Moore, who has it at right half back. Hawthorn by a point into the middle of the ground for James Sicily. The captain in game 200 swings it across half back to D'Ambrosio, who marks on the members' wing. Looks up to half forward. Watson's all on his own. He marks on 50. Gunston leads into the pocket. That option dries up now.
Too much rope there from Isaac Quaynor.
Gunston is on the move. He kicks to him from Watson. He was taken high. On that occasion, it was Jack Crisp who was his opponent. He just collected him high, but it's still from right on 50 for Jack Gunston. This is hard out to the left.
So Watson there, he recognised the switch of play by Sicily, and he just went hard. And Quaynor was just slow to react.
The 34-year-old Jack Gunston, who for the 6th time in his career has kicked over 50 goals. He veers out to the right. It won't quite have the journey. Chol flies, can't take the mark. Spills down the way of Houston. Hand pass almost pinched by Watson. He's tackled by Quaynor. The umpire will ball it up in the left forward pocket for Hawthorn.
Some good energy in the forward 50 for the Hawks at the moment. That's a good sign. Watson's been involved a couple of times. He'd be keen to do something about last week.
Ball thrown up. Meek palmed it down off the fingertips. Watson gathered, got a hand pass away to Gunston. Met by 4 Magpies. One at each of the compass points. They wrapped him up, going nowhere. Ball up. Left forward pocket for the Hawks. Heading to the punt road end in his first term. One down by Meek. Gathered here by Moore. Was he taken high? Got a hand pass away anyway. It came to Meek again. And here's Newcomb kicking a goal for the Hawks. They're the first on the board, the home side. 1-1-7 Hawthorn. Collingwood yet to score. 4.5 gone. Opening term AFL Saturday on ABC Sport.
Well, I was watching both DeGoey and Nick Watson at that forward stoppage for Hawthorn. Neither had an opponent, a direct opponent, so there's a little bit of Russian roulette really going on there. And this is just a little scrap here. Moore's involved, little handball to Meek, then another little handball to Newcomb. Collingwood needs to be a lot more accountable at that forward stoppage. It looked like more Collingwood jumpers there. Hawthorn was simply able to work it through.
The Dacos conundrum is being dealt with at the moment, and I'm sure it'll change through the night. Looks like Newcomb goes to him at contest, and then Will Day picks him up around the ground.
He's had the 3 disposals. Nick Dacos back in the middle of the ground. Cameron wins down the tap, looking for Nick Dacos. He volleys it up towards half forward. It's over McCreary. Chance for the Hawks. Battle over the top to D'Ambrosio. Stripped over by Pendlebury. McCreary knocks it on. Newcomb's locked up.
I do like Collingwood's pressure to start this game. They've had 9 tackles to 1 to start this game.
At right half forward for Collingwood. Ball thrown aloft. Meek in best position. His kick bounced off Crisp. Ricocheted away. Dacos in hot pursuit. Chol came the other way. Couldn't take it. Nick Dacos could. And pass forward to Crisp. Kicks into the right forward pocket. Coming out to Mark. Doing well. Impey couldn't grab it. Was able to mop it up a second time. Went to battle. Gave it to Hardwick. Back to Barris. Marks in front of the behind line. Right-hand goalpost for the Magpies over his right shoulder. Takes a couple of steps and will send it beyond defensive 50. Going up from the side. Meek won it to ground. Hawks getting a hand pass through D'Ambrosio, but only as far as Howes. Little Tom last week. Well, gave it to Dacos, who turns it over. The inboard pass taken by Ginnivan. Now he finds Lewis just behind the centre circles. He steers it forward to Newcomb again. He's got runners going by. Impey's one of them. Hands it off to him. Now to Lewis from the top of the 50-metre arc. He's missed. Sent it towards goal. Sent it left. Minor score. 1-2-8 the Hawks. Collingwood yet to score. 7 minutes gone in the opening term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
So Hawthorn doing all the attacking early. Stan Houston brings Collingwood back into play. Kicks into the back pocket. Well, the mark is taken by Howes. Sends it long up the wing. Cameron and McStay there. Cameron got hands to it. Can't complete the mark. Carl Amon gets a hand pass to Will Day. Off balance. Kicks to half forward. Sliding in Howes takes the mark. From the VFL up to the AFL. Gets the hand pass away to Crisp. He kicks in the direction of Lockie Schultz. Crashes the back. Brought it down. McCreary with the hand pass away. It opens up for West, who fires towards goal. And puts through Collingwood's first of the night. Lockie Schultz gets plenty of encouragement for his big contest on the wing. And Collingwood have their first. Hawthorn 1-2-8 to Collingwood 1 straight 6.
Well, it was a contest there from Lockie Schultz. So it looked for all money. Hawthorn were going to take that intercept mark. Schultz didn't allow that. Got the ball to ground. Collingwood had numbers at the contest, front of that contest. Little forward handball and goal. 12 tackles to 1 for Collingwood to start this game. So that's the blueprint. Let's pressure Hawthorn's possession. Let's force him into quick decision and then try counter-attack.
Tim Hodges on the boundary. Lockie Schultz has stayed out there.
Yeah, the doctors are right in front of me watching the vision back, Clinchy. Lockie Schultz could not have hit that contest any harder, and he hit a brick wall in Tom Barris. So he is very, very sore. It's a leg, so I don't know whether it's a corky. I was worried straight away that it was a knee. But he has picked himself up and he's hobbled back to the forward line.
Hawks win the centre bounce. Watson brings it away and kicks inside forward 50. No mark taken. Spilled out to Dacos. Hand pass from Nick to Josh. The Dacos involved. Now it comes to Allen. Long towards full forward. One-on-one battle. Schultz turns away. Continues to see it go towards goal. It's through. That is simply remarkable. Was there the slightest touch on it by Schultz? I don't think so. I think Schultz has put the block on it, so that's gone all of 70 metres for Ed Allen to kick the Magpies second. 2 straight 12 to the Hawks, 1-8. 9 gone opening term. Saturday night at footy on ABC Sport.
Well, it came from a rebound, a big fist away as Watson got that ball in from the centre clearance. A big fist away, went about 30 metres. Just ended up in the hands of Nick Dacos, funnily enough. And he was the one that got his brother going. And that was the start of the chain to get it forward quickly. All the Hawks had gone forward with the entry and weren't able to get back quick enough. And that gave the space to Allen to run and have that launch shot. Bounce of the ball helped, no doubt. But hot start from the Magpies here.
He's up to 7 now, Nick Dacos, in this quarter.
Ed Allen, who's been in the side as a tagger, gets a goal early here, and Collingwood take the lead. Socket away by Nick Dacos from the centre square, links up with his brother Josh. Gets the hand pass around the back to Steele, who sends it up the wing. A bouncing ball for Jordan Ngoe. Tries to soccer it, and that goes out on the full. And a Hawthorn free kick at right half back. Collingwood 2 straight 12 to Hawthorn 1-8. 10 minutes gone in the opening term. Steele Sidebottom was a laid out through illness. Harvey Harrison coming in. James Sicily celebrating his 200th game. Switch and kick from Ward, a little risky. Weddle brought it down against McCreary. Has support for Battle. Tries to link a half pass over the top. Membry got him. Breaks the tackle. Battle sends it up the wing, and Connor McDonald takes the mark for Hawthorn.
Immediately plays on, steering it towards Day. Marks commentary edge to the centre circles to McKenzie. Moves the Hawks towards right half forward. Here's Morrison. Oh, great kick indeed. Meek was on his own. Right forward pocket, and the kick was precise and found him. He marks about 25 from goal.
It was very smart by Meek because he was getting out of Gunston's leading lane. So Gunston was coming hard at Morrison, but Meek just went back into the space, so forced Darcy Cameron, or test Darcy Cameron to say, you've got to come with me. And Morrison was good enough to put that kick into space.
So when they get it in open space, the Hawks are looking really dangerous.
Very dangerous.
16 to 3 uncontested marks. They're just owning possession of the ball, ripping them apart defensively. When it's a bit of a bun fight, the Pies are on top.
If he kicks truly, the Hawks will take back the lead. 3 goals, 3 for the season. Lloyd Meek steers it through. Hawks back in front. 2-2-14. The Magpies 2 straight 12. 12 minutes gone in the opening term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Your experts, Daniel Harford and Adam Ramanauskas.
And Harf, what that becomes then is which team is prepared to adjust first. So is it Collingwood prepared to relax their pressure at the ball to start to set the field up a little bit different defensively?
Yeah.
Or is it Hawthorn prepared to, okay, we need to slow this ball movement down a little bit here to force Collingwood, uncontested marks like you're talking, to spread them wider, to get the ball away from contest. So a little bit of an arm wrestle tactically going on in the coaches' boxes here.
Tim Hodges on the boundary.
A developing story down here, Clinchy. It's with the Magpies. Isaac Quainer came off the ground, spoke to the physio, who spoke to the doctor. They've taken him straight down to the rooms. That's a real concern for the Magpies.
All right, thank you, Hodgie. Make one down the tap. McKenzie lost it though. Nick Dacos takes it back for Collingwood. Hand pass back to Darcy Cameron. Swaddling one way, then the other. Lost an opponent. Kicks up towards Ngoe. Got it back. Swaddling pulls his kick at the last moment to Long, who fended off the first tackle, not the second. He's reeled in, holding the footy. Jai Newcomb got him. And it's Max Beattie, the debutant, who joined the party with a late tackle. He bounds across half back, gave it to Jarman Impey. Sends it out wide for Battle and back to Impey. Kicks up the wing. Missed the intended target in Connor McDonald. Josh Dacos tries to knock it out. Big tackle laid by Rowan Steele. The ball is locked on the outer side onto the Shane Warne stand side. Hawthorn by 2 points.
Yeah, it's a good way to win some fans early for Maxi Beattie, isn't it? Big tackle at the top of the defensive 50.
Great stuff on debut from your home crowd as Meek won it down. A free kick's been spotted here. Taken high was Steele. He'll have it just forward of the logo. The Shane Warne stand wing. Leaves it short. Not far enough to be a mark, so Josh Dacos has to deal with it quickly. He's trying to find Anderson and he gets a free kick here, but taken high. A little bit of luck there for the Magpies. Anderson kicks towards full forward, but put it straight into the path of Weddle, full back, and he marks and has it for the Hawks, who currently lead by 2 points. We've gone 13 and a half minutes into the opening term.
For those wondering, Josh Weddle's playing half-back to
just a bit to say.
Flares it out to Jarman Impey, who marks in the back pocket. Short to Morrison, and now inboard to Weddle on cue. So switch it across half-back. James Sicily the target. Memory back with the flight, made the spoil. Lost his footing. Sicily kept his. It got around Chris. Hand pass away to Bailey McDonald. Up the wing. Gets it to Connor McDonald. Hand pass inboard. Too slick for Newcomb. Bailey McDonald got it to Ward. Sells the hand pass. Then kicks laterally across the centre square. And Morrison takes the mark. Where to? Inside 50. Dylan Moore's on the move and he marks in the right forward pocket. He can poke it over the top. Beatty's all on his own. The debutant. They didn't see him. Having laid a big tackle down the other end. Now the mid-season draft pickup gets to test his goal-kicking range in the right forward pocket.
We'll see how he goes. But the Hawks are constantly shifting the ball, particularly through the middle of the ground, going from one side to the other just to shift the defence of the Magpies. That's where they're getting caught out.
Every opportunity they're shifting the defence.
Yep.
Less than 3 months on the list. This is a way to make an impression. Beatty comes in and misses to the right-hand side. Not to be. Hawthorn by 3 points. Tim Hodges.
Clinchy, Isaac Quainer and Nick Watson started on each other. Quainer is down in the rooms at the moment. Nick Watson's on the bench with the boot off, having his left ankle restrapped, so they're both in the wars.
Josh Dacos with the kicking duties. He's beyond defensive 50 to Darcy Cameron, who marks at left half back. A metre in from the boundary. Swaddling ran by. That was ignored. Cameron instead will kick towards southern wing. Oh, big fly came from West. Couldn't drag him the mark. Still there to be won. Looking to hack it out of here. The Hawks went back from D'Ambrosio. Now it's with McKenzie. Sweeps it back again towards right half back. Chance to set up here. Now in the hands of Sicily. Hardwick gave it to him.
Here it is again, one side to the other.
Sicily will move it out to Bailey McDonald. Plenty of space to operate in. Kicks forward towards the logo. Eamon marks, turns and plays on immediately. Here's D'Ambrosio. Marking it left half forward. Oh, couldn't get it past Howes. Great smother, but followed up with a tackle. Howes just got a hand pass away for the Magpies to Josh Dacos. Back to the second game of Howes. Shared it with Cameron. Worked it onto Frampton. Kicks into the middle of the ground. Coming out to try to mark there was West. Thought he was taken high, and he'll get the free kick.
I want to convince the umpire there was more there than what there actually was.
He touched the face.
No free kick there.
West gets a hand pass to Swaddling. Chips it over the top to Jordan Ngoe. Between wing and half forward on the outer side. He's got a free player out wide. It's Rowan Steele. Gives the hand pass to Nick Dacos. The little champ into the pocket. Memory on the move. Takes the mark deep in the left forward pocket.
I was buying what he was selling.
Josh Battle wasn't buying what his teammates were selling there defensively. He was very annoyed that it was so easy for Dacos to find Memory in the pocket.
Well, the Dacos is 9 possessions and 7 possessions respectively.
The brothers are running amok.
They're dominating at the moment.
30 goals, 14 for Tim Memory so far tonight. For this season, he's out to the left looking for his first of the night. From about 25 metres out, tight angle, he misses to the left-hand side. And a minor score. Hawthorn lead by 2 points, 18 minutes gone, opening term.
Hugely entertaining game. End to end.
Yeah.
Lots to like. Free-flowing football. Oh, that is an enormous attempted spiral, but it didn't quite work from Hardwick. It's marked instead by Houston in the centre square.
I wonder if that's the only licence you get. You had one crack at it, bugger it up, there's no more.
It's gone at least 70, but not to the player he wanted. Handed it off to Anderson, who came in, of course, for the ill side bottom.
I want to see more barrels. It's such a shock when you see a barrel now in AFL football.
Switches play out towards left half forward. He's Swaddling with it. 70 from goal. It's Collingwood towards full forward. Medal won it down defensively. Came to Sicily to aim on for the Hawks. Hard up against the boundary. Tackled by Schultz. Took him across the boundary line.
Oh, that's holding the ball. That's a bad miss.
It is a throw-in, but goodness me, that is...
Get a little handball to it?
No, that's
a bad miss.
That's an illegal disposal. They've absolutely dodged that in the Hawks. It's about to be thrown back in. Left full forward for the Maggies.
Collingwood 10-6, the inside 50. Shallow throw in.
They'll do it again.
Never do it again. Probably the right outcome.
Just take a couple of steps in.
That's actually not that hard.
So Josh Battle is doing the ruck against Damage Day. Here we go. Still a little shallow.
Well, they're too deep. The ruck, that's there.
That's staying. It towards goal, and in the end, Barris had to punch it through. It's almost a miraculous goal for Dan McStay.
That would have been goal of the year.
Hawthorn's lead is a point.
That is absolutely audacious. Goodness me.
They were 30 metres back from the line, from the boundary line, those blokes.
To actually think about it, and then all but Tom Barris's spoil, that would have come off. It was magnificent. Hawks beyond defensive 50. Newcomb's involved there at left half back. It's over the boundary line for a throw-in. Tim Hodges is downstairs. Hodgie?
Clint, Isaac Quainer back from the rooms. He's got some strapping right up high on that right leg. He's just done a couple of run-throughs and he's preparing to come back on the ground. Do you risk him, guys? Like, there's probably no wriggle room for Collingwood going up or down. You want to make sure he's right before you put him back on the ground.
Magpies meantime set it inside forward 50. Harrison towards full forward. Hawks have the numbers. Back to Bailey McDonald. All Hardwick under real pressure. Upended by McCreery. Just got it out there to Morrison. Clears the defensive 50 towards right half back. Here's Beattie, the debutant, taking a mark for the Hawks, who lead by a point over the Magpies as we hit time on in the opening term.
Beattie comes inboard to Weddle, who switches across half back. Barris can take the mark. He's got Battle further up the wing on the members' side. Hand pass to D'Ambrosio. He plays on. Draws an opponent in Harrison. Gives it back to Battle. Kicks on for Marbiel Chol. It's over his head. Howes takes the intercepting mark for Collingwood. Hawthorn leading by a point. Waits for Josh Dacos to run around the back and then decides not to use him. Sends it high and long up the wing. West and McStay the targets. McStay got hands to it. West does the roving. Hand pass to McStay. Over the head of Pendlebury. Anderson tries to knock it on. Long. Good pick up. Hand pass out towards the boundary line. Harrison leads the foot race. Hand pass to McCreery. Draws an opponent in Beattie. Over the top to Ed Allen. No. He's got memory all on his own in the right forward pocket.
And this is where Sicily took the risk there. So he was certain that Hawthorn were going to win that ball. So he just starts to drift away from Tim Membry. But Collingwood were good enough in the phone box to just keep the ball moving forward with handball. Yeah, I love Sicily's aggression, but at times you just got to wait. You got to wait till you know your team's actually got the ball.
So Tim Membry's had a shot from the left forward pocket. Now he gets a look from the right forward pocket. With a chance to try and return Collingwood to the lead. 40 metres out. Right forward pocket for Tim Membry. Starts it right and stays right all the way. Scores are level at 15 apiece. 22 minutes gone opening term.
That's a bad read from Sis on that one. Just watching the replay again. They had all the players covered. He didn't need to get in no man's zone there. He could reference his opponent and work from there. It's a bad sign.
Hawks beyond defensive 50 with the kick in. Scholl went. Couldn't quite complete the mark. McKenzie at the drop. Got it out to Connor McDonald. And then to Impey, who turns it over. Howe to play on immediately in real trouble. A hand pass out, but only to Day from the Hawks. They fly forward. Beattie moves it on to Gunston, who marks in front of the interchange gates for Hawthorn. Right beneath our position in the MCC members' wing. Gunston, not sure where that's meant to go. Goes across half forward. Going to gather his aim on. He's tackled immediately. It was on the bounce. That was messy.
Well, it was well done by Swadling because Nick Watson was out when Gunston took that mark. Watson wasn't Swadling's direct opponent, but he cut the angle so Gunston couldn't get it to him.
State of Pendlebury, hand pass forward. Impey intercepted on the logo on the commentary wing. Going in and giving away a free kick to win high. The Hawks will come back here. Hayes has it just shy of the logo. Kicks out towards right half forward. Really dropped the mark. Was under no pressure but had time to regather. Sends Collingwood inside their attack in 50, but Barris just has the weight. Schultz was closing down but couldn't get there quickly enough, and Barris takes the defensive mark in the left back pocket. 23 gone in the opening term. It's the Hawks and the Magpies all level at 2-3-15 apiece.
Barris sends a high ball in the Newcomb direction. Houston worked him underneath it. Lucky not to give away the free kick. Harrison gives it back to Dan Houston. A driving kick inside 50. Membry the target. Flew up in front. Can't take the mark. Will Days the crummer. Ran into Anderson. Great tackle. Weddle clearing kick into the middle of the ground. Watson flies. Frampton makes the spoil. Ball still live for Collingwood. Ed Allen with a hand pass into the middle of the ground. Howes awkwardly knocks it on to Pendlebury. Look away hand pass back to Ed Allen. Fended off Beattie. Gave it back to Pendlebury. Kicks for Schultz, who can't hang on to the mark. Spoiled away at the last moment by Hardwick. And Day clears a kick out to vacant space on the Shane Warne stand side.
Fair to say, Schultz is unhappy about the decision. Collingwood under real pressure at right half back. Swadling got wrapped up. Umpire said play on. He'll get a second chance against Sicily to shovel it out. It came to Steele, then to Quaynor for the Magpies.
Battle.
Long hand pass down the line. Battle's done very well to put pressure on McStay. Desperate stuff. McStay goes diving in again. It's a holding the ball decision going the way of the Magpies against Bailey McDonald. McStay with the tackle, elects to move it quickly towards left half forward they come. Collingwood with a chance to go inside forward 50 from Steele, and then Weddle did better against Membry, and he takes the mark in the right back pocket for the Hawks. Scores still level, 2-3-15 apiece between the Hawks and the Magpies. 25 gone in the first.
Weddle sends it up to the wing. Cecily the target up against Quaynor. Collingwood have the numbers. As McStay gets a hand pass forward, Quaynor can't gather. Will Day cuts around a couple of tacklers. Hand pass to Ginnivan. Over the top to Connor McDonald. Stripped of it. Quaynor got him.
This pressure is elite by Collingwood.
Advantage taken by Swaddling. Sends it out wide. Membry on the lead once more. He's had a couple of shots on goal. Now he gets a third. Out to the left. Same position. 40 metres out from home.
22 tackles to 5 in Collingwood's favour.
So that's not easy to maintain.
No.
But it's really good to watch.
That's energy sapping.
17-7 inside 50s though.
Yeah.
Are they getting enough bang for their buck?
Well, no, they're not. But and it's two totally contrasting styles. It's the pressure surge game from the Pies, and it's the uncontested ball movement game from the Hawks. It's contrasting. It's what Ramos spoke about before.
Two behind for Tim Membry tonight. He starts out to the left, 45 out. It's across the face. It won't be a goal. It clears Barris. McStay tries to gather against the boundary line. Little toe poke. Chopped off there by Bailey McDonald. He feeds it back to the last line where Amon clears. Pendlebury underneath it. Ginnivan flies. Spills out the way of Nick Dacos. Trying to knock it on for Collingwood. It's gathered by Harvey Harrison. One way then the other. Cuts it back inside 50. Hawks have numbers there. It's brought down in the end by Carl Amon. Got it with Impey. Down to McKenzie. Hand pass away to Dylan Moore. Kicks up the wing. Good pass to Connor McDonald.
He's got it at left half back for the Hawks. Just pauses for a moment to allow Hawthorn players to stream forward. Goes short to Impey though. And he marks. Everyone takes a deep breath for a moment. Kick inboard now to Amon.
One need some respirators at quarter time. That has been very taxing on these players.
Towards left half forward, coming across Houston. Spoiled illegally. Ginnivan. And he'll get the free kick for the Hawks. Send Hawthorn inside forward 50. Ginnivan to a 2-on-3 against his club. Quaynor was there. Hand pass intercepted. Came out towards Watson. His kick was smothered. Now to go, he was able to work it on again. Out to Anderson. Clearing kick to the outer side.
Good battle.
It's a terrific battle. What a contest between these two enormous football clubs at this wonderful Coliseum. Saturday night football. Scores level at quarter time. 2-3-15 apiece between the Hawks and the Magpies.
They couldn't be separated back in round 8, and they can't be separated at quarter time. Goals to Newcomb and to Meek for the Hawks. For Collingwood, their goal has come through West and Ed Allen. Quarter time in the MCG, 2-3-15 apiece. This is Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Find out which songs mean so much to Lainey Wilson, David Byrne and Jacinda Ardern in brand new Take 5. With me, Zan Rowe.
Best thing you'll ever hear.
Starts Thursday, August 20 on ABC TV and ABC iView. This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
One down by Meek. Gathered here by Moore. Was he taken high? Got a hand pass away anyway. It came to Meek again. And here's Newcomb kicking a goal for the Hawks. They're the first on the board, the home side.
Gets the hand pass away to Crisp. He kicks in the direction of Lockie Schultz. Crashes the back. Brought it down. McCrew with the hand pass away. It opens up for West, who fires towards goal. And puts through Collingwood's first of the night.
Hand pass from Nick to Josh. The Dakai involved. Now it comes to Allen. Long towards full forward. One-on-one battle. Schultz turns away. Continues to see it go towards goal. It's through. That is simply remarkable. I think Schultz has put the block on it, so that's gone all of 70 metres. Day marks commentary edge to the centre circles to McKenzie. Moves the Hawks towards right half forward. Here's Morrison. Oh, great kick indeed. Meek was on his own. right forward pocket, and the kick was precise and found him. If he kicks truly, the Hawks will take back the lead. 3 goals, 3 for the season. Lloyd Meeks steers it through. Hawks back in front.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Quarter time of the MCG, a cracking contest. We're locked at 2-3-15 apiece. Matt Clinch and Clint Wheeldon call the action. Tim Hodges down on the boundary. The thoughts of our experts, Adam Remeneskis and Daniel Harford.
Oh, well, look, it was a great quarter of football. Very different, contrasting styles, what both teams are playing. Half mentioned it right at the end of that quarter. Hawthorn 37 uncontested marks to 14, but then on the flip side, the pressure, Collingwood 22 tackles to 6. So Collingwood want the game in a scramble. They want the game in chaos, whereas Hawthorn want a ball movement game. They want to continually take the ball off the line, force Collingwood to defend, force their defence to shift, and then that allows Watson and Gunston to go to work inside forward 50. But to Collingwood's credit, when Hawthorn, they've had those uncontested marks and won the football, but a lot of those kicks have been rushed. They've been high. Yeah. We saw the last 5 minutes of that quarter. Now, Collingwood had the 18 inside 50s in that quarter. So that's forced Hawthorn to defend, but they've bombed the ball out of defence a number of times, the Hawks. Now, when they've got it going forward, 5 scoring shots from their 8 entries, Hawthorn, so they're very efficient going forward. But it's now, well, how long can Collingwood maintain the rage?
Yep.
Right, and it's energy sapping to play a high pressure, high intensity game where you're constantly going at the body of the opposition to force decisions from Hawthorn. Whereas I think Hawthorn, the way they're playing, they can effectively control tempo at all stages of this game. They want to slow it down with uncontested marks. If they want to go quick, that's not as energy sapping. So how long can Collingwood maintain the rage? How long can Hawthorn, I think, probably handle the punches, I think, is the best way to put it from the Pies.
Yeah, they had a great quarter, the Pies, from an energy perspective. That 18-8 inside 50 stats really telling when they had plenty of opportunities to hit the scoreboard and a few set shots they would like to have back again. Tim Embry missed a couple of chances that he would like. But they showed a way that they can get back at Hawthorn. They run back at them when they get the ball back. And you talked about the phone box, Rammer. They've been really good in the phone box when there's numbers and bodies around, being able to work it out by hand. When they run back through Hawthorn really quickly on turnover, they find some holes in the defence. When it does get held up and they're forced to kick it in there, Hawthorn have done pretty well and been able to repel those inside 50 entries. It's a fascinating dynamic. Who relents first from a coaching perspective is going to be the challenge or the question through the night. Hawthorn will be disappointed, I reckon, around clearance. 7-4 in favour of the Pies there, 3-2 out of the centre. They'll be disappointed about that. I know Nick Dacos is a jet. He's only had the one clearance. It's been the other guys sort of mix and matching there around clearance that have sorted it out for the Magpies. So that's an area that they can go to work at and then try and get some territory on the back of that and give their forwards a chance to get busy again, give their backs a chance to breathe and set up the ground the way they want to set it up. So a fascinating first quarter, really good energy, high octane, which is what you expect when Collingwood play. We'll see how it unfolds from here.
So the game over in Adelaide about to get underway. Port Adelaide and Melbourne. We'll keep you across that game as well. Earlier wins for the Brisbane Lions by 42 points over the Gold Coast Suns. A roller coaster game between Geelong and North Melbourne in which the Cats prevailed by 15 points. And Rammer was here at the MCG as the Saints proved too good for the Tigers by 49 points. Hawthorn breaking to head back in a position and Collingwood doing likewise. So Isaac Quainer a watch after that first quarter.
And Hodgie raised a good point. So how much risk is too much risk with him? So he's critical to their backline at the moment. Him and Frampton are the two experienced heads down there. So it's sort of like, well, Isaac, can you go?
He's going to get back out there now.
Or it's the physio, it's the coach asking the physio, if we keep him out there, how much more damage is he likely to do? So we don't know what the injury is. We think it's an upper leg injury of some description. But I think if he's off the ground, there's no other natural matchup for Nick Watson.
So no Moore, no Maynard, no Howe. They've already rampaged the VFL to try and get players and Brisbane to come next week. Scores level, 2-3-15 apiece as we're about to get the second quarter underway. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Kenzie on Dacos at the centre bounce.
Sicily up on the wing. Cameron goes early, beats Meek for the tap, who then Cameron becomes the tackler on Will Day.
How long that will last, because we didn't see Mackenzie to Dacos too often in that first quarter.
All thrown up, spills out the way of Cam Mackenzie, trying to knock it clear. It's Ed Allen who picks it up for Collingwood. Hand pass to Goey, too sharp for Nick Dacos. It comes out to Swaddling. Hand pass to brother Josh Dacos. He sends it to the outer wing and Jack Crisp takes the mark. Just keeps keeping on. Sends it up to Ed Allen. Hand pass to the runner to Goey at right half forward. Kicks inside 50. McStay out of position. It spills down to the front. Still a chance for Collingwood trying to knock it on. Was the efforts there in the forward pocket of West. It's still alive though. Hardwick over the top of the footy, trying to slap it out. Spills out away of Hardwick. Eventually the umpire comes in and will ball it up. It's 40 metres out from the Magpies' goal.
I reckon that move of Sicily to the wing was made late in that first term after he gave away the or let Tim Membry take that mark under post.
Yep. Meek got the touch, trying to hack it out of there and hit the ground. Schultz went through. He was tackled immediately. Two Hawks got him.
And Membry's not a good matchup for Sicily because Membry's a hit-up player, where Sicily just likes to drop off his opponent.
Well, up the call, one down by Cameron. Missed off Eamon, got it on the day. He'll clear the Hawks' defensive 50. That's a thumping kick towards the wing. Punched away from Frampton. Doing well there, Lewis. So to pick up another 20 metres or so, there'll be a throwing out left half forward.
Well, that's where the restart's the win there. So you got a stoppage inside your defensive 50. Then you've travelled the ball 60 metres with a kick, plus another 15, 20 metres with a spoil to get it into your territory now.
And Meek wins it down for the Hawks as well. First use of the football here. Day's forced to defend, tackles Crisp. Ball up again. Still at left half forward. The Hawthorn Footy Club, one down by Meek. And kick forward, here's Hardwick into the left forward pocket for the Hawks. Quaynor coming back off his hands. And over for a boundary throw-in, 25 metres around from the Hawks attacking goal. The city end of the MCG. No change to that quarter time score. 2 and a bit minutes into the second. It's still 2-3-15 apiece between the Hawks and the Magpies.
Quaynor with the job on Nick Watson. Not exactly the player you want to have with an injury. Meek tries to knock it over the back, but straight to Cameron. He's tackled and dispossessed. Spills out the way of Josh Dacos. He knocks it on to Goey. Sockers it out to half back. Cleverly knocked on by West. Got it to Schultz, but he's toe poke. They're out of play. A lasso free kick for the Hawks. Carl Amon will take it.
No one's explained to me why it's called a lasso free kick. And why the signal?
Gesture.
Why the signal? I don't understand.
It's on the bar at Coyote Ugly, isn't it?
At least it stands out.
Yeah, true.
Amon sends it to half forward, and Mitch Lewis with a towering mark. He looks to centre. The kick is wide of Will Day. He leaves it for Battle, 60 from home. Chips it into the pocket. Connor McDonald takes the mark. He can give it off as well. Dylan Moore's the target. He's on a tighter angle, but he's only about 25 metres out from goal.
There's a movie I haven't heard about a long time.
Coyote Ugly. I could see D. Harford be up for that.
Oh, no doubt about that.
There was plenty to recommend it, Clinchy.
Dominate the bar action.
19 goals, 12 for Dylan Moore as he kicks across the face of goal, and he can't take his chance either. Enough to give the Hawks the lead by a point. We played 3.5 minutes in the second quarter.
Spend enough time with half, Clint, and you go down memory lane very often.
It's the best lane.
Here goes Josh Dacos with the kick towards right half back. D'Ambrosio for the Hawks got front position, spilled in the direction of Lewis, couldn't take it up against the boundary line. He'll gather the footy though and throw it back to the boundary umpire. Still at left half forward here for the Hawks. Spun back in. Cameron took front position. Meek waited. A fist on the footy to punch it forward. Dacos was there though. Gave it to Crisp. Broken attempted tackle. Shovels the hand pass forward. But turning onto it as Amon did well to Mackenzie for the Hawks. Shrugged an attempted tackle and now will kick into the left forward pocket. Big group underneath it. One down by Frampton. Did really well. Saw it across the boundary line. They'll get the stoppage then. Hawthorn to worry about with the inside 50s coming from the Hawks, who lead by points. 4 and a bit gone here in the second term of the MCG. This is Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Collingwood dominated the inside 50s, dominated the tackles in the first quarter. Clears the 2 rucks, gets to the back. Swaddling with a hand pass away to Josh Dacos. Searching hand pass for Harvey Harrison. The late inclusion for Sidebottom. Gets away from Sicily. Sends it up the wing and McCreary with a great one-handed mark. Waits for Harrison to keep running. Hand passes it to him, boundary side. He looks up inside 50. Needs a forward to lead up, but stays the target. Can't take the mark. Spills down to the front. Newcomb trying to duck out of a tackle. Just got it out at the last moment. Dylan Moore gathers. Hand pass over the top. The Hawks have numbers here. Mitch Lewis works it forward to Bailey McDonald. He wants to try and get it out the back to Marbiel Chol. Frampton sits himself in front. Chol goes for a fly. Can't come down with a footy. And off the hands of Quainer, it goes out of play. Collingwood trailing by a point.
Jack Gunston looking for the lasso. Rammers. Hey, we're going to have a look. We're going to have a look. We're going to go upstairs.
If they're having a look, it'll be a Hawthorn free kick.
Yeah, it is.
There it is.
Gunston was calling for it. He was the only one.
I don't know to ask the question. They've thought about it and they found it.
Well, after 299 games, you probably get a few things right.
Nick Watson has ball in hand. 60 from goal. Kicks it to the teeth of goal. Frampton might have got a nudge in the back. Scholl takes the mark. Frampton immediately turns to look at the umpire. Scholl has been paid the mark and he's pretty much right in front. He'll start in line with the right hand behind post and put boots of ball from about 35 out.
This will be his first touch. Maybe your Scholl for the Knights. It's really good body work and good craft coming into that. Just the arm out, just leant on Frampton to get him off balance. Came back to the footy.
He's done very well.
It's a long way from in the book, this one.
Marbiel Chol. He's on the way in. It's from 35 out. You can tell from the crowd reaction, he's been able to convert. The Hawks have got their third of the evening. 3-4-22 to Collingwood 2-3-15. Hawthorn through Marbiel Chol said their lead go out to 7 points at the 7-minute mark of the second term. This is Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport. Your experts, Adam Ramanauskas and Daniel Harford.
Well, you feel like 7 minutes into this second quarter. Feels like a lot of the quarter's been played in Hawthorn's front half. So, a bit of forward pressure, repeat entry, 4 inside 50s for the quarter for the Hawks, putting Collingwood's defence under real pressure. You look behind the ball, Hawthorn is set up really well. Blake Hardwick's always the deepest Hawthorn player that's closest to Collingwood's goal, so he's got Schultz at the moment. Schultz is trying to push up to create a bit of havoc, but Hawthorn well set up this quarter.
Back-to-back goals for the Hawks as Meek wins down the tap. Connor McDonald can't break away, so they do it once more. This time it's Ward who tries to get a hand pass out to Meek, to Connor McDonald, stripped of it. Howes takes it back for Collingwood. Allen tries to knock it on. It's a turnover though. Morrison for Hawthorn. Got a hand pass away. Newcomb was ridden into the turf as the ball is locked to Bailey McDonald. The umpire will ball it up on the members' wing. Hawthorn 3-4-22. Collingwood 2-3-15. Off hands, Pendlebury tries to soccer it up towards half forward. McStay crashes into an opponent. He got a push in the eyes of the umpire. Dan McStay will take it at half forward. Hand pass to Nick Dacos, always a good option. Sends it inside 50. Anderson the target. Can't take the mark. Ward almost juggled it. In front position, knocks it down. Collingwood numbers dive on top. And the ball up in left forward pocket for Collingwood.
Crowd has really filled into the MCG. The get here, of course, with the traffic congestion. One down here by Meek, trying to work her way through as Connor McDonald stolen away, though, by Cameron. Hand pass to Pendlebury, then to Hayes. Oh, wrapped up by Barris. I mentioned earlier, he's like an enormous brick wall. Well, that brick wall just said, you're not going anywhere, and then took him to ground.
Talking about the traffic, if you're a professional, you leave a little bit earlier, Clint.
One down here, Cameron from the restart.
You're going to get clubbed tonight.
Wait, who only just snuck in before it got to air? I'm not sure. Ball's there to be won. And eventually the umpire says, no, we'll ball it up instead.
Never late to a broadcast. It's the important thing. It's the important thing.
It's all about timing. It's like
exactly right.
Good racehorse. Know where the line is.
Get to the clock tower.
Exactly. Mackenzie tries to take it away, knocked out of his grasp. Pendlebury's in there as well for the Magpies. Still deep inside Collingwood's forward 50. It's not coming out again. We'll have ourselves another ball up. The Hawks lead by 7. Early stages, second term.
The Demons with the opening 2 goals against Port Adelaide. Thrown up. Meek tries to knock it down. The umpire's gone down as well. Spills out to Nick Dacos. The little master onto his right. Fires towards goal and works it home. A touch of class from Nick Dacos. That's what Collingwood needed. And after back-to-back goals for the Hawks, it's cut back to a 1-point lead Hawthorn's way. 3-4-22 to Collingwood, 3-3-21. Adam Ramanaskas, what can't he do?
He's just active. I think that's why he's so hard to tag, because he's not a player that stands still. So we just get him the replay here. He's always on the move. So he's around the back there of that contest. He holds his shape behind that contest, Nick Dacos. His direct opponent goes for the football. And that's where the difference lies. So you can't step off Nick, particularly in the forward half of the ground, because he's either in there getting the ball himself. That's where Sicily was the direct opponent. He gets sucked to the contest half, whereas Dacos stays back, holds the shape. Handball gets delivered backwards, goal.
No player in the competition is as explosive in 2 steps as that young man.
Neither ruck had a telling tap. It's still down here for Long. Was able to work it forward for Collingwood. Anderson tried to hack it off the ground. Picked up instead by McKenzie. Followed up by Anderson. Tackled him. Ball jarred free. Came out there to Pendlebury. Worked it around to Josh Dacos. He's Nick Dacos again. Stabbing it into his memory. Couldn't take the mark. Could hand it off though. Anderson! Listen to that roar. The Magpies. They put their lead out to 5 points. Snatching it back from the Hawks. Angus Anderson loves the goal. 4-3-27 to Hawthorn's 3-4-22. We've got a game on our hands at the MCG on Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
Well, it's the pressure again. It's the forward pressure again. McKenzie gets the ball at half-back. He's swamped by 3 defenders. All of a sudden, the ball spills out. And then the Pies go to work. Dacos is getting... Do you call him Dakai before?
The Dakai.
That's fantastic. I love that. The Dakai get involved. And Nick's little pass to Embry on the outside of the boot was a beauty. Back into the corridor. He didn't quite get it, but he had the support runner in Anderson and straight through the middle from him.
McKenzie's got to be quicker there half.
Yeah, but again, this is the perceived pressure as much as anything else from the Pies. You're going to get hit.
Just first give.
They do operate sometimes as a pair.
I agree. Don't get me wrong.
Collingwood with the last 2 goals of the game. Jordan Agoe tries to break out of the centre circle. He's locked up by Jai Newcomb and the umpire will throw it up. Collingwood 4-3-27, leading Hawthorn 3-4-22. Meat wins down the tap. Numbers dive on top. Comes out the way of Pendlebury. Hand pass to Agoe. Links up with Swaddling. Hand pass a little loose in the end for Hayes. He tries to tap it away from Amon. Gathers it. Amon gathered him. Ball spills clear. Hand pass comes out to Long. Kicks up in the Membry direction. Weddle got rid of him. Battle makes the spoil. Sicily racing back for Hawthorn. The captain one way then the other, a little slow. And West got him. But he was over the boundary line. The throw it in the left forward pocket under the Olympic stand. Collingwood by 5 points.
Yeah, unless they get the mark for a kick situation, the Hawks, they're under extreme pressure.
Boundary umpire unfurls. Cameron got there first. Leak leapt and won it down though. Day tries to gather. Had 2 bites at it. Couldn't. Anderson got a hand pass away to go. He socketed it off the ground. Tapped on here by Schultz. Running through Hayes. Not sure what he was trying to do then. Whether he was trying to centre it or have a flying shot at goal from left full forward. In the end, it was all just horrible. And it's gone across the face of goal and out for a boundary throwing. 25 out from goal. Right forward pocket for the Pies.
When the game's in chaos, Collingwood are clearly the better team at the moment.
Agreed.
Spun back in again. Cameron this time got to it, got 2 hands to it, spilled down, shoveled out of here by Steele, stolen low by Ginnivan. A hand pass away to Watson, sweeping hand pass forward. McKenzie arches the back and goes on a run. Got away from Quaynor, kicks across the centre circles to Morrison, scoops it up, comes back to Bailey McDonald, now to Morrison again for the Hawks. Short chip finds Ginnivan. He's on his own on the logo commentary wing, heads inside forward 50, Shoal flew! Couldn't take the mark, spilled down to Steele for the Magpies. Came through Frampton and then to Goey.
Has Harrison on the outer wing free. He plays on, takes a bounce. Will Day off his chase. Drives it inside 50. The target is West. It's just wide of him and Sicily sees it out of play in the right forward pocket for Collingwood. 16-10 the tackles for Collingwood in this second quarter. They've had 38 in a quarter and a half. They are setting a feverish tempo as to how they want this game to be played. Collingwood by 5 points. Shallow throw in. Worked down by Cameron, trying to get it Down to the efforts of Harvey Harrison and can't break clear.
And it's probably Collingwood are playing the game at finals intensity, whereas Hawthorn are in home and away mode.
Well, they're playing it on terms. Get back to it shortly.
Meek won it down. Still in right forward pocket for the Pies.
So we talked about the uncontested marks. Sorry, Clint. The uncontested marks at quarter time. It was 37 to Hawthorn to 14. Hawthorn had 3.
Yeah.
They've had 3 this quarter so far, so they've taken that away from them.
Meek won it down again. Comes to Longbow for the Magpies. Is it right half forward? Gives it off to Josh Dacos. Kicks to full forward. Stretching West! That's a great mark at full forward. Strong hands. High fives Harrison on the way back to take his kick. That's a ripping grab.
And it's a big win because it's a young forward versus the captain. And when you see your captain beaten like that one-on-one, it can take a little bit of the confidence away from the group.
Charlie West, already with 1 goal tonight. He's on his way in. Tight angle, right forward pocket. No problem. The Magpies, they put their lead out to 11 points at the 16-minute mark of the second term. 5-3-33. The Hawks are 3-4-22. And repeating, Charlie West becomes the game's first multiple goal kicker.
And again, they're doing the work around stoppage. So that time's Ned Long coming through the stoppage. Then Josh Dacos with a smart kick. He didn't put it too high. Didn't put it, where Sicily could come in and really, smash that ball. He put it low and flat where he forced Sicily to defend. And Charlie West was too good. He was too good in that aerial contest there. So getting 2 goals out of him in the first half is a terrific return.
3-1, Collingwood's way in this second quarter. McStay and Chol into the ruck. Spills out the way of Ward. Gets a hand pass out to McKenzie. Bumped off it by Pendlebury. McKenzie crashes into Harrison, who lays the tackle. Pendlebury tries to get it forward, holding the ball. So a Collingwood free kick going the way of Harvey Harrison in the middle of the MCG. Hand pass to Josh Dacos. Over the top to brother Nick. They've got to go loose at half forward. He receives the hand pass, kicks inside 50. Day spoiled. Chol in the end, spills out to Hardwick. His hurried kick is chopped off by Swaddling.
They're not coping with the pressure here, the Hawks.
Oh, Houston.
Swaddling at left half forward, kicks for the leader McStay in from the side. Ward makes the spoil. Ricochets out to Morrison in the back pocket. Gets the hand pass away. Bailey McDonald's long kick to a 1-on-1. Frampton and Lewis spills to the front. Crisp is tackled. Ginnivan locks him up. Pin the arm. Umpire says holding the ball. Hawthorn will take the advantage.
And they bring it out towards the commentary wing. Nicely worked from Ward and now to Morrison. Now back to Ward. Frampton closes him down. Has to go back to take his kick.
Just to 15. I reckon it's about 11.
A bit of that going on today. In the North Melbourne game.
It's a horrible entry.
It's a shocking kick inside forward 50, and McStay was happy enough to go out, take a chest back. Dangerous hand pass to Quaynor. Scholl provided the pressure, just got it away to De Goey. Now back to Howes, the second gamer in the right back pocket. Shares it with Nick Dacos, sends it all the way back to Swaddling. He sees Josh Dacos in acres of space at left half back. That time to set up a picnic. Decides to go short instead to Frampton. Marks looked to play on by hand and then decides no, he'll put boot to ball and give it out to Josh Dacos again. They're not flying forward at the moment, the Magpies.
So this is a new mode for them. We haven't seen this all night.
Lead by 11 points, 18 gone in the second. The kick is towards left half forward. That's a strong grab front position, dragging it in crisp.
It's a big win.
Chris pauses again. This is more about control from Collingwood at the moment. The kick is inside the attacking 50. Wants Membry. Spoiled away by Hardwick. Spills down to Pendlebury though of the Magpies. He's Swaddling. Top of the 50-metre arc. Puts it over the top for Harrison to run onto. Has it deep in the right forward pocket. Tries to centre it. West's hands are up. Couldn't get there. Spilled away. And Bailey McDonald clears towards left half back.
Now towards Ginnivan. Howes came late. Couldn't make the spoil. Gathered by Chol. Back to Ginnivan. Has to just dribble it up the wing. Collingwood are well situated. Frampton runs onto it. He tries to find a way around Dylan Moore. Hand pass away to Swaddling against the boundary line. Chips it up the wing. Pendlebury marks for Collingwood. The Magpies by 11 points. Risky kick into the middle of the ground. Missed the target. And Ward takes it back for Hawthorn. Hand pass away to Carl Amon. Works it with Moore. Hand pass to him beyond 50. He steadies from 45. Kick on its way. It hits the post. Geez, they had Collingwood flat-footed there. Couldn't finish. Collingwood leading by 10 points.
Had to score from there. Had to score a goal from there in that turnover, middle of the ground. Collingwood surged forward. They were all at sea defensively. Had to make the most of that.
6-pointer left out there for the Hawks as Swadling goes beyond defensive 50. Weddle will track back and gather on the southern wing. Kick inboard, turns it over. He wanted battle, chopped off by Schultz, who wanted it more. Handed it on, chance to run inside forward 50 and bounce it through for a goal. What a shocking turnover. Collingwood, they've got another one on the scoreboard. McCreery took the opportunity that just presented itself from a horrific turnover. And the Magpies lead goes out to 16 points. 6-3-39 to 3-5-23. Gee whiz, the Hawks would want that moment back.
Well, really half made the call on Impey having to finish. And the ball goes up the other end. It was the right kick by Weddle. It just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah.
So it just hung up in the air enough for Schultz to get in there and affect the spoil. Now, McCreery had nobody forward, so he had to go and kick the goal in the end because there was no other option. And he just steadied himself enough. That's what it's like when you got pace, I suppose, half, isn't it? And you know that you can get away from people.
I wouldn't know. But just the poise, too, to be able to understand the situation and finish. Great experience for Bo McCreery there, but the turnover, again, pressure caused the turnover.
Collingwood out by 16 points, biggest lead of the match. Meek wins down the tap against McStay, comes out to Morrison, around his body looking for Gunston, beautifully gathered at half forward, cuts back on his right, kicks into the pocket, and just squeezed it in from behind as Chol had let up. Gunston had eyes only for the goals. Collingwood by 15 points.
Yeah, they're off their tackle, the Hawks.
Yeah.
That's normally a little hit up to the Chol lead there from Jack Gunston. He felt he needed to be the one to get something going for the Hawks rather than just doing the easy thing.
Houston with the kick in towards left half back. Barris pushed up, got hands to it, couldn't mark, spills out to Day. Did well, broke one tackle. Dacos for Josh Wright, he got him. We've got a hand pass out to Moore, who kicks towards goal, and Howes back there gets the touch on it across the goal line for a rush behind. 3-7-25 the Hawks now. They play the Magpies 6-3-39, 23 gone in the second.
You just feel like next goal either way is very important in this game. Houston into Howell, sends it long up the wing in the Anderson direction and off hands. Battle sees it out of play. For Collingwood, it could break the game right open. For Hawthorn, it shows they're still in the fight.
Just remembering back to the last game they played, their draw, it was 13-15.
Yep.
Fairly average kicking to 15-3.
Yeah.
Magpies were kicking lasers all night. I just wonder if that's creeping into the psyche of the Hawks at the moment. 2-3-7.
The goalie from the stoppage. Hand pass to Nick Dacos into the middle of the crowd. A 1-on-1 McCreery and Bailey McDonald. Bailey McDonald socking it clear to Houston and now becomes the tackler. Morrison's locked in the middle of the MCG. Looked to the umpire just to make sure he wasn't going to penalise him. Collingwood by 14 points. Thrown up. Meek wins down the tap. Harrison's had a good game. Kicks inside 50. It's over the head of Membry and Barris. They race after it. Membry gets there first. Hand pass back to Schultz. He draws an opponent. Back to Membry. 50 out. Sends it long towards the top of the goal square. Anderson's there. West is there. Anderson kept his feet. Hand pass along from the outside of the boots. Rowan Steele puts it through. Collingwood kicking them from everywhere. And the Magpies all of a sudden have 5 goals to 1 in the second quarter. And they lead by 20 points. 7-3-45 to Hawthorn, 3-7-25. They're getting smashed at ground level, Hawthorn. You know, just there. That ball really... Collingwood have no right to win that ball at ground level. Hawthorn have got numbers, even numbers there at the contest. Terrific kick by Membry, top of the square. But you look at Hawthorn, then at ground, they're just trailing. They're just trailing in their direct opponent. Collingwood are first to all ground balls. Hawthorn can't lay a glove on tackles.
It's a great finish too from Rowan Steele. He knew about it as well. Holding
WA boy, is he?
Yeah, he is from West Perth. Terrific finish.
A couple of WA boys out there tonight.
They're everywhere. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Free kick in the middle.
I gave you a nice little half.
Oh, no, I loved it. I thought, am I going to leave it? No chance of that.
21-11 ground balls in the forward half to the Pies.
Collingwood with the free kick. Houston puts it long inside forward 50. McCreery battles away against Battle. It's been held to him by the Hawk and ball up the call, left forward pocket.
And that's effectively the game in the second quarter, isn't it?
Yep.
Up it goes again. Inside forward 50 for the Magpies. Trying to get a clearing kick away. McKenzie around the body towards right half back. Josh Dacos is there for Collingwood. Got tackled. Spilled out. Donald. Again, it's there to be won. And it's a free kick going against Harrison. And Moore will hand it, back to the umpire for a ball up. And down by Meek here. Dane tries to work his way through. Couldn't. Cameron picks it up for Collingwood. Swept the head over the top. Oh, Schultz. Oh, that's a big, solid hit. It's going to be paid as high. Not sure whether Bailey knew much about it, but yeah, certainly Schultz was hit heavily. He'll decide to play on with a kick inside forward 50.
Sends it long to the goal square. McStay at the back. He thinks he's got it. Umpire thought it was off a few hands and a ball up at the top of the goal square.
It was off Membry's hands.
His fellow forward. Umpire quickly throws it up. Players on the move. To Goey, not 15. McStay in the pocket marks. Hand pass chopped off by D'Ambrosio. Sends Hawthorn out of defence. Gunston in a tangle. A puncher. The free kick will go the way of Jack Gunston. Hawks fans feel like they've been on the wrong end of a review. He'll take it at left half back. Collingwood by 20 points.
Free kicks, 11-6 in favour of the Pies for those that play that game.
Gunston, the D'Ambrosio, who marks hard up against the boundary. Moving short again to Battle. He marks just shy of the logo on the wing. Shane Warnstand will play on now. And with the right kick towards left half forward. Chong, good mark at the back. And over the top of Cameron and Howes. Marbior Chong just stands, allows players to stream forward. He'll try to spot a teammate in the left forward pocket, but instead getting their first puncher.
It's interesting, Ramo, that for that exit from the back half there, didn't even look to go and open the ground up. The Hawks, it's been very narrow, very straight line.
Puncher for the Pies beyond defensive 50. McStay flew in a pack, spill down to Membry. Hand pass out, direction of Long. Working it through Allen. Now to Goey. That's a lovely kick to McCreery, who marks and continues on his run. Goes inside forward 50. Oh, goal was at his mercy. And he had options as well. And he missed to the left-hand side. A minor score.
21-point lead, Collingwood's way. Impey up the wing. Morrison wins a 2-on-1. Got it forward to Dylan Moore. Hand pass over his head. Chopped off by Ned Long. Collingwood take it back. Hand pass to Harrison. To Houston. Trying to thread the needle. To Goey between two Hawks. Brought it down. McCreery bounces off a couple of tacklers. Centres it to centre half forward. Where Steele marks. It all opens up in front of him for his second. He misses. And a few Collingwood players with their arms outstretched as well.
Two golden opportunities, Clinchy.
Yeah. Collingwood by 22 points.
5-2 to 1-4 this quarter.
They kicked 5 unanswered goals in a row, and now the 2 behinds. They're absolutely dominating, and it could be more. As Newcombe goes beyond defensive 50 to a big pack on the commentary wing. Up there to take the marquee. The Hawks have it. And this will sweep it forward to Morrison. Step back inboard. Morrison, sold a bit of candy. Got around Ed Allen. Kicks into the right forward pocket for the Hawks. Gathering it. Watson hard up against the boundary. Popped the hand pass short here to Gunston. Gunston surrounded by Pies. Had time to assess his options. Steers it back. Can't find Chol. Taking it to Goey. Shrugged the attempted tackle of Weddle. Swept the hand pass out to Swadling. He's wrapped up by Watson, dare I say it. Came out the back again to Quaynor. Quaynor beyond defensive 50 for the Pies. Scooted past one. Membry up against Barras. They collide and the footy goes off them. It's going to be deliberate. He's knocked it across the line. Barras will get the free kick.
Might have convinced the umpire of that one. Barras back across half back. Carl Amon takes the mark. Collingwood by 22 points. Back to Jarman Impey, who marks at centre half back.
It's well set up to block to switch in the corridor.
So tick past half an hour gone in this second quarter. So Hawthorn work it back to James Sicily. Game 200 for the Hawks captain tonight. Works it back inside defensive 50 to Impey. Trying to swing it out to left half back. Josh Battle marks. So Collingwood happy to give them this mark. Hand pass over the top to Weddle, who looks up the wing. Turns it over. Kicked it straight to Rowan Steele, who takes it back for Collingwood. Steele's in no real intent to move it quickly with everyone's behind the ball.
So well set up, the Pies. They made him go back and across and go nowhere and get a turnover.
Teresa comes inboard to Nick Dacos. This would be telling if they kick one here. Up to McStay. He marks it right half forward. He's got Schultz in the goal square against Sicily. No real tall target, so just puts it in that direction. Membry got there late. Sicily makes the spoil, comes down to the front. Lloyd Meek trying to gather. He hacks the kick out towards centre half back. Running onto it, Steele blazes away and misses everything. Out of bounds on the full. So Collingwood by 22 points. Well, that three chances, they could have led by 40 points.
They've left a few out there, the Magpies. Trying to get the Hawks in this. And through their own efforts. Battle with the free kick from left half back. Barris flew, got a hand to it. Ed Allen was there, gathered, went back to Nick Dacos, to Josh Dacos. There's the Dacos again. Kicks inside forward 50, the right forward pocket of Membry. Free kick.
Yeah.
Going away at Battle.
Battle was held by Schultz, trying to get to come in third man in.
Here's Battle sending it towards left half back again. Meeks up to mark. He looks to move it on really quickly for Hawthorn and finds Chol back and back as he takes the mark. Now stands on it. Hawks fans wanting to take a step back. Chol, meantime, will put it into the left forward pocket. Gunston up against Houston. No mark taken. Ball hits the deck. So do the players. Scooped up by Moore. Josh Dacos tackles him to ground. Ball up. Left half forward here for the Hawks, who desperately need a goal as we close in on half-time.
1 goal, 4. Hawthorn's way in this second quarter to Collingwood's 5-2. Thrown up. Meek and Cameron. Quainer knocks it out along the boundary line. Schultz is taken across by Jarman Impey. The umpire says throw it in. So 22-point lead Collingwood's way after scores will level at quarter time. Pies have given everything they've got. The Hawks will be keen to readdress at half-time. Thrown back in. Cameron and Meek. Meek from behind wins down the tap. Spills to the front. And that'll do us. The first half, an entertaining contest, but it's Collingwood who's had the better. A 22-point lead. 7-5-47 to Hawthorn 3-7-25. 5 goals to 1 the way of the Magpies in that second quarter. 2 goals to Charlie West, individuals to McCreary, Nick Dacos, Anderson and Steele. While for the Hawks, individual goals to Newcomb, Meek and Chol. The thoughts of Adam Romanascus and Daniel Harford with you on ABC Sport.
Well, terrific quarter from the Pies. They dominated all the key categories similarly to what they did in the first quarter. They were enormous. Contested possession, uncontested possession. Clearances 14-7, a smacking around the contest. 21-17 uncontested marks. Still led tackles 24-19. Inside 50, 17-12, 5-2-1-4. They were brilliant. They gave Hawthorn no time and space. As soon as the ball got in their forward half, let alone their forward 50, the Magpies, they just squeezed the life out of Hawthorn. It's what Brisbane did really effectively last week. And talking about the way that Hawthorn got beaten last week, they got beaten in the air last week, but that's not the strength of the Pies in their forward half of the ground. So they're going to work at ground level. They're going to get it in there and go really hard at ground level, put heaps of pressure on the Hawks as they try and get out of D50 with any level of fluency or efficiency, and they just haven't allowed it. And it's been a masterclass in pressure and system. And they could quite rightly go into half-time thinking they've absolutely got the game in the palm of their hands at the moment. And the Hawks have got all sorts of troubles to address at half-time. Sam Mitchell's got one of the biggest challenges of his coaching career here. On the back of last week and what's happened in this first half tonight, he's got some real magnets he's got to move and levers he needs to pull to get this game back on terms.
Well, the reality of it is Hawthorn just can't absorb the pressure.
Yep.
And Collingwood, they're now just feasting on it. So you mentioned those ground ball numbers inside the forward half. Collingwood almost want the ball to hit the ground.
Absolutely.
Let's not mark the ball in the air because we know we're going to get them on the ground. So, and you look at that and you speak about last week that Brisbane got him in the air. But this is the problem for Sam right now. It's a big issue where their one mode is ball movement and uncontested mark. That's their only mode. When the game gets into a scrap and a fight, they're steps behind. So you speak about clearances, you speak about ground ball gets, you speak about contested football. That is all Collingwood. Yeah. That is all Collingwood in this first half.
15-5 ground balls in the forward half, just in that quarter alone, in favour of the Magpies. First quarter it was Hawthorn 23-19, so they got to work, but Collingwood have identified a real strength and a real weapon and some fragility in the Hawthorn defensive system, and they're going to work. They're exploiting everything they can at the moment. It's been very impressive.
Can they play that way for 4 quarters?
Well, they have to. They have to because of personnel. That's the reality of it. Now, okay, they've got a younger...
What about the energy and intent it requires?
That's what I'm getting at. So they've got a younger, more inexperienced team in there. So it will drop off at a moment. Then can Hawthorn take that moment and go and recognise and go, okay, we've got to score here? Because right at the moment, it doesn't even look like Hawthorn are going to score. With any fluency in that second quarter, ball's going in, Gunston's getting up the ground. You rarely see Gunston up the ground. So he's almost coming up to force another number to try to absorb a bit of Collingwood's pressure, get a restart through the middle of the ground, then reset the ground. But Collingwood are keeping the ball in motion. So it's pressure, tackle, spill out, Collingwood there, off they go. Big challenge for Hawthorn. I said I wanted them to be a little bit nasty before the game. I have not seen one bit of nastiness from the Hawks.
No. And on the live ladder at the moment, Hawthorn would have dropped from that 4 spot. They've been 5th, depending on what happens with other results across the weekend.
And Melbourne are giving it to Port Adelaide at the moment.
So the Demons had kicked 7 of the first 8 goals of the game. They led by 20-odd points at quarter time. Port Adelaide have just kicked the first goal of the second quarter. So Melbourne 7-2-44 to Port Adelaide 2-2-14.
Can we get you a soother or something?
That'd be a great half. Let's all head to the latest from the ABC newsroom.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. The death toll from the powerful earthquake that struck off the coast of the eastern Indonesian island of Flores has risen to at least 38. Indonesia's disaster management agency says several others were injured in the magnitude 7.7 quake that shook the Indonesian province of East Nusa Tenggara early today. Indonesia's armed forces have been deployed in search and rescue operations across the affected province. Victoria has confirmed a Phillip Island little penguin has died from H5 bird flu. The dead penguin was found in the Greater Phillip Island region and away from where the daily penguin parade occurs that attracts visitors. Chief Biodiversity Officer Dr James Todd says the detection of bird flu on the island is concerning, but work is already underway to begin a mass vaccination program of the thousands of penguins that call the island home.
We know that little penguins are iconic and highly valued by Victorians, and for that reason we are working as a priority to protect those colonies.
Western Australia's Premier Roger Cook has described the preference deal struck between the WA Liberal Party and One Nation in the Secret Harbour by-election as a toxic coalition. Labor candidate Georgia Tree officially launched her campaign for the seat today following the retirement of Labor Minister Paul Papalia. Last month, Liberal leader Basil Zemplis said any result which sees Labor lose the seat would be considered a win for the Liberals. Roger Cook says One Nation has a track record of not delivering for Western Australians.
And it's a record the opposition leader has endorsed by sending Liberal Party preferences to One Nation. He knows the only way that he can govern in WA is through a toxic coalition with One Nation, with the Liberal Party as the minor partner.
An Adelaide NDIS provider has been charged over an alleged $5 million fraud plot. Francis Dew has the story.
The Australian Federal Police say officers arrested a 38-year-old man at Adelaide Airport yesterday as he was trying to leave the country. The AFP also says he's a director of a registered NDIS provider. They alleged the man solicited protected NDIS participant information from a National Disability Insurance Agency employee and used it to make thousands of funding claims worth about $5 million. In June, a 48-year-old woman was the first person to face charges over the same alleged plot after AFP investigators searched premises in Adelaide's northern suburbs. The man has been charged with dealing with the proceeds of crime fraudulently claimed from the NDIS and soliciting protected information from an NDIS staff member.
US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has welcomed Venezuela's latest prison release of more than 130 political detainees, saying it's a crucial step in the country's national reconciliation process. More on this from the BBC's James Reid.
There were emotional scenes outside Venezuelan prisons as detainees were reunited with their families. Some had been convicted of plotting against Nicolas Maduro, the former president who's now facing trial in New York after being ousted by the US military. Since his downfall in January, more than 1,000 Venezuelans have been released. Marco Rubio added that the US was closely monitoring talks between the interim government and opposition, which began last week. Some in Venezuela regard the American Secretary of State as an unofficial viceroy because of the control he exerts over the interim president, Delcy Rodriguez.
Turning to sport now, and Bangladesh is poised to win a cricket test on Australian soil for the first time, with the tourists well on top after day 3 in Darwin. Jim Maxwell wraps up the day's play.
Bangladesh have taken control of the Darwin Test. Australia is 4 for 161, needing another 67 to get level. Josh Hazlewood took his 300th Test wicket as Bangladesh scored 426, and that made a lead of 228. In its second innings, Australia with Smith making 44, Green 43 not out. They go into the fourth day with Bangladesh on the brink of an historic win. Jim Maxwell, ABC Sport, Darwin.
In AFL, two-time premiers Brisbane have shored up their top 4 berth with a 42-point win over Gold Coast at the Gabba. In the other match, completed earlier, Geelong was too good for North Melbourne, 125 to 110. This is ABC News.
This August, Science Week is blooming around the ABC.
We're celebrating Australia's favourite wildflowers.
Vote now this Science Week.
Get involved at abc.net.au/science.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
Nick Watson has ball in hand, 60 from goal. Kicks into the teeth of goal. Frampton might have got a nudge in the back. Scholl takes the mark. Pretty much right in front. He'll start in line with the right hand behind post and put boots of ball from about 35 out.
This will be his first touch.
He's on the way in. It's from 35 out. You can tell from the crowd reaction, he's been able to convert. The Hawks have got their third of the evening.
Thrown up, Meek tries to knock it down. The umpire's gone down as well. Spills out to Nick Dacos. The little master onto his right. Fires towards goal and works it home. A touch of class from Nick Dacos. That's what Collingwood needed.
Tried to hack it off the ground. Cut the head by McKenzie. Followed up by Anderson. Tackled in, ball yard free. Came out there to Pendlebury, worked it around to Josh Dacos. He's Nick Dacos again, stabbing it into his memory. Couldn't take the mark. Could hand it off though. Anderson! Listen to that roar. The Magpies. They put their lead out to 5 points. Just a long low for the Magpies. Is it right half forward? Gives it off to Josh Dacos. Kicks the full forward. Stretching west. That's a great mark at full forward. Strong hands. High fives Harrison on the way back to take his kick. That's a ripping grab.
It's a big win because it's a young forward versus the captain.
Charlie West, already with 1 goal tonight. He's on his way in. Tight angle, right forward pocket. No problem. Simon Wing. Sticky inboard, turns it over. He wanted battle chopped off by Schultz, who wanted it more. Handed it on. Chance to run inside forward 50 and bounce it through for a goal. What a shocking turnover.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio.
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And ABC Listen.
Welcome back to the MCG. Collingwood lead by 22 points over Hawthorn in a game that could have enormous ramifications for the Hawks if they are to lose this. Trying to fight back after being belted by 67 points by Brisbane last weekend. Their biggest loss of the year. With the way other results are going, Melbourne at the moment lead by 24 points over Port. That game, admittedly, still midway through the second term. But if that continues on that path and the Demons win, the Hawks, who started the week in third, will drop out of the top four and be down in fifth if they can't find a way to get themselves past Collingwood this evening. Lot to like about Collingwood's game, certainly in that term, when they kicked 5 unanswered goals to begin and kicked 5 goals to 1 in the second quarter. Having a look at some of the numbers at the moment, Jordan De Goey's had 18 disposals, Nick Dacos 18, Josh Dacos with 16, Swadling with 14, while for the Hawks, Impey 16, Morrison 14, Battle 13 and Carl Amon with 12. The inside 50s going the way of Collingwood's 35 to 20. The tackles to Collingwood 46 to 25. Clearances to Collingwood 21 to 11, as we heard from our experts Daniel Harford and Adam Ramanaskas before the half-time break. There's a bit to play out in this one, and I know that it's a situation where Sam Mitchell can't be pointing at the ladder, but to both you, Harf, and to you, Rammer, lose this game for Hawthorn after what happened with that game against Brisbane, and you said it posed some real questions for you. You then drop out of the 4, you lose 2 games this close to finals, and it does make it really unlikely that the Hawks are going to be any sort of contender in 2026 if they drop this.
Oh, you can write them off if they lose this. Absolutely, because what we would have learned in the last couple of weeks is that they struggle with aerial threats forward of the footy, and they struggle with ground level pressure like the Pies are applying tonight. And that's a couple of the key facets of the game you need to have under control when you get to September. So that would be a real big turnaround if they were to be able to compete on the back of that. But it's not over yet. I'm sure Sam's got some answers in the coach's box for the second half. Whether or not it works, we'll see. But yeah, it's a real big fact-finding mission, I reckon, for Sam and for Hawthorn fans to see what their team's made of on the back of last week.
The aerial threat part half is really interesting because you look at Barras and you look at Battle and you go, yep, okay, good defenders, usually win their one-on-ones. It's more the medium-sized guys that I think Hawthorn have the trouble with is the aerial threats. So, like, Carl Amon, for example, doesn't love to be in an aerial contest.
Yep.
Really. I think Jarman Impey defends well. Hardwick mostly defends well in those situations. But, again, it's those medium-sized players that when the ball's in the air, it's been causing Hawthorn the most trouble over the last few weeks. You look at Lohmann last week, he caused all sorts of issues for the Hawks. Charlie Cameron last week, all sorts of issues. So look, they've got to get that right. Again, I think their midfield tonight's been pedestrian. I don't think Newcomb's had a great half of football. Will Day's got the ball and just blazed every time, and I think that's more because of the pressure of Collingwood, where when he's tried to dance, he's been tackled. That's how the game's sort of rolled at the moment. And you look to Goey, Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos, 18, 16, doing plenty of work. You look on the other side, Impey, Harry Morrison, Battle, Amon, all defenders for Hawthorn. Your first genuine mid is Newcomb with 9. Will Day and Newcomb with 9 possessions.
Yeah, McKenzie, 9.
So, there's just not a lot going on in that midfield for Hawthorn.
And as a result, you can't get McDonald into the game or Ginnivan into the game. And D'Ambrosio's done little on the outside as well. Dylan Moore's he's at 10, but he hasn't been overly been active, I wouldn't have thought, from an impact perspective this evening. So they're the guys they rely on too. It's not just the guys on the inside. It's a high half forwards that push up. Watson's another one. Hasn't had a lot of the footy. Has 8 disposals. I
was about to say there was some question marks after last week about Watson. This is one of those games. If the Hawks are to find a way out of it, he needs to somehow get involved. We need to see him do some of the miraculous things that he can do.
It's always the challenge for any good small forward is that when a team puts absolute attention into that matchup, how can they still have an impact on the game, on the scoreboard, whatever that is? Now, Quaynor's basically gone with Watson step for step tonight.
He would have known that on Monday, wouldn't he?
Would have, absolutely.
That's not a difficult matchup.
No.
To
So if I'm Nick Watson in this second half, I'm readjusting. I'm thinking, okay, how do I take Quaynor into positions that he's not comfortable with? Working it from there, not going, I'm going to do the same thing again in the second half. Because what happens is teams will see it, and it's simply, let's just lock down. Like, let's have a dedicated defender. Because what clubs do is when the ball is in their front half, they set up behind the ball. But they lose their matchup a lot of the time. So it's the handover part. And that's what Nick Watson loves, when he's handing over, because you get lost in the mess. And Gunston's a little bit the same at times. When you hand over, you get lost in the mess. But tonight, those two guys have had genuine matchups all night. They haven't had any impact on that first half.
I'd flip them. I'd get Watson deepest and take Quaynor to the square, to the cage, and then kick it low into him. Don't even bother trying to kick it for a mark. Just kick it low in front of him and let him go to work, let him dance, and take Quaynor to school at dance school.
Try and win with dirty ball.
Yep. Oh, that's what I'd be doing, because they can't... Well, I mean, they've got to get it in their forward half first. They didn't do that very well in that second quarter. Collingwood owned that second quarter of possession of forward half. So, but I would get Gunston up, because he's crafty enough to get in good spots as they exit and have good matchups one-on-one. And I think if he's got Houston, you back Gunston a lot of those time one-on-one if it's he and Houston. So get him up a little bit more involved in the game, get Watson as your deepest, which puts a little bit of twitch factor into any defender, and then let him go to work, give him some space to work and see what he can do. I think that's a method worth trying.
We have raved about Collingwood's pressure in the first half. So they've had 46 tackles in that first half, led by the 38-year-old Pendlebury with 5 tackles in a half of football. So when you've got that buy-in from the most experienced player in the game, it's very, very easy for the rest of the team to follow. And their pressure has been immense in that first. It's made Hawthorn look like a very average, mediocre team, particularly in that second half. And then they go to work at ground level, as Half mentioned, in that second quarter. It's made Hawthorn look very, very ordinary. And I think that second quarter exposed almost more problems than last week.
I agree.
In Brisbane.
Yep, I agree.
They're in a tight huddle beneath our broadcast position here. The Hawks, Collingwood have broken. They're heading to the positions on the ground, but the Hawks stayed in a tight group for a little bit longer before they've broken across. Now they get ready to start this second half. Just an update for you for the game at Adelaide. Port Adelaide against Melbourne. The Demons, with about 8 minutes to play before half-time, lead 9-56.
9-2.
To Port 3-2-20. Yep, 9-2-56 to 3-2-20. Hawks fans will be very interested in that game, and we'll keep you right across that as well. Just a reminder, of course, the test continues. It stumps on day 3. The Aussies trailing Bangladesh by 67 runs. With 6 wickets remaining. They're 4 for 161 in their second dig. The Aussies, of course, a call available. Corbin Middlemass leading the team up in Darwin. Just go to ABC Listen, look for the cricket ball button from 10 o'clock tomorrow. First ball of day 4. We're about to get this second half underway. Spectators returning to their seats. It's an enormous crowd, somewhere in the vicinity of 80,000. Here's Matt Clinch to get the third term underway.
Cameron and Meek resume their battle. Tap comes down the way of Ward, who gets a hand pass over the top to Newcomb. Hawthorn go forward first. Kick is wide of Marbiel Chol, though. Frampton should get there first. Gathers for Collingwood. Sends it up the wing. McCreary lost his footing and Battle got it down to Newcomb. Hand pass into the middle of the ground for Will Day. The run of Jarman Impey from half back. Changed his mind at the last moment. Pokes it inside 50. Dylan Moore's hand pass to Sicily in game 200. He unloads but misses everything. Just scrapes in for a minor score to the right. Collingwood by 21 points.
So he started on that southern stand wing. James Sicily, the skipper. Just doesn't seem to be a matchup that Sam Mitchell's happy with for him to play back.
I agree. Well, Membry exposed that matchup in the first quarter.
Houston takes the kicking duties, goes long towards right half back. Flying up, the Hawks are able to punch it away and across for a boundary throw. A big figure of Tom Barras getting up there to do the defensive work. Throw in. Left half forward for the Hawks. And they kick their first goal since the 8-minute mark of the second term. Thrown back in. Cameron palmed it down here for the Magpies. Lewis tried to tap it out for the Hawks, eventually shoveled it straight into Ward's face, bounced off him. Anderson put it back into traffic, went to gather it himself. Morrison tackles him.
And what also Collingwood are doing well is they're taking Hawthorn's defenders to uncomfortable places. So Josh Battle's up at this contest at the moment where he's usually sitting back defending.
Meek slapped it forward, helped on by Lewis inside forward 50, trying to gather Day. Got tackled, just got a hand pass out to Watson. Oh, crunch! Crisp got him and just drove him into the ground over the boundary line at left half forward.
Two great tackles. First one was Quaynor,
yeah.
And the second one was Crisp.
Tackle number 49, Rammer. They're almost about to raise the bat for a half century. Here's Ward inside the defensive 50, under pressure, trying to knock it away. Crisp goes in for Collingwood. He's locked up. Ward over the top, up by our circles, and we'll ball it up. Left forward pocket for the Hawks.
Just not being able to execute under pressure again from Josh Ward. It was a ground ball he had to pick up. He had Watson running shotgun there.
Collingwood by 21 points. Cameron out of the ruck. Tries to get a hand pass in the path of Nick Dacos. Pressured by Mitch Lewis. Knocked it onto Quaynor. Back to Nick Dacos. Somehow made it work. Pendlebury can't gather, and Battle sees it out of play for a boundary throw-in.
So the Collingwood players know when you're in congestion, you better get tackled. Just get someone 3 or 4 metres forward of it, directly forward of it. That's where the ball's going with that quick handball.
He just joined us. Still side bottom. Laid out after announcing his retirement during the week. Coming in for him, Harvey Harrison. Magpies to have it here at right half back as Nick Dacos tried to soccer it off the ground and missed. Newcomb gathered. Hand pass to Morrison. Immediately wrapped up by Crisp again. That 50 up now. Raised the bat for the half-century tackles. Keeping with the cricket theme.
We'd take a 50 for the Aussies at the moment, wouldn't we?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. They'd be very happy.
Little standing ovation from the crowd. Half would have just tipped the hat.
No doubt.
Thank you.
I'm on way to bigger things. 150 left.
Cameron wins it down here from the restart. Got it to Dacos. Clever hand pass to Schultz. Works it on nicely to Chris. Hands it off to the runner. This is slick hands now from the Magpies. It comes again to Houston. He kicks forward, and that's where it all comes undone. Barris got in the way. Was able to gather, kicked around the body for the Hawks defensively towards left half back, and Allen battles away against Hardwick, and they sit over the boundary line for a throw-in.
I'm not sure what Dan Houston was kicking to there.
It's a good question.
Look, I know we've got a beautiful view of the ground up high, but it definitely didn't kick it to a Collingwood player.
Throwing it right half forward for the Magpies. Meek again stretched. He's got the tap against Darcy Cameron. Newcomb's almost able to gather. Ward does for the Hawks. Handed it off to Day. Can he break the Nick Dacos tackle? He broke that. Didn't break the tackle of Schultz, and that's holding the ball.
Been caught a couple of times tonight, Will Day, just trying to take the tackle on too much, trying to fight through.
Well, he had the corridor open, corridor receiving target open, and chose to go back in through the noise, and the noise got a hold of him.
That's what Lockie Schultz made so much of his career about in the West. Sends Collingwood up towards the 50, flying in front. West brought it down. McCreary, Ginneman had hold of him. McCreary gets a hand pass to Allen to Pendlebury. Watson laid the tackle, got him at the last moment. Holding the ball. Nick Watson trying to get involved. He has to do so in the defensive half as he plays on. Tries to get it up to Marbiel Chol. It's a 3-on-1 Hawthorn's way. Chol trying to get it down against Quaynor. Houston got back. So Chol chips it out to Ward. Has it left half forward. Hand pass to Mitch Lewis. Cuts on his right. It's a 2-on-1 once more. And Gunston from behind takes the mark. Impossible position for Puncher here. Ginneman and Gunston to try and deal with.
Now, it's not going to end up on a poster, Clint, but Nick Watson's tackle on Scott Pendlebury at half-back gets him in the game, does a great thing for his team, and all of a sudden they get a shot at goal.
How Hawthorn need this. Jack Gunston veers out to the right and curls through the first of the third quarter.
There's a pulse.
As Hawthorn start the climb. Back to a 15-point lead, Collingwood's way. 7-5-47 to Hawthorn, 4-8-32. 6 minutes gone, third quarter. Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport.
I think that should give Hawthorn's confidence. They can score quickly.
Oh, no doubt.
I think we all appreciate that. But that's the type of effort they need. So first half, they're playing the game on pure talent, ball movement. Start of the second half, they've actually started to put some physical pressure into the game. So half makes a great call there on Nick Watson, getting himself into the game by defensive action. And that's what I think a few of these other Hawthorn players need to do in this third quarter.
They get what they desperately crave. The opening goal of this third term. Back in the middle. And with a more telling tap, Dacos got there. Back to Cameron for the Magpies, to Ed Allen. And pass forward to Dacos. Tries to get away from Ward. Does so. Takes a bounce. Runs the centre half forward. Puts it inside 450. Sicily at the height advantage against Steele. And front position. He takes the mark, the Hawks captain, in the right back pocket. Pauses to assess what's in front of him. Takes a couple of steps and will send it towards the wing. Howes went up, couldn't mark. At the drop, Ginnivan for the Hawks. Moves it on immediately. Great kick. Found Watson in space. Handed on to the run of Connor McDonald. He goes for goal. But he's missed to the right-hand side.
Boy, that was an easy little handball half.
Gunston running through the pocket by himself. 3-on-2.
Had Lewis in the goal square if he decided to go to him as well, but a minor score instead. 4-9-33 plays 7-5-47. Pies in front, 7-goal third term.
Houston just chips it into Josh Dacos, who gives it back to Dan Houston. So still 15 out from his defensive goal. Tries to thread the needle through the middle of the ground. Clears to go in. Ginnivan. Jarman Impey centres it toward. 60 out. Pokes it over the top to Dylan Moore, and that's 15. He's got Mitch Lewis on. He's on in the goal square. Collingwood breaking down. Half passes to Connor McDonald on the goal line. And they make certain of it. The first 2 goals of the third quarter go the way of Hawthorn. And just like that, the margin's back to 8 points. 7-5-47 Collingwood to Hawthorn 5-9-39.
Oh, just questionable decisions by Dan Houston. So goes to Jordan De Goey in a genuine one-on-one, over-kicks the ball. Then Hawthorn just take the ball back. They take the ball off the line where it came from. All Collingwood defenders are out of position. So it's an easy pickings there for Hawthorn going inside 450.
Yeah, both goals come from turnovers so far this quarter. 2 goals, 2. The whole scores come from turnover. This third term for the Hawks. But on that occasion, as you say, Ram, it's just bad decision. Bad decision and poor execution from Dan Houston. He's had a couple of little moments he'd like to take back too in this third quarter.
Hawks right back in the contest. Early stages, third term. Again, Meek against Cameron. Cameron went early. Meek stayed down. His kick was ricocheting away off a couple of Pies. Came out for the Hawks, though, to Ward. Hands it off to Sicily on the logo on the wing. Moves it forward to Day. Keeps going Day. Runs the right half forward. Kicks Hawthorn the full forward. Flying Gunston couldn't mark. At the back, Josh Dacos mops up in his defensive goal square for the Magpies. Kicks towards right half back. Flying up there, McKenzie, so too Quaynor. Spills down here for the Magpies. It's going to be a free kick going the way of the Hawks.
Front on contact from Quaynor to McKenzie. It's called from out of zone.
So McKenzie has it at left half forward. He'll put Boots a ball from about 52 out. Just tighter than a 45-degree angle to the left.
Right on his limit, I reckon.
Three goals, 8 for the season, 15 in a 66-game career. McKenzie goes for goal. It's an absolute beauty! What a tremendous kick. Cam McKenzie, the 22-year-old, he's got the Hawks to within 2 points. Gave it a ride and kicked it truly. Hawthorn a 6-9-45. The Pies 7-5-47. We've gone 10 minutes into the third term, and what was a 22-point deficit at half-time is a 2-point deficit right now.
Game on, Rama.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Collingwood are going to be ruining those 3 missed opportunities late in that second quarter, because they could have really opened the game right up. So you give your opponent a sniff and they take it. So that's where credit to Hawthorn. They've gone into the rooms, they've reassessed at half-time, they've picked up their pressure rating in this third quarter, forced Collingwood into quick decision out of defensive 50, and it's paying dividends.
Here comes the 6th individual goal kicker in the match.
Right.
Throw, Hawthorn free kick in the middle of the ground against Pendlebury. And Lloyd Meek laid the tackle. Takes it for Hawthorn, sends it out to Will Day. He's got a bit of space as well. Kicks it out for the lead of Mitch Lewis, but D'Ambrosio in front takes the mark.
He'll back himself here. And he's got a couple of metres too. He marked that ball on the blue line. So he's probably gained 2 or 3 metres here.
Being put on an angle here, though, Rama.
Well, and that's Jack Chris' problem, because he stood the mark there.
Sure, it's the umpire's job to set the mark.
D'Ambrosio takes a deep breath. 3 goals for Hawthorn to start this third quarter. They've been electric. This will be something. D'Ambrosio veers boundary side. It's across the face of goal, trying to bring it back, but it's through for a minor score. Collingwood's lead is 1 point. 12 minutes gone, third quarter.
9-4 inside 50s for the Hawks this quarter. 9-2 uncontested marks, so it's back on terms. It's back on their game at the moment, so the Pies have to wrestle it away.
Oh, Josh Dacos almost bit off more than he could chew, but it was good enough to find its way to Howes, who marked just in front of a Hawks opponent. Then back to Dacos, kicks beyond defensive 50. McCreary marking right up against the boundary line in front of the Hawks bench. Wheels inboard, kicks with the right to right half forward. 2-on-2 battle, and doing well. Charlie West got away from his opponent, took the mark, popped it short, well chopped off. Hardwick won it down, got it to Newcomb, now to McKenzie, kicks towards the defensive edge of the centre square. This is Beattie, the debut side. We're looking for Impey. Flew, couldn't mark. Membry went after it, couldn't gather. Hacked forward by Amon inside forward 50. Connor McDonald tapped it in the path of Watson. Play it free in the goal square. It comes to Gunston. He puts it through. They're in front. Gunston's got his second. And the Hawks, just like that, blink of an eye stuck, find themselves in the lead. Up by 5 points, 7-10-52 to Collingwood 7-5-47. 13 minutes gone in the third term. They trailed by 22 at the half, but as you both said, Rama and Half, they can pile on points quickly.
4 goals in 7 minutes is what's happened in this quarter, and they found themselves in the lead, and it's getting the ball back, it's turnovers, their pressure contest, surging the ball forward. Thought they turned it over in the middle of the ground. Jarman Impey dives on it, surges it forward, and the Hawks are running. Watson's involved again. Forward of the footy is working for the Hawks at the moment, but it's the source where it's coming from.
Fourth lead change of the match for the first since the 11-minute mark of the second quarter. Chol out of the ruck, does the roving as well, kicks up towards the wing. Morrison made the spoil, it ricochets away from Beattie, and Harrison's worked out of it. Getting back, it's picked up by Bailey McDonald. Hand pass away to Carl Amon. Into the middle of the ground for Chol. He hadn't moved too far. He marks for the Hawks, kicks over the head at Connor McDonald. Turns it over. Josh Dacos getting back. His hand pass lazy for Billy Frampton. In the end, Josh Dacos saves the day. Back to Puncher. Hand pass to Quainer. Hand pass will be long. Has to tackle on Mitch Lewis, who got rid of the footy. Lewis will get the free kick in the left forward pocket.
You invite pressure from the opposition too many times, they'll eventually get you.
You sound like Guido Hatzis just then.
The Hawks have had 7 shots on goal from their 11 inside 50s. This is an avalanche at the moment.
I think I wouldn't mind betting Mitch Lewis dropped that ball on purpose because he knew he was going to get tackled.
No doubt.
And there'd be a free kick coming.
Lewis starts out beyond the boundary. He'll kick from just inside 50, out to the left. Lewis with a deliberate approach, hits it sweetly. And the Hawks are hitting everything out of the middle at the moment. 5 unanswered goals through 15 minutes of this third quarter. And they have taken the lead, and now they take an 11-point advantage. 8-10-58 to Collingwood, 7-5-47.
Well, maybe they are up for the fight. So centre bounce this quarter, half 4-1 in Hawthorn's favour. So doing the work through the middle of the ground where clearance in that second quarter was 14-7 in Collingwood's favour. So they really dominated.
Collingwood was 6-3 up at half time.
Yeah, so they're dominating that part of the game. Hawthorn have gone. I just love how they readjusted. You know, it's been, what's that? That's 5 goals in 10 minutes now of football. Readjusted, put the pressure back onto Collingwood, and that was a perfect example. Inside your forward 50, you've got to relentlessly chase and tackle. And Hawthorn didn't get it reward.
Scholl won it down and came to Newcomb. The Hawks will come away again. Newcomb to Ward, bursting forward. He has run too far.
That's a fair call. ran a long way.
Hawks fans don't realise it yet. It's been marked by Gunston in the right forward pocket. It's going to have to come back. Half-time, by the way, in Adelaide. Melbourne, 9-3-57 to Port, 3-2-20. Swaddling with the free kick. Comes to Frampton. He marks it right half back. Collingwood had not scored in this quarter. Frampton towards right half forward. Barris flew. Wanted to ground, but taken by De Goey. Got it onto West. Open goal square. West like his chances, but misses from about 45 metres out. A minor score, their first score of this term. It's now gone 17 minutes. Hawks lead by 10 points. This is Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport. This is Matt Clinch.
First score since late in the second quarter for Collingwood. Weddle with the kicking duties, long towards Barris, who rises and takes the mark. All of a sudden, everything looked a problem for Hawthorn is starting to click. Barris has it at half back. Sends Hawthorn up the wing. Josh Battle leads up, clears heat. And McStay. McStay grabs the back of his head. Frampton with a hand pass back to Swaddling. Half back for Collingwood. Hand pass to Ned Long. Kicks it around his body. Up towards Schultz and Carl Amon. Amon makes the spoil. Ricochets out towards McStay. Against the boundary line. He's happy to see it across. This battle crashes into him. And a boundary thrown in front of the Collingwood bench. Hawthorn by 10 points.
As an effort from Dan McStay, that wasn't very much of an effort. Had more time there. A bit more intensity on the ball.
It's going to come off with the blood rule. Dan McStay. How'd you be all over that for us?
Hodgie's got the double jacket on now.
Don't blame him.
If he's got gloves.
No, he's glove free, but
if he pulls out gloves, he'll be held to pay.
Hodgie, you're allowed to defend yourself, by the way. I'll bring you in a moment. One down here. Darcy Cameron for the Magpies. Came to Schultz. Got it on again towards Long. He'll kick Collingwood inside forward 50. Hawks had a 2-on-1. Sicily was able to bring it to ground despite the close presence of Membry. Membry went in there, ripped off away from Sicily, and then it was tackled into him.
Yeah, he did well, Membry.
Awesome. And Hayes.
Yeah. Sicily should have marked that ball.
Thrown up again. And down here by Battle. Oh, crunched. Hayes there, immediately tackled. They play on. De Goey able to get a hand pass away to Schultz. Bailey McDonald tackles him to ground. Umpire circles and says we'll ball it up again. Still inside forward 50 for the Pies.
Oh, it's too high. Morrison.
Got away with it. Throwing up. Cameron down. McKenzie clearing kick for the Hawks. It'll bounce beyond defensive 50. Awkward bounce down for Chris. Worked out okay for Lewis though. Hand pass to the run of Ginnivan. Sailing through. He'll run it along the ground. It was an intentional grubber to Connor McDonald. Hand pass over the top of Chol. He couldn't take it cleanly. Houston's back there. Tapped it to the ground. Chol came again. Couldn't get the kick away. Harrison mopped it down. Came again to Ginnivan. Left forward pocket. Watson breaks one. Breaks two. Snaps. Chris was in the goal square. Takes the defensive mark. Not enough purchase on the kick. The Wizard with the one misfiring on that occasion as Chris goes beyond defensive 50.
Swaddling breaks the tackle. Hand pass to Ed Allen. Loses it. West at half back. It's a hand pass away to Dan Houston. And now to Ed Allen. To Harrison against the boundary line. From right half back. Kicks it for De Goey. Clears his fingertips. And Bailey McDonald sliding in, taking the mark.
They made an absolute mess of that.
It was like the Roadrunner and Coyote Ugly.
The Roadrunner and Coyote Ugly.
Combination of your two. Bailey McDonald kicks it inside 50 and it was just ugly by the end. Watson runs onto it in the left forward pocket, keeps his feet, cuts back on the right for the impossible goal. It's across the face of goal and goes through for a minor score.
So I reckon fatigue's playing a part here, Rema.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
The Pies don't seem to have that zip that they had in that first half. So we're going to check...
the Hawthorn have flipped the script on tackles. So Collingwood have only had 6 tackles in this quarter. So Hawthorn have had 13.
Let's head down to Tim Hodges on the boundary.
Yeah, well, Collingwood out on their feet by the looks, but they're also one man down at the moment. Dan McStay, it was a nasty gash at the very top of his head. I think he's gone down to the rooms. I think he requires stitches at such a savage gash at the top of his head. So that's a nasty one. McStay in the rooms.
So Steele marked that ball, so no change to the score. He plays on, kicks beyond defensive 50 to right half back. Quick hands through Dacos, comes to Allen, now to Schultz, runs towards the logo commentary wing and will kick into space at right half forward. One-on-one battle, Sicily against Membry. Sicily got a touch, Membry gathered, got it down to Long, kicks from the right forward pocket towards goal, bounces past the goal square. Hayes battles against Battle. They both lock hands. Eventually, numbers win out here for the Hawks. Amon's able to get it away to Newcomb. Kicks beyond defensive 50. This is Beattie. He'll take a bounce. Ahead of him is Morrison. Receives the hand pass. Back to Beattie, the debutant. Wants someone to come towards him. Instead, sees Watson free over the top. Kick goes his way. Gathers on the bounce. 40 from goal. Steers it short. Lewis marks. Mitch Lewis with one tonight. But he will have a shot on goal from a very tight angle, right full forward. He'll start on the boundary line. We'll put boots of ball from 25 out.
So this is the model that worked in the first quarter when they got a chance to get the ball from side to side and then run down the wings. That's what's catching the Pies out. And if they are losing their energy, they're going to get some unbelievable looks, which they've had a few times already this term. 3 players ahead of the ball then again.
Mitch Lewis looking for what would be 6 unanswered goals for the Hawks. Lewis is in. He's missed. Going narrow to the right-hand side. 8-11-59 the Hawks. Collingwood 7-6-48. So it's the Hawks now by 11 points, 22 gone into the third.
Josh Dacos to brother Nick, sends it up the wing. Barris flew, couldn't take the mark, gets a hand pass forward to Meek, away to McKenzie, draws an opponent, hand pass to Ginneman, looks out laterally looking for Lewis, could spoil from Houston, still alive for Hawthorn though. Watson gathers, he's tackled by Swadling, got a hand pass away, and Connor McDonald has it locked to his chest.
It's like when Arnold, from different strokes, tackled the Gooch. Just rope a dope from the Hawks. You're going to wait for the Gooch to get tired.
Your new movie knowledge is going to all different levels tonight. Jack Dunstan, he was waiting at full forward, but Ginneman shinned it at the top of the 50. Houston takes it back for Collingwood to Ngoe, to Pendlebury. They run the gauntlet. Got it to West. Now to Schultz. Hand pass to Allen. Where to now? Has to give it back to Nick Dacos. Feeds a hand pass over the top. It's Schultz who cuts back on his right. Centering ball. Good pass.
Just patience by the Pies there. They needed their forwards to reset. Schultz was good enough, involved in there twice. Gives that first little handball to Ed Allen. Comes back. Then he fakes to go outside, but comes back inside. Schultz, and that allowed then the ground to open up inside forward 50.
You should have seen the one-on-one speed battle that was between Long and Battle, all the way from half back to half forward, back to the top of the arc.
Hawthorn with the last 5 goals of the game. Ned Long from right on 50. It's offline to the left. Through for a minor score. Hawthorn by 10 points. So it's 9 scoring shots to 2 in this third quarter.
Yep, 16 to 8 inside 50s.
Sicily beyond defensive 50, but he'll turn it over. Oh, Houston had it, dropped it. Spills it across the boundary line. It won't stay in. Throwing right half forward for the Pies.
Matching it up at clearance, I reckon that's the big one. They were 21-11 down at clearance at half-time. They're 7-6 up this term, 5-1 from the centre, which has given them all their scoring opportunities.
Cameron wins it down. Long got it for the Magpies, kicked around the body. It'll bounce inside forward 50. Schultz to tap it out towards McCreery. He's under real pressure.
Oh, clever.
Did really well. Tapped it back to Langdon. Then on in turn to Pendlebury. Gave it again to McCreery at right half forward. Kicks to the teeth of goal. Membry flew. Couldn't mark. Spilled out the back. And then rushed by Bailey McDonald across the behind line for a minor score. Collingwood 7-8-50. They trail the Hawks by 9. 8-11-59. 25 gone in the third term. Cracking crowd here at the MCG. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport.
Jarman Empey brings it into Hardwick, who chips it up the wing, and Massimo D'Ambrosio has it at left half back. Hawthorn by 9 points. Call to play on. Sends it long in the Lloyd Meek direction. Manoeuvred. Darcy Cameron takes the mark for Collingwood. Immediately looks into the middle of the ground. Swadling on the back of Ginneman. Takes the mark. Didn't get more than a foot off the ground, but drives it inside 50. Membry up against the pack. Barras brought it down. Still a chance for Collingwood. West trying to get it forward. Sicily gets back for Hawthorn. He gathers. Hand pass to Barras. Back to Sicily. He chips it over the top, but Dylan Moore working. Takes the mark in the right back pocket.
Moore hands it off to his cap. Goes back to Boyd. Real trouble. Tackled by Memory. Ball jars free. Knocked down by Steele. Back to Long. And now the left forward pocket. A stunning goal. That is as good as you are ever likely to see. Deep in the left forward pocket, Hayes has made something out of absolutely nothing. The pressure came for Memory. Hayes won it down, tapped it in the direction of Steele, then Long back to Hayes, and he's kicked a beauty, and one that the Magpies desperately needed. 3-point game. 8-8-56 now the Pies, 8-11-59 the Hawks, 27 gone in the third term. What a moment that was.
Well, it was a handball from Dylan Moore that put Sicily under pressure. He had to stop. I'm surprised, Clint, that you didn't mention he was from WA either, Will Hayes. I was waiting for that in the celebration commentary.
Benny Cameron would have.
But it was a terrific finish.
He would have too, bless him.
He would have.
We cheer back at home every time he does.
His 10th game, what a big goal that was. And for all Hawthorn's dominance, they lead by just 3 points.
The Collingwood kids are okay. Ed Allen, Hayes, Swadling, Anderson.
Cameron wins down the tap. Nick Dacos trying to bust his way clear. Can't do so. Ward gets a hand pass back for Hawthorn. To Sicily, a little slow. Schultz lays the tackle. It spills out. Harrison stripped of it as he attacked the footy, holding the ball.
She's James Sissel's having a mare. An absolute mare tonight in his 200th.
Hawthorn free kick at right half back. Harry Morrison to take it. Hawthorn leading by 3 points.
And they doesn't deserve to get carried off tonight after the game.
I'm not sure that's a fact.
5 goals to 1. Hawthorn's way in this third quarter. Long kick up the wing. Swadling takes it 1-2 with Josh Dacos. Cuts back on his left. Sends it up the wing. Here's Sicily. This time takes the mark.
Milestone's been a Impey under real pressure. Gave it back to Day. He got tackled. It was a hospital hand pass. Emery took him to ground.
Didn't need a handball.
Definitely didn't. They play on here. Oh, Nick Dacos. That's a rare error. Kicked straight into the chest of Day. Stumbling forward. Was able to get a hand pass away to Impey. He fell over the top of the football. Collingwood pile more players onto it. They'll move it away here, the Pies. Nick Dacos to Pendlebury. Back to Nick Dacos. What a pair that is. Kicks inside forward 50. Sliding out to Mark Schultz. Perfectly weighted kick.
Schultz wasn't even... He was running back towards goal. And then Dacos forced him to come forward with the kick. So that little inside-out kick that he... Well, sorry, that was...
Left footer.
Yeah, that was outside to inside, that kick from Dacos. Incredible kick.
Schultz was at full stretch, had both arms out to gather the ball into his chest as he slid forward along the turf. Now can he convert? This to give Collingwood back the lead. Schultz crosses the 50, 45 out from goal, misses left. Minor score, 2-point ball game. The Hawks 8-11-59, the Pies are 8-9-57. We're about to hit the half an hour mark into this third term. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Here's Matt Clinch.
Collingwood looked shot 10 minutes ago. They found a way to fight back. Battle out of defence, long towards Lloyd Meek. Houston makes the spoil. Slapped on by Ginnivan. Watson tackled into the turf by Josh Dacos. McCreary's hand pass to Ed Allen. Around his body. Inside 50 once more. Sicily spoils it down. Anderson the crummer. Can't gather it cleanly. Barras tries to wrestle him off it. Anderson has a lock to him. The moment's lost for Collingwood in the right forward pocket.
You're right, Clinchy. They've really got some adrenaline flowing here, the Pies.
Cameron won it down. Stolen here by Barras. He's taken high. The umpire says no, we'll ball it up. Strongly tackled the ground. Wrapped up by McCreary. Both up. Thrown up again. And Meek had the more telling tap down towards Schultz, who tried to run along the ground from the right forward pocket. Sicily was in the way. Thumping kick towards right half back at full pace. Marked by Weddle, continues his run. Takes one bounce, now a second. Hand pass over the top, missed more. And Houston got in the way. Oh, they Richard, another one going forward here, the Hawks. They've gone deliberate against Houston. I reckon that's ferociously harsh. More kicks inside forward 50. Frampton spoils a free kick against him. It's going Gunston's way.
I reckon that was there. I'll pay that.
Yeah. Had the arms chopped. But I still think that wasn't deliberate on the outer side.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't know how you get to that conclusion.
Keen to have another look. Meantime, as the siren has sounded, the Hawks currently lead by 2. Can Gunston make it 8? From about a metre in from the boundary, 48 out from goal. Misses. Minor score. Let's head downstairs. Tim Hodges, what do you got for us?
Clint Dan McStay, you can see him running out. He will be the first one to the three-quarter time break. He spent almost 10 minutes in the rooms having the very top of his head patched up. The club tells us it wasn't a HIA. There was no need for that. It was just some stitches. So he's got some stitches in the top of his head. And he is back out there for this last quarter. So he will be refreshed because he hasn't been on the field for what's going to be nearly 20 minutes by the time he returns in this final term.
Thanks very much, Tim Hodges. That is three-quarter time. The Hawks, who trailed again by 22 points at halftime, lead by 3 at the final change. 8-12-60 to Collingwood's 8-9-57. The goal kickers look like this. For the Hawks, 2 to Gunston. Singles to Lewis, Newcomb, Connor McDonald, Meek, Chol and McKenzie. For Collingwood, 2 to Charlie West. Singles to Allen, McCreary, Nick Dacos, Hayes, Anderson and Steele. We've got a beauty here on Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport, wherever you're listening on ABC Radio, on Sport Digital and streaming on ABC Listen.
Get ready for a year of Test cricket like you've never heard before.
Pitches up, hits the bat, out. It's LBW.
Grandstand cricket.
12 months, 20 Test matches, New Zealand at home over summer, the 3 most iconic overseas tours, the 150th anniversary Test under lights at the MCG.
Driving through the covers and crunching it away to the boundary.
And it starts now with Australia versus Bangladesh.
Big shot, the leg before, finger goes up and Cummins strikes.
Listen to every ball live from the top end on ABC Listen. Just look for the cricket button.
This is the 2026 AFL Premiership season with ABC Sport.
So Joel chips it out to Ward. Has it left half forward. Hand pass to Mitch Lewis. Cuts on his right. It's a 2-on-1 once more. And Gunston from behind takes the mark. How Hawthorn need this. Jack Gunston veers out to the right and curls through the first of the third quarter. There's a pulse. Jarman Impey centres it to Ward. 60 out. Pokes it over the top to Dylan Moore. And that's 15. He's got Mitch Lewis on. He's on in the goal square. Collingwood breaking down. Hand passes to Connor McDonald on the goal line. And they make certain of it.
The back, Josh Dacos mops up in his defensive goal square for the Magpies. Kicks towards right half back. Flying up there, McKenzie, so too Quaynor. Spills down here for the Magpies. It's going to be a free kick going the way of the Hawks.
Front on contact from Quaynor to McKenzie.
McKenzie goes for goal. It's an absolute beauty. What a tremendous kick. Cam McKenzie, the 22-year-old, he's got the Hawks to within 2 points. Accord by Amon inside forward 50. Connor McDonald tapped into the path of Watson. Player free in the goal square. It comes to Gunston. He puts it through. They're in front. Gunston's got his second. And the Hawks, just like that, blink of an eye star, find themselves in the lead. Moore hands it off to his captain. Back to Boyd, real trouble. Tackled by memory, ball jars free. Knocked down by Steele, back to Long, and now the left forward pocket, a stunning goal. That is as good as you are ever likely to see. Deep in the left forward pocket, Hayes has made something out of absolutely nothing.
The AFL on ABC Sport.
On radio,
ABC Sport Digital Radio.
and ABC Listen.
Earlier today, St Kilda beat Richmond by 49 points. The early game here at the G. Geelong too good for North by 15 points. Brisbane beat the Suns in the Q Clash by 42. And currently in play in Adelaide, the Demons lead the Power by 37 points. About 17 minutes to play in the third term. Melbourne 10-3-63 to Port's 4-2-26. What a turnaround by Hawthorn in that quarter. They lead by 3 points over the Magpies. What do our experts think of it? Adam Ramanauskas and Daniel Harford.
Well, Hawthorn turned it around because they started to get into the pressure aspects of the games. They were applying enormous forward half pressure, creating turnovers in their forward half, which then created scoring opportunities. 5-1 out of centre bounce also helps with territory, but +7 in contested football in that quarter for the Hawks. Nick Watson had 4 scoring involvements himself and 8 possessions in that quarter, so I was able to get into the game. But it was just that late goal that steadied for Collingwood. So when you thought, well, Hawthorn now might go and run away with this game because the game was on their terms. They were winning the territory battle. They were winning the pressure battle, and then they were winning on the scoreboard as well. So you sort of thought, okay, yep, they've got their game right back in working order. Collingwood then find a way to kick a goal, and it was through pressure in their front half where they were able to create a turnover and get that all-important last goal of the quarter half.
Well, it's an amazing contrast. I mean, we talked about the punches in bunches that they're capable of, the Hawks. 5 goals in 9 minutes from 6 to 15 minute mark of that quarter. Centre bounce was the key. They had to sort that out. So clearly they went to work on that at half-time after being -10 at the half. They let it. They ended up being 8 apiece, but 5-1 out of centre bounce. Not just clearances. 5-1 out of centre bounce was an extraordinary number. And then it was guys that hadn't had much influence in the contest getting involved. Ginnivan had 5. You mentioned Nick Watson, who had 8 when he scored involvements. Ward got involved offensively as well, 7. Sisley had 10 disposals, but I reckon he'd like 7 of them back to try something else because it didn't quite work. And then it was, and the Pies looked like they'd lost their energy, but once they got control possession again in that second half of the quarter, they really did adrenalise and put the Hawks under pressure again. We're in for a corker here.
Absolutely are, in front of about 80,000 fans at the MCG. Underway in the final term. Cameron won it down, ricocheted away. He was on his backside. He was able to gather it again, but stolen by the Hawks. Ward long inside forward 50. Over the back. Watson will run towards it. He'll just let it go through. Ward has kicked one from the goal square. Wow. From the centre square, rather. Get it right. That's an enormous kick. What a goal that is, and what a way to start for the Hawks to take their lead out to 9 points. 9-12-66 to 8-9-57. In the blink of an eye, he's gathered. Ward is 2 steps forward of the centre circle. His kick has carried a 2-on-2 battle at full forward and rolled all the way through for a major. Wow. And they open in 60 seconds. What a ripper.
Or another set of clearance up.
Set of clearance, yeah. Again.
Get out the tape measure. Where's Blighty?
Benny Cameron love his number. Just send him a text. It's a great result.
That'd have to be 70 metres, wouldn't it?
Wow. It's gone 82 total from the foot.
It's a ridiculous kick.
Saw one of those in the first. Was it Ed Allen's goal in the first quarter?
Yeah.
It wasn't as far as that, though.
No.
Back in the middle, Lloyd Meek one down the tap, but Darcy Cameron races after it. He's tackled by McKenzie. Can't get a hand pass away. And the umpire will ball it up in the middle of the MCG. Hawthorn by 9 points. Meek crashes into Cameron, knocks it away. No room to move here for Jai Newcomb. Eventually the ball did spill out. Taken by Hardwick, who kicks up to half forward. Right, Lee, you take over Clint.
I will. Going through swaddling, tries to gather, can't quite. Knocked forward here by Moore. Looking to pick it up, Watson, hard in the right forward pocket, hand pass to Gunston. Gunston, was he over the line? No. It's been held to him, though. Ball up the call, right forward pocket again. Hawks inside their forward 50, looking for a second goal in the opening 2 minutes of the final term. Meek slapped it down. Trying to pick it up here. Oh, Ward again! From the right forward pocket, you wouldn't believe it. He's kicked the opening 2 goals of this term, and he's given the Hawks a 15-point lead. Josh Ward, from 4 goals for the season, now with 2 goals tonight and 2 telling ones. Very different
takes different strokes for all the world. Daniel Hawthorn.
Love it. Well done.
Of them. Hawthorn by 15 points. 10-12-72 to 8-9-57. Saturday night footy on ABC Sports.
He's got no opponent at that forward stoppage, Josh Ward. So that's on Collingwood. That's just poor checking. So he just basically dictates where he wants to go through that stoppage, and there's no pressure. So as soon as the ball comes to him, he's got that metre of space where he can just throw it on the boot and snap it over the shoulder.
Well, the world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
All the talk about Zach Merritt. They might have found a man who's able to deliver 2 big last quarter goals. Cameron knocks it down, tries to get it to Ed Allen. He loses possession. Ngoe through the arms back, wanting a whistle, doesn't get it. Cameron's hand pass chopped up by Newcomb. He's taken high by Nick Dacos. Giant Newcomb kicks out towards Dylan Moore at half forward. He was dragged down by Josh Dacos. Everything's starting to go Hawthorn's way now.
Back-to-back Dakai free kicks there.
Moore had Chol led into the pocket, goes shorter than that. Mitch Lewis, is that 15? Umpire says it is. Out wide to the right, 45 metres out from home.
And he is their best kick.
Yep.
Mitch Lewis for goal. Beautiful action he has.
So 7 goals to 1 it's been since half-time for Hawthorn. Collingwood had that little surge late in the third quarter. And Mitch Lewis to stretch it out beyond 20 points. Has 1 goal so far tonight in the third quarter. Lewis starts outside 50. Hits it sweetly. And just squeezes it in. The double Cobras in a show of strength in his second goal. And Hawthorn lead by 21 points. 11-12-78 to Collingwood. 8-9-57.
It's 8 goals to 1 now in this half of football for Hawthorn. So as poor as their second quarter was, the Hawks, their second half has probably shown they're still in the fight half. I was a bit worried at half-time going, geez, are they still in the fight for this season? Hawthorn, but this has been a powerful move, and it's been really on the back of their pressure. So which was non-existent really in that first half from the Hawks. So great coaching by Sam Mitchell and his coaching group to flick the switch at half-time.
Well, maybe that was the question, Rama. Is the season going to end here?
Yeah.
Both rucks go at it, neither with the telling tap. Meek put his head over it, picked it up, tackled by 2 Pies, taken the ground. One was Canberra and the other one McCreary. Ball up, outer edge of the centre circles. And they were slipping out of the 4, jumping from 3rd to 5th, the way things were heading at half-time. Watson races away after getting the footy from the clearance to D'Ambrosio. Kicks the Hawks into the left forward pocket. Lewis! Oh, gets a little nudge by Howes and goes into the fence. Is he okay? Oh, goodness me. Concrete edging is right there, and that would have really hurt. You can hear the groan around the ground as the replay is shown on the big screen.
Nothing untoward, just going at full speed towards the line and copped a little bump.
No, it wasn't one of those nasty pushes that you do see. Nevertheless, it would have hurt. Back into the action. With a clearing kick through Cameron.
He's such a good player, Shoots.
He's had a very good game.
Banks it in one-handed at right half back. Gives it to Nick Dacos. Now to Swadling. Down the wing. Steers it inboard. Here's Steele. Just forward of the logo. Swadling ran by. So too to Schultz. And he receives the hand pass. Schultz kicks into the right forward pocket. Sicily did well. Getting back. Oh, he's chopped the arm. Absolutely. McStay. Thought he'd done well enough to get there and spoil the mark. McStay was there waiting for it. Sicily just couldn't make contact. And 50 metres. With Sicily having a bit to say to the officials, this will bring McStay into the goal square and he'll bump it into the second tier. Collingwood alive. They bring the margin back to within 3 goals. The Hawks lead cut now to 15 points. Hawthorn are 11-12-78. The Collingwood's 9-9-63. 7 minutes gone in the final term. Quick update for you in Adelaide. 10 minutes to play in the third there. Melbourne 12-4-76. The Port 4-3-27.
That's what lets James Sicily down. Okay, you give the free kick away and you just cop it.
Got to wear it. Yep.
Just got to wear it.
Yep. And he's come off the ground too. I wonder if that's by design or is his rotation time. Either way, it's not a bad time for it to happen.
Yeah, cool off for a couple of moments. Get your head back into the game. This game is far from over.
Hawthorn's lead 15 points. Collingwood gets the next one. It gets interesting. McCreary out of the middle. Out past it in Dacos. Takes the bounce. Gets to 55. Dacos for home. Misses to the left-hand side. That would have brought the house down. Hawthorn lead by 14 points.
That would have put some energy in the stadium, wouldn't it? They're still right in it. This game is up for grabs. Still in front. Move it from the kicking towards right half back. Nick was in front position. Spilled down here to McKenzie. Tackled by Allen and Cameron. Ball up the call. Right half back for the Hawks. Cameron palms it down for Collingwood. And out there towards Ward again. Two terrific goals started this quarter. His head over the football. It's locked in. Ball up again. Meek. More telling tap, but it's down to Dacos, who looks to burst through, has to backtrack, wheel around from left half forward, kicks across half forward. What wonderful vision. Finds Houston just inside the 50 at the top of the arc. Wow, that is just breathtaking.
He makes kicks that opposition players, he's not going to take that kick on. There's no way he'll take the kick on. And then he just pulls the trigger.
But it's the burst of speed.
Yeah.
It gets away from the congested early.
To post
enables him, just to breathe and have a look. And then he'll just back himself in because he's awesome.
Dan Houston can make the distance here from 52 metres out. He's given it everything. He's put it through. You betcha we've got a ball game here at the MCG. The Hawks lead has cut to 8 points at the 10-minute mark of the last. Hawthorn 11-12-78. Houston's goal sees the Pies move to be 10-10-70. What a ripper on Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Your experts, Adam Remanascus and Daniel Harpin.
Well, they had a bit more space around the contest too, did the Magpies, and Dacos was the one that was able to move into that tap from the clearance all by himself. And then with that burst of speed, he just did a bit of a loop-de-loop. Gave himself time to breathe. No pressure coming from in front of the contest to try and limit his time and space. And his teammates just know what he's capable of. So they put themselves in positions that if he's prepared to pull the trigger, they can really benefit.
Hawthorn with the first 3 goals, got out by 21 points. Collingwood with the next 2. Cameron gets the clearance out of the ruck, kicks up towards Tagoe, couldn't take the mark, spills away McCreary, drives it towards the goal square. Barrett's getting back, but McStay juggles the mark. He had no right to take that.
Well, Barris thought he was going to get there and just fist it through, but McStay put a step on him.
And McStay, after getting the 50-metre penalty, courtesy of James Sicily, can put through his second from the edge of the goal square. And all of a sudden, it's a 2-point game. Down McStay, for his second, does just that. And Collingwood will not go away. These two sides played out a draw in round 8. It's going the distance once more. Hawthorn 11-12-78 to Collingwood 11-10-76.
It was very, very smart ruck work by Darcy Cameron. So he allowed Lloyd Meek just to travel past the line, but he didn't go past the line to give away the free kick half. And then it was all forward motion from there. First it was Tagoe who made a little contest, and then you get McCreary on the fly going through that contest, and you just made something out of nothing there, McStay.
Yeah. Barris was on the back foot, running back to goal to fist it through. McStay came at the footy, put a step on him.
They've kicked the pass 3. What a contest. Feels like finals. Looks like finals. Meek got it away to Newcomb. Shovels a hand pass forward. Umpire now will board up. Battle there between Day and climbing up off the deck, McCreary.
So this would be about moments now, you'd reckon, this last quarter. Who handles the moment the best?
Cameron won it down. Ball comes out, though, for the Hawks. Amon tackled the ground by McCreary. Umpire will board up again. A couple of metres from the outer edge of the centre circles. Thrown aloft. The ruck was able to get to it. And there to go. He shoveled it forward. McCreary on top of him is battle like those mechanical balls just hung on.
So the Hawthorn forwards lined out effectively. Collingwood's forwards were all lined up across the ground together as a 3.
Meek won it straight down the throat of Newcomb, immediately tackled by Pendlebury. Ball up again. Still in the centre square. Rucks again had a bit of it. Trying to hack it forward. McKenzie missed it, then picked it up, and then kicks up into the air. Going towards left half forward. Howes comes to attack the football. Marks for the Pies. Second game it has been impressive. Out to Harrison, who marks on the wing from the Shane Warne stand. Hands it on to Swadling. 80 from goal. Slide forward 50. Comes again here to Harrison. He'll snap. Hayes kicked the goal. He is a player. And he's got his second. Collingwood respond. They lead by 4 points. 12-10-82 to Hawthorn. 11-12-78. 13 and a bit gone in the final term. The Pies are right up and about.
It was a big contest across half-back, so McKenzie got the little kick away, and it was a high ball, and Howes was the only player that wanted that ball, so he takes the mark, and then the Pies are away. He knows how to take a moment, Will Hayes. Yeah. Third quarter on that left foot, now this final quarter on the left foot again, two incredible finishes by him.
So Collingwood with the last 4 goals of the game.
I don't know how to give up the Pies.
The never say die Pies. Back in the middle of the ground. Cameron wins down the tap. McCreary. There's a Hawthorn player. John Newcomb is down. Collingwood take it. Pendlebury to McCreary. Edge of the centre square. He's going for home. He's missed to the right-hand side. Collingwood lead by 5 points. 14 minutes gone. Final term.
Dominating centre bounce at the moment. The last 4 of them.
He goes Hardwick beyond defensive 50. He finds Ginnivan, who marks. He's got it at right half back.
And now the Hawks need to breathe.
Impey leading up, points in the direction he wants the ball to go, which is long down the line. That's where the kick does go to a pack. Watson emerges with it. Hands it off towards Lewis. Space it right half forward. Takes a bounce. Steps inside long. Hands it on again to the debutant Beattie. Kicks inside forward 50. More marks.
Missed that tackle. Ned Long allowed Mitch Lewis to step inside him. Hawthorn had no forward, so Lewis had to hold and be patient. But that's where you got to corral to the boundary line. Not let your opponent come in back inside.
Good composure by Max Beattie too under the pump in his first game with this pressure at the moment.
Dylan Moore, remember, he was the one who made this a draw earlier this season. The kick is out to the left. It's through for a minor score. Collingwood's lead cut to 4 points. 16 gone in the last. 12-11-83. Plays 11-13-79.
What a game.
Only 16 minutes gone in the final term. Houston sends it as long as he can in the direction of Hayes, but Marviel Chol takes the mark. He plays on. He's got Gunston on the move. Great desperate defending. Excellent. Getting back there, getting a hand onto his puncher. And he did just that. Punched it out of play. Just as he thought he had the mark. Collingwood by 4 points. Thrown back in. Hawthorn deep in attack. Chol doing the ruck work. At the end, McStay almost took possession of it. Cameron, I should say, trying to take possession of it. He's tackled by Marviel Chol, and the umpire will ball it up 35 metres out from Hawthorn's goal.
Thrown up again. Chol doing the ruck work. Got it down. Came to West, though. Swadling will go beyond defensive 50. Back. Schultz flew. Couldn't get the mark. Up onto the shoulders, though. Came out the wet low for the Hawks. Shoveled forward in the direction of Sicily. He's got 3 Pies to beat. Was able to keep it in front of his feet. Got taken to ground and wins a neutral ball.
It's incredible what Lachie Schultz is doing today. He's virtually playing as a key forward with enormous pressure that he's applying.
Battle does the ruck work. Slaps it forward to McKenzie. Immediately tackled. Pendlebury got him and Cameron. Ball up again. Same spot. Just shy of right half forward for the Hawks. As Cameron tried to bring it down. Day will run straight into a big tackle. Anderson wrapped him up. No prior. Huge tackle nonetheless.
Hate those tackles when they're sort of their heads
look up.
Coming fade.
Cameron got it
head
down.
knocks.
In the direction, though, of Mackenzie, battled by Dacos, and Nick Dacos takes him across the boundary line, right half forward, still for the Hawks. They're looking to try and find a way back into the lead. A goal will do it. They currently trail by 4 points. Collingwood right now hanging tough. Battle winning it down against Cameron. Cameron went to ground, but socket out of there. Back there is Pendlebury for the Pies. Now to Swadlin, has to backtrack. Works his way onto his right. From left half back, kicks down the wing. Big fist on the footy from Hardwick. It tumbles across the Collingwood interchange gates. It's going to be out for a throw-in. Just repeating that score, the Magpies are 12-11-83. The Hawks are 11-13-79. Pies by 4 points, 18 gone in the last.
Darcy Cameron's come to the bench, Lloyd Meek as well, so battle. McStay to do the ruck work. McStay in front position, trying to get a hand pass to Pendlebury. Breaks the tackle of McKenzie. Hand pass a turnover though. Jarman Impey gets it forward to Newcomb. Hand pass inboard to McKenzie on the bounce. Hand pass to Sicily. Around the back to Jarman Impey. He just has to jam it on the boot. Up towards half forward. Battle works his way to the front, but behind Mitch Lewis hugs it to his chest. He's 60 out from home. Sends it long into the pocket. Marvell Cholians two. Quainer got back. Beattie on the goal line. Has he got it there? He has. The dream debut. The mid-season pickup from Woodville West Torrens has popped up on the goal line and put Hawthorn back in front by 2 points. 12-13-85 to Collingwood 12-11-83. 19 minutes gone. Final term. You always remember your first, especially in front of an 80,000 crowd.
I reckon you might. Mentioned before, you win fans by putting in big tackles. He did that in the first quarter, and as he runs off to the cheers of the faithful. Right place, right time. And gets the Hawks back in front. Good work from Jarman Impey. Just in front of us and half back, coming forward with Pendlebury. Handball forward, just loosely out of the stoppage. He saw what was happening and came forward to the ball. Ended up being the start of the chain that got the ball inside forward 50 there for the Hawks. And well done to an experienced player.
Unbridled joy from Max Beattie after the goal. The 22-year-old from the Sandford, Woodville West Torrens, and the Hawks will get the clearance again. Newcomb sending it long towards right half forward, but Quaynor got in the way for Collingwood. Moves it short to Chris. Marks and plays on. It's a kick away towards the logo. Allen couldn't take the mark. Scooped up here by Ward. Comes back by hand again to Impey for the Hawks. Now on to Amon. Kicks Hawthorn towards right half forward. Pack of four go up. Off hands down to Mackenzie. Now again to Ginnivan. Stepped away from Nick Dacos. Looks to go towards D'Ambrosio. 60 out from goal. And stabs it short the Moore.
Gee, that was good for Ginnivan. Yeah, great awareness.
Little sidestep.
Really impressive. Hasn't had a big night, Jack. And we talked about moments before. Actually, Beattie had his before, and that might have been Jack's for the night. Gets the ball half forward, pressure coming, just steps out.
Dylan Moore will kick from 45 out, 45-degree angle to the left. The Hawks lead by 2. The Hawks lead by 8. What a game. Hawthorn 13-13-91. Collingwood 12-11-83. 21 and a bit gone in the final term. There's been momentum swing after momentum swing. Right now the Hawks are riding that wave. Can they hang on? This is Saturday Night Footy on ABC Sport. Your experts, Adam Ramanaskas and Daniel Harford.
Half mentioned Ginnivan there with the little sidestep. But D'Ambrosio also gets back off his mark really quickly. So that catches the Collingwood defenders napping. So takes the mark right on 50, turns, and then bang.
Yeah, good point.
And that's critical because if he takes it slow, you lock down on your direct opponent and you get your arm across. Hawthorn first 3 goals, Collingwood next 4, Hawks with the last 2. Back in the middle of the ground, McStay's kick is smothered, spills out, Chris lost his footing, Sicily gathers for the Hawks, hand pass out to Jarman Impey, tackled by Harrison, footy came clear, umpire didn't pay it, Nick Dacos gets it forward to Chris, centering ball, just cleared west, it ricochets out to Tom Barris and he's locked up. 30 metres out from Collingwood's goal.
James Sicily he's second-guessed himself again there. what's going on with him.
Meek slapped it out for the Hawks. Comes out again. Harrison hard up against the boundaries. Missed the loss. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick here for Eamon for the Hawks. Right full back. Still lead 13-13, 91 to 12-11, 83. 22 gone in the last. Kicks towards right half back. Shoal! Good mark. Leapt up in the air, got both hands to it, right above his head. Able to hang on to it. The pressure from Houston.
Yeah, he just needed to hang on. He's too big for Houston. So it's a good matchup for the Hawks down the line.
Kicks to the wing. Again, a big pack fly. Soft hands of Meek. Oh, McKenzie scooting by. Gathered it. Got a hand pass forward. Knew he couldn't take it. Tried to punch it forward. Only found Quaynor. Shared it with Nick Dacos. Back to Quaynor. Now to Frampton. Hand pass again to Chris. Chris with the pink boots on, kicks towards left half forward for Collingwood. And going up, Impey couldn't mark, immediately tackled the ground. Was able to knock the ball away though. And now it's off the boot of Houston as he went in almost more interested in anything else, knocking Battle across the line. But it is off his foot, so that's the lasso rule. Oh, actually, that one was out of bounds on the full off the boot, but either way, it's going to be a free kick to Battle for the Hawks. Will kick towards centre wing. Again, a big pack up. Did Lewis get a shove? No, according to the officials, it's off hands. And through the interchange gates for a throw-in.
So Gunston's that disconnected forward, they call it. He's the one that's almost old-school full forward position, trying to create some space for the guys up in the contest to move back into as the Hawks reassess and reset themselves for the ball moment.
Hawks lead by 8 points, 24 gone in the last. Thrown in again. Cameron front position, going through Chris, lost his footing. Was contact below the knee against Morrison? No. He kicked it forward only as far as Cameron, though, of the Pies. To Josh Dacos. Kick towards centre half forward. Big contest on here. Trying to get it away, Anderson. Now it came again to Membry. Gave it to Houston. Kicks long towards goal. He misses to the right. Schultz was on the goal line. Another minor score. Hawks lead is cut to 7 points. 13-13-91 to Collingwood's 12-12-84.
It's heading that way again, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Hardwick out of defence, sends it up to Marbiel Chol, who takes a big mark. Out passes it away to Watson. Drives it up towards Gunston. In front, puncher worked underneath. Spills out the way of Josh Dacos in the middle of the ground. Anderson takes it. Chips it forward to Swadley. He just stands in the middle of the MCG. Chips it over the top to Nick Dacos. Collingwood have it further of halfway now. Momentum lost, so Dacos just kicks it out laterally to Isaac Quaynor. He can work it over the top to Houston, who probably has the journey from here.
Yeah, he's causing a problem offensively. He's getting off. He's the release play that is allowed to push forward this scenario. Because outside the arc, anywhere outside the arc, he's still in range. No one else is.
Take his best from about 60 metres out, but he does have it in him. Dan Houston, wide out to the right. Starts his approach to pull Collingwood within a point. He's got underneath it, hasn't struck it well, and it's just scraped in. Behind to the right. Hawthorn lead by 6 points.
You can't draw twice the same year, can you?
I was going to say, has that ever happened before? Have two clubs faced each other in a home and away season and both have been drawn? Surely not. Couldn't believe it to be the case. Kick beyond defensive 50 here for the Hawks. Off hands, punch back forward by Swadling, only as far as Ward. He was tackled to ground, came out in the direction of Lewis, and he was set upon by Quaynor and wrapped up at left half forward for the Pies. Throwing aloft again. Meek with the more telling tap. Hits the deck, emerging with it McCreary. Got knocked out of his hands by Moore, but was able to gather it again. McCreary kicked across half forward to Anderson, couldn't mark. Slapped it inside forward 50 though. Unable to gather Steele. Ambrosio got there first. Not a great hand pass. Allen gathers. Looked to pop it forward. Hand passing it on again. Harrison. Ward got in the way for the Hawks. Tumbles a clearing kick towards right half back. Josh Dacos couldn't gather. Knocked it forward though. Tried to hand pass it to his own advantage. Getting in the way though. Hardwick saw it across the boundary line. About 25 out from Collingwood's attacking goal. Deep in the left forward pocket. Hawthorn's lead 6 points.
So you're behind the ball setups now are critical. Again into that 5 minute zone remaining on the clock.
Goal the difference. Meek wins it down. Harrison going forward. Had it ripped out of his grasp. Meek got back there. Picked it up to Hardwick. To Newcomb. Oh! crunched over the boundary line. McCreery got him.
That's how much you can absorb now, half. You know, in your defensive half of the ground. Hawthorn need to get just some territory here.
Yeah, we've seen them fumble a few times in this scenario through the game, so they'll be a bit nervous, the Hawthorn defenders.
Ball thrown in left forward pocket for the Pies. Meek at the back, runner down. Allen was first to get to it. Cameron picked it up, tried to get it to Dacos, couldn't. Tried a second time. McCreery went back by a hand. Harrison able to shovel it out. It came to McCreery again. Hand pass to Josh Dacos. Has to go out his side, his forward 50. The lead, though, is a thing of beauty from Steele. The kick was magnificent as well. And Steele has marked, and he's marked at 40 out from goal. He'll start in line with the right hand behind post.
There was no margin for error whatsoever. D'Ambrosio was right inside his jumper.
Well, he had other options, Josh Dacos. He went the hardest one.
Rowan Steele to draw the Magpies level. He liked it the moment it left the boot. He's got his second. We've got an epic. Scores a level. 29 minutes gone in the last. 13-13, 91 apiece between the Hawks and the Magpies. Saturday night footy on ABC Sport. Where else would you rather be?
Well, these WA forwards, Clint, they just keep bobbing up at the right time to kick goals. But it's the work, and I mentioned it a couple of moments earlier, is how much pressure you can absorb inside your defensive 50. 24 tackles to 9 this quarter for the Pies, so they've ramped that right back up. You know, now there's still plenty of time in this game, half. A little bit over 4.5 minutes.
5 goals apiece in this final term. Who's going to blink first? Cameron and Meek in the middle of the ground. Scores are level. Meek wins down the tap. Ward races onto it. Reeled in by McCreery. Just got a hand pass away at the last moment. D'Ambrosio runs onto it. Kicks it out to Dylan Moore. He marks it left half forward for Hawthorn. And Connorman's on it over the top, but that option dries up. So comes inboard to Jai Newcomb. Not 15. Call to play on. Gets around Steele. Kicks up to Gunston. He leads up and marks, but he's 55 out from home. He's got Chol deep. Lloyd Meek's gone to the goal square. He dances around Swaddling and blazes away and just squeezes in from behind. A handy point.
Well, it's a handy one.
At the 30-minute mark of the final term.
It's a handy one. It wasn't the perfect outcome.
You have to love a handy.
We're in that range, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah.
Well, where we are.
You bet. So what have the Pies got now? They're behind on the scoreboard as Pendlebury moves it short. Here's Swaddling. What about playing a hand pass over the top of Barris? And now he's told he has to move it on. It's boots a ball towards the wing. Flying up. McStay takes the grab. We'll move it on by foot towards the right half forward to go. He beautifully weighted kick. Had to go to ground to complete the mark. Hands it off to Nick Dacos. Sends it inside forward 50, but Battle read that well. And took the defensive mark for the Hawks between fullback and centre half back.
There's the exits down here, Pies.
All the numbers are over the other side.
Steered it to Hardwick.
Awesome down the line here.
Lewis is getting in position.
He marked in the right back pocket.
Goal coming.
He'll head in the direction of Scholl on the wing. He's able to bring it to ground against Cameron. Lewis picks it up off the deck. Tackled by Allen. Ball jarred free. It's still there to be won. Players surround the football. Umpire will ball it up.
Right, so Gunston still deep.
Hawks lead by 1. 32 gone. Final turn. The restart, it comes down to Allen. I do wonder what his dad thinks as a Hawthorn premiership player with him wearing the Collingwood colours. The restart. Nick Dacos thought he got taken out of it illegally. Umpire wasn't interested. Newcomb sees the ball across the boundary line.
Who's on the move? Who's on the fly? Morrison's a spare at this contest.
Ward's on Nick Dacos, trying to get him off balance, push him away from the ball.
1-point ball game. Closing stages of this game. It's been a thriller. Chris will try to take it away from the restart. Tackled by Meek. Got a hand pass out to Swaddling though. Hand pass to Pendlebury. Was he taken high? I thought he was. Umpires eventually have got a call.
Jeez, that's late.
The non-controlling umpire 80 metres away has spotted it. So I'll say to Ray Chamberlain, who defends it, that time they've got that bang on because the other two umpires closer didn't see it. And the 180 metres away did. Pendlebury takes the free kick and he'll move it to left half forward to Josh Dacos, who marks.
Dacos looks at the options, veers out to the right, sends it inside 50 where the Flyers to go in from the side. Cameron threw his head back, thought he was taken high. McCreary jams it towards goal. It won't have the journey. And it's marked in the defensive goal square by Carl Amon. Hawthorn by a point. 33 minutes gone, final term.
Comes to D'Ambrosio, marks deep in the left back pocket for the Hawks.
Now it's even numbers. It's got to be even numbers for the Pies here.
Well, Hawks have got one down from the pocket, or just Barris being attended to.
Went to battle, he kicks towards the outer wing. Franklin's up. He's been in outstanding form. And he takes the mark and steers it into Chris. What have Collingwood got now? Chris Long, inside forward 50, travels the pack. Tapped on by West, trying to get their steal. Got something on it. It's through for a minus score.
Andy Point. Andy Point.
It couldn't happen again, could it? It couldn't. It might. Scores level. What have we gone? 33 and a bit minutes. What have the Hawks got now as they've got possession of the football? Morrison moves it again to Newcomb. Back to Morrison, who marks on the wing. Hand pass over the top. Week wasn't ready for it. Had time to turn. And he misses the hand pass. Across the boundary line to Moore. That's the Lasso rule. Swaddling will get it. Now the Magpies have a chance. Any score will do. Alan Long down the corridor, marked by Hardwick at centre half back. Now what can the Hawks do? To D'Ambrosio, out towards left half forward. Gunston marks. Scores still level. Kick into the left. You wouldn't believe it. Dylan Moore, the player who made this a draw last time out in round 8, now has the ball in his hands.
And he hasn't kicked well for goal tonight. 48 out.
Dylan Moore, can he decide this contest for a second time this season? Kicks on its way, and he scores. Oh! It's been kept in play. And for the first time in history, two sides have drawn twice against each other in the same season. I'm here and I do not believe it. 13-14, 92 apiece between the Hawks and the Magpies. Yeah, it was 13-15, 93 to 15-3, 93 earlier in the year. Deja vu all over again. What do you make of that? It's a draw between the Hawks and the Pies. I'm very rarely left speechless, but I am right now. Dylan Moore with a chance any score would have done. Didn't have the carry.
And it was, I think that was Rowan Steele.
Well, if Hawthorn had punched it through, it wouldn't have been a point.
No, if Collingwood had punched
it through, it would have been a point. So if Hawthorn getting it through was no good to anyone, well, no good to them anyway.
No, they actually had to shepherd.
So they needed that. They needed the ball to get across the line without them touching it. However that happened, either by the boot or by a Collingwood fist or body, and they were aware of that. Collingwood knew that. So what's it now? Hawthorn's. It's fascinating because now they're back in the non-percentage.
That's right.
The percentage race.
Percentage counts again for Hawthorn because with that draw again, their second draw, they have 60 points. Now, Craig McRae's gone out and he's telling his players to be up and about with that result.
Well, so he's talking to the fans. Look at him in the forward pocket. He's taken that as a win. That's a big win for Craig McRae.
Well, it's certainly better than facing the loss, which would have seen them stuck on 50 points and would have meant that they absolutely were going to finish in the wild card positions. Wow. It's a draw again. Goodness me. Words fail occasionally. The beauty and the glory Well, the sheer majesty of sport when these things can happen.
Just that last moment. So Collingwood win the ball back through a lasso free kick.
Yeah.
At half-back. It comes central, a beautiful kick. So Ed Allen gets the ball. Then he blazes hard. He blazes to centre-half forward where it's all Hawthorn. There was no Collingwood player within sight.
Yeah.
Inside. Then it goes Hawthorn and go, they've got one final opportunity.
Yeah.
They take it down the Shane Warne side of the ground, and it's a beautiful passage of play, the way Hawthorn have moved the ball.
That's where the lengthening of Gunston helps in that scenario.
It gets to Gunston, then Gunston finds Moore inside forward 50. So at that time when Moore takes the mark, there's 24 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah.
So it's always going to be the last kick of the game. But it's just a couple of metres too far out.
He wasn't kicking the ball well.
No, you said that.
I mentioned he wasn't kicking the ball well for goal. He missed. He didn't score a couple of times from just outside 40 on the angle. I reckon he was the last bloke they wanted to have the ball at that time. Just tonight. Like, he's a fantastic player, Dylan Moore, but tonight he just wasn't feeling it. Certainly he's kicking for goal, and he couldn't get the journey. If you're going to miss it narrow. But he missed it wide, and it didn't get there.
Yeah. And that's the extra 4 to 5 metres.
Yeah.
If he'd missed narrow, he's able to
tired legs.
Yep.
You know, right on the paint of 50 really when he's kicking that football. So it's always a tough kick. Always a tough kick, but what a game of football.
How good was it?
It's probably the right result.
Yeah. Well, you look at the first quarter was relatively even, then Collingwood dominate second quarter, Hawthorn dominate third quarter, and then it's 5 goals apiece in the final quarter.
Yeah,
so
5-2 to 5-5.
You look at the numbers. Collingwood are enormous in that last quarter. 28 tackles they laid in that last quarter. +7 contested football. Bo McCreary had a big last quarter.
12-10 clearance.
The milestone man, the 200 gamer, Sicily on the shoulders of teammates as he's taken Gunston on one side and Hardwick on the other. Chaired across the boundary line before he'll head down into the rooms.
So, Clint, they've laid 92 tackles, the Pies.
Oh, my goodness.
92 to 55.
So they're almost raising the bat a second side.
60 inside 50s to 47. So, you know, they've done the work, all the hard stuff within the game. They've done now. Probably you look at the kicking efficiency half. That's probably where Hawthorn keep themselves in the game, 72 to 59 in their favour. So we said from the start it was very much Hawthorn's ball movement, uncontested marks versus Collingwood's pressure.
Yep.
And that's what the game was in the end, and couldn't slit him in the end.
And that's the sell. That's why Craig McRae, I reckon, is so keen to just let his people know that this is a win for us.
Yeah.
We pressured these guys like no one else has done, and we forced them to find another way, and they couldn't. Now, we couldn't get the points ourselves. We couldn't get all 4 points, but it was a Herculean performance by a still undermanned Collingwood team.
It's a big result still for Hawthorn, though, because with Melbourne, and you would expect they're going to win here, 17-7, 109, the Demons, the 7-7, 49, 14 minutes to play in the final term. That's Port Adelaide score, by the way, 7-7, 49. So the Demons up by 60 points, so they're going to win that. If the Hawks hadn't been able to get the draw here, then they would have dropped down to 5th. As it is, they're back into the 4 at the moment, and their percentage, 117.3, is helpful. 7 percentage points better than Melbourne on 60 points. And, of course, they've got the game advantage on Geelong. So,
and Hawthorn play West Coast next week.
That's right. That's one that they can put in the back pocket with the greatest respect to the Eagles.
Well, Perth Stadium.
I don't know. I don't know, Clint.
I see a lot of West Coast.
Yeah.
And I'm...
There's been some funny results in final rounds of season.
That is true, but I would think with the top 4 spot on the line. Yes. West Coast, they have a crack. They're just not that good. They will be good in the future, though. Collingwood have got Brisbane next Friday night here at the G. That's another enormous game. It's going to be so good. Let's go downstairs. What a game of footy it was. Tim Hodges. Tim.
There's genuine confusion. I didn't know where to go, to be perfectly honest. And
I know where you've gone.
I'm sort of splitting the difference because I'm actually now in the Hawthorn room, so I actually better be quiet. So Collingwood has just gone into a team meeting, and Hawthorn, I think they're still working out whether they'll give us a player or whether the players will be called into a meeting. So I don't think anyone knows how to act. I don't think anyone can believe this has happened again. And I think everyone's just trying to figure out who has been the actual winner and who has been the loser out of this draw. So I sort of agree with you. I think this is the biggest story is Hawthorn. That's why I'm actually in the Hawthorn rooms now, just with what this could mean for, and whether they'll rue these 2 points that could be so valuable in 4 quarters' time.
Can we give it the football was the winner? Can we give it that one?
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. And you know what? The MCG's the winner. Over 110,000 people here today, which is just nuts.
That's incredible. So 76,000, Clinchy just pointed out the official crowd, 76,186. A bit shy of the 80,000 we predicted, but we knew that there were some troubles on the roads getting here. But that's still an enormous crowd on top of what you said was here for Richmond versus St Kilda. Well done. Well done to everybody who rolled up today. If you rolled up for this one, you've had an absolute treat. You mightn't go away either as a winner or a loser, depending on whose colours you saw, but what a contest. We mentioned walking to the ground, it felt like a final sort of atmosphere, and it was played at the end like one. There was so much at stake for both of these teams, and anyone walked away would be thoroughly entertained with what we saw over 4 quarters of football. Just going through it, Collingwood and Hawthorn, scores were level at quarter time. Collingwood led by 22 points at the half. Hawthorn stormed back, kicked 5 goals in the third term to snatch the lead, to lead by 3. And then throughout that final term, Hawthorn got away to a 21-point lead 4 minutes into the final term before Collingwood were able to find their way back and draw the scores level at 13-14, 92 apiece. Dylan Moore marked about 40-45 metres out, left forward pocket, around 45-degree angle, had ball in his hands, couldn't make the distance, putting it across the face. No score. It's a draw. And why it's particularly a remarkable draw is these clubs, until this season, had played 173 games between them. They'd never had a draw. They've now played 175 and they've had 2.
It's extraordinary, isn't it?
Same guy's been involved in the last kick-off both times.
And I love...
couldn't write that bingo card.
I love that it's a draw. I love that the draw is a part of the game.
Oh, I'm so
home and away season.
So with you.
It's a legitimate result. We'll have this conversation. We talk about going bananas across the world in the next 24 hours. Get rid of the draw. Keep extra time, yada, yada.
Can't wait for the footy forum tomorrow.
The footy forum are going bananas.
I know.
It's a great result.
The draw is a result.
Absolutely,
you have a set period of time to decide who wins.
Yep.
And if they can't sort it out, you split the points and everybody moves on to the next game.
And you've got 24 weeks to qualify for the next phase.
Exactly.
You should be able to do it. If you can't do it in that long, you shouldn't be there.
Yep. It's not like finals where, because there is a compressed period of time, you need to have a winner.
Yep, correct.
It's not like that at all. You have a draw, and again, which team deserved to win more? I can't think I can give you an answer for that, because they both had absolute, genuine periods of momentum. They had periods where they were dominant, and there were periods where they were getting absolutely slammed by their opposition.
2 goals each in the first quarter. 5-1 in Collingwood's way in the second. 5-1 Hawthorn's way in the third. 5-5. That's even
Great
Stevens.
last quarter.
It's a great game of footy.
And while the AFL haven't got their dream in terms of the top 10 and maybe St Kilda not being in that fight, what they will have is a top 4 that'll have Collingwood and Brisbane playing on Friday night. Then if Brisbane win, Hawthorn will know how much they have to win by to potentially have the percentage to jump above Brisbane, knowing that they're playing West Coast. So there's going to be all sorts of possibilities.
Which is great, because the 10 sort of...
Yeah, and that is the last game too, by the way.
Oh, it is too.
Yeah, Hawks and Eagles, very last game of the season. So they'll know exactly what's in front of them. First time 2 teams, as we said, have played in 2 draws against each other in the same VFL AFL season. It's only the 4th time a pair of teams have played in consecutive draws against each other, including across seasons.
Yeah, okay.
So that's great. So Mitch Turner's back in the studio. Big shout out, Mitch. He's been working very hard to bring us all these stats. But yeah, that's remarkable. I did think during the game, surely this has never happened before in a season. Surely not. And yet...
And nearly the same score as well.
Yeah,
a point off.
A point off from what we saw. Some of the numbers for you, by the way, we'll keep our fingers crossed. We'll get someone. I'm 100% with Hodgie downstairs. Hawthorn's probably is the bigger story. For the Hawks, Impey with 25 disposals, Newcombe with 24, Battle, Morrison, Watson and Ward all with 20. Sicily had it 19 times, so too did Moore. While for the Magpies, Nick Dacos had 36 touches and a goal. Josh Dacos, 30 disposals. Swadling with 29, Ed Allen 28, DeGoey with 23, McCreary with 22, Houston with 21. Of the goal kickers, we'll read the Hawks out first. 2 goals to Mitch Lewis, 2 to Jack Gunston, 2 to Josh Ward. Singles to Newcomb, Moore, Connor McDonald, Meek, Chol, McKenzie and Beattie, while for Collingwood, 2 to McStay, 2 to West, 2 to Steele. Singles to Houston, to Allen, to McCreary, to Dacos, to Hayes and to Anderson. Just repeating, a draw between Collingwood and the Hawks in front of 76,000 people. Let's go back to Hodgie. Tim.
Clint, the Hawks were going into a team meeting. Sam Mitchell just said no, and he brought all the families in, so it's quite the vibe down here. Harry Morrison has been good enough to come over and join us. Harry, what a game.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. A game of momentum. We knew we were right in it from the start. They jumped us a bit early, and credit to us, we fought back, but that was a finals-like game. The pressure, they brought the pressure in, for two draws in the same season is pretty crazy.
Could you believe it was Dylan as well with the ball on the siren with a chance to win it?
Yeah, I actually had a bit of a chuckle to myself when he marked out. I looked back at the bench and there was the 30-second sign up, and I was like, it can't be serious. But he put himself in the right position, and credit to him, he showed up. But unfortunately, it just didn't go our way.
You said it was like finals. I mean, the last 10 minutes, it was as bonkers as it gets at the MCG. It was an insane atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those parts of the game where you actually can't hear anything, really. The crowd is going nuts. You try not to turn into a bit of a spectator, to be honest. You get a bit sucked into the crowd. But, it was, as I said, it was finals-like game, and set us up for the next few weeks.
Harry has the cans on. I'll send you upstairs. Daniel Harford and Adam Romanascus.
Harry, I'm really interested what Sam Mitchell and the coaching staff spoke to you about at half-time. Because that second quarter was 5-1, and you looked all at sea. Collingwood's pressure was enormous in the entire game. They laid 92 tackles. But what was the subtle change in that third quarter? Because then you go on and kick 5-1 in that third quarter.
Yeah, there was a couple of little tactical things, but at the end of the day, it was just pressure and a bit of territory. They were winning the territory battle, especially at stoppage. The mids got a bit of a rev up, which we definitely needed. So, the mids led the way at the start of the third and got the ball forward and gave our forwards a bit of a chance. And that was pretty much the crux of it. Just get the ball in our front half and try and put a score on.
Harry, Daniel Harford, mate. Interesting times watching it all unfold. I'm interested in just the pressure of Collingwood. Do you come across a team that puts as much pressure on as Collingwood does? I mean, it's sort of their DNA and the way they play, and you would have been ready for it, I'm sure. But are there other teams in the comp that play the way that Collingwood do?
Probably teams that try and emulate it, but I think Collingwood are a great pressure side. They're ready for everything, ready to come forward at every chance. So it's pretty rare to get an uncontested possession in a game like this, and credit to them.
Was the plan to try and divide and conquer in the start of the game anyway? You seemed to move the ball from side to side and really open them up defensively in that first quarter in particular. Probably didn't get the rewards you could have had, but was that the plan, to try and just make the ground really big in attack and make them defend you all over the ground?
Yeah, a bit of that, bit of a change of angle. It's hard to pressure a side that sort of changes angle. So that was part of the plan coming in. But yeah, we did have plenty of chances. I think there was scoring shots, but maybe even or thereabouts at half time, but we just couldn't put the score on. So we didn't throw the toys out. We knew we had a good plan, and we just needed to stick to it.
How do you think you're travelling at the moment? It's been an interesting couple of weeks after last week and now this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's obviously last week we lowered our colours, and we probably had a bit of a point to prove tonight. Sam gave us a pretty stern talking to before the game and just got us in the right mindset. Because off the back of last week, we didn't want to do that 2 weeks in a row, and I think we held our own tonight. Definitely for the majority of the game, but as I said, credit to Collingwood. They're a good side, especially this time of year.
Harry Morrison with us from the Hawthorn Footy Club after they've drawn with Collingwood. These questions always come up, Harry, after a draw. Do you like the draw?
To be honest, not really. It's just a weird feeling after the game. You sort of the crowd just there's no real atmosphere after the game. No one really knows what to do. Everyone shakes hands and would like a result, but I'm not sure what the best option is.
Yeah, it's one where neither team deserves to genuinely lose that game of football, though. How tough was that as a contest? Because it did look absolutely frenetic up here from all the games you played. It looked like and felt like a finals-type game.
Yeah, I'm glad it looked like that because it definitely felt like it at times. They were in our face a lot. And we probably handled it well at times, but not so well at times. That's definitely something that we'll look at. As I said, it sort of sets us up for a good final series. I'm not sure where that sort of leaves us in the grand scheme of things, but still another game to play out and see how we go.
Well, that answers my next question. Were you aware of how important the result was for potentially a top 4 finals finish? Because you're now, with the draw, it does keep you in that top 4 spot. If you'd lost with Melbourne winning across in Port, you'd have dropped out. What do you think of the importance of finishing in that top 4 with the way the final system is now?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely. I think being in the top 4 gives you the best chance, obviously, with the double chance. So that was always our goal, to give ourselves the best chance in September. I'm not actually sure. There's a couple of questions after the game where that sort of leaves us. I mean, a few of the boys had their phones out already trying to check the scores and see where that leaves us. But, as I said, there's still another round to go and a couple of results to happen as well. So, we'll gather ourselves and go again.
Don't worry. We all did that as well, Harry. I'll be absolutely honest. The moment the game finished, we all looked. So, I guess it's simply put this way, that win against West Coast next week, it's in your hands. You'll finish top 4, which is a great result for the Hawks. Whatever happens, thank you very much for talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Beautiful. Thanks, boys.
Harry Morrison downstairs. Look, I understand why the players want a result. Absolutely get that. Yeah. But I'm still a believer that the draw is a perfectly fine result after a game of football like that. I'm very keen to hear your thoughts tomorrow if you want to join us on the Sunday Footy Forum.
I reckon you might get a few calls.
Oh, I love the chat. It's always good. Just give you an update from that other game too. Melbourne versus Port Adelaide. It's always going to be a result for the Demons. It's just a question of how much by. 19-10, 124, the good Demons. Win. Yeah, they're up by 75 points with about 5 minutes to play. Port Adelaide 7-7. 49. They have been impressive, Melbourne. Very, very impressive, as we saw last week with the way they demolished, well, not demolished, but the way that they were able to really stifle Fremantle with that big win here at the MCG. They're a very impressive side. Where do you sit, by the way, just to throw it out there, thoughts on Coach of the Year, Stephen King? Just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
I'm along your man.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Stephen King's done an amazing job.
Awesome.
You consider the players that left the club and the personalities that they were at that football club, and to have them in a position to play finals, I think is an incredible effort. But Justin Longmuir's performance this year has been out of this world.
Yeah, he's done a hell of a job with that squad. And I know it's not about the body of work, but I think what he's done with the club since he's taken over and built the program from year to year, I think he's done an exceptional job to get it to a position where they have been utterly dominant.
Glad you said that, because I say these things and everyone texts in and calls me biased. So I threw that out there for you guys, so I appreciate that. One I did want to touch base. Actually, we'll head back downstairs. Tim Hodges. Tim?
Clint, I've just bolted down to the Collingwood rooms. Darcy Cameron has been good enough to join us. We appreciate your time. Congratulations on your own game, and what a bloody game that was.
Yeah, what are the chances 2 times in a year? To draw is it's a funny feeling, but we act like winners after that one. That was an unreal game. We took it up to them. Just really proud of the squad we got at the moment. It shows so much fight. 18 points down in that quarter, all their momentum, all the momentum going their way, and we managed to scrape it back in our favour. And it was an awesome game to be a part of.
Again, can you believe it was Dylan Moore at the end, like earlier in the year, with a shot on the siren?
It's uncanny, isn't it? It's I'm glad that ball stayed in play, really. I'm not sure what the rules are, if they knock it over or what's to go there after the siren, but we're just trying our best to keep that in play. But no, that's just silly that it ends up in his hands to win the game again. So I'm glad he missed this time.
So you just went in for a few minutes with the coach. Can we pry sort of what his message was?
Pretty much what I just spoke about then, just like pride in this group, and we never give up and just our way to keep attacking even when the momentum's going against us. And our game's in really good shape right now, and even though it's a draw, we should be really excited for what's to come because our game stacks up.
This will sound weird. I was behind the Collingwood bench when you came off late in the last quarter. You were spent, and I even looked at your ears. You had sweat coming off your ears. That cooked. Like, what does your body feel like at the moment after that was an absorbing draw with Lloyd Mead?
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a hard one to move. He's a big shit house. It's just all part of being a ruck, really. I don't think there's too many times you come off for a rest where you're feeling pretty fresh. So it's a hard job, but I love it.
What do you like rolling out of the cot in the morning?
Stiff, like an old man.
I'll send you upstairs. He's informed, Darcy, Daniel Harford and Adam Romanascus.
Yes, I'm going to continue that. Darcy, Daniel Harford, mates. Interesting game of footy. Great game of footy, if I'm honest. Just firstly, is ear sweat a bit of a thing you got going on? Is that a concern?
I've never heard of ear sweat, but I might see the doc tomorrow morning.
Just get that looked at, mate. Yeah. I saw Craig McRae post-game. He was in front of the faithful, really revving them up as if to say that we won this game. This was a win for us and our system and our team. Did he sort of talk to you about that after the game?
Oh, pretty much. I think you just summed it up really well just then. It's. I know we only get 2 points for that one, and it's a bit of a funny feeling, but it is a massive step in the right direction for us. It just shows that we're capable of playing against the top side teams, and it's pretty exciting. We've got some key personnel to come back hopefully next week. Who knows what we can do.
Yeah, well, your effort, your intensity, defensive pressure is unbelievable. And in that second quarter, you set the game alight the way you just surged and pressed Hawthorn. They had no answers. What happened in the third quarter? Where did you lose your handle on it?
I think our contest, especially at centre bounce, and our turn up. We weren't able to turn up to the next contest, and they were just sitting us and able to, get on the end of a few good looks, and they weren't missing either. So the momentum was well and truly their way, but I feel like we were able to nullify that late in the third and stem it a bit. And then they went nuts again in the start of the fourth, but we did a really good job of bringing it back in our favour.
You did.
Thus, the team's changing before our eyes. All we've heard for so long, Collingwood's old, this, that and the other. You get 29 possessions out of Swadling tonight, 28 out of Ed Allen. You get 2 incredible goals out of Will Hayes. The future is bright for Collingwood.
It is, I know. I'm not sure what the media are going to speak about for the next few years, but no, they're doing an unbelievable job. Even Charlie West tonight, I think he hit a couple of goals as well, but he's, we don't even really care about that. It's what he brings, that he brings that ball to ground every single time. I do a lot of one-on-one stuff with him after training, and he's hard to beat. He just finds a way to get the ball to ground, and it's quite frustrating, but when I'm watching it on a Saturday night against the Hawks too, I'm pretty happy about it.
92 tackles you laid tonight. The pressure was just enormous. You hunted Hawthorn, and they looked uncomfortable at times. It's probably when you just slightly dropped off that pressure. That's probably what allowed Hawthorn back in that game, particularly in the third quarter.
Yeah, for a number of years, I think our pressure's been, what makes us such a good side. And when we bring that against top quality teams, it puts them under the pump, and it's a really good look for us.
Darcy, Clint Wilden here. I've stayed away from this topic, though Rammers tried to tip me into it a few times. But as a West Aussie, and yourself a West Aussie, what about those young other West Aussies running around at the moment? Because goodness me, William Hayes, he's been terrific. Rowan Steele's been terrific. Ed Allen's been terrific. You're starting to get a good little crop there.
Rowan Steele's a fake West Aussie. He's only there for 6 months.
We'll play West Perth. We'll take him.
No, they're unbelievable. It's good. We've got a nice little crew here. I think we've got 5 or 6 of them that come over from the West. Billy Frampton's absolutely dominating this year. Should be all Australian. And yeah, it's good to, anyone we bring over from West Australia, they always seem to turn into a great bloke, bar me.
Oh, no, that's not true. That's not true as well. Last one for you. How big is Friday night going to be against Brisbane now with everything that's at stake for both these footy clubs?
Oh, it's massive. Yeah, I'm not sure where we can get to now. I don't think we can finish in the top 6, but it's just so important for us to keep this rolling in our form and our game plan. I'm really excited for Friday night. Nothing better. And they sibbed us early in the year, and I'd like to get one back on them.
You can finish in the top 6 if you make up 14% on Geelong.
It's going to have to be a good one.
Can't be that hard. It's only Brisbane.
Darcy, great of you to chat to us. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Darcy Cameron downstairs, of course, a premiership player with Collingwood. Good of him to chat to us. We need to wrap things up. We'll take you across to hear the wrap-up as well between Melbourne and Port Adelaide. Melbourne have just won that game. The Demons 2012, 132 to 88-56. Votes in the ABC Football of the Year, gentlemen. Who's responsible?
Ramanauskas.
Oh, okay.
I've passed the votes on to you.
Ramanauskas, you was told at the start of the night.
No,
you feature in Rama's votes.
You arrived late.
Do it. You were told.
Okay.
Do it.
I gave... He's very nasty, isn't he? Yeah.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day for you. What about this guy?
I did the game at Marvel this afternoon.
Of course you did that.
I thought we were mates half. I gave 1 to Jarman Impey. I thought he was Hawthorn's best player tonight.
Good.
I gave 2 to Swadling. I thought he was very good tonight.
He's excellent. He's a fine young player.
Yeah, I think he's a very good player. And I gave 3. I like Josh Dacos's game tonight. I thought he was very good. Nick was good tonight, but he wasn't his greatest night.
He was just average. 35 and 1's his average. 36 and 1.
Yeah, just past his average.
Oh, they're good votes. This is why you do it. You're good at this.
Thanks.
It's been an interesting night on so many levels, including what's been going on at the back of the box. Thanks very much for letting us join you. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. What a game it was. What a result it was. For the second time in 2026, the Hawks and the Magpies have played out a draw. 13-14-92 to 13-14-92. And again, for the second time in these battles, the ball ended up in the hands of Dylan Moore to decide the contest. Unlike last time, when he was able to kick a goal to give the Hawks the draw, this time unable to give them the win. His kick falling a little bit short, but nonetheless take nothing away from what was a cracking contest. Thanks very much for your company. Don't forget, of course, you've got AFL Sunday with Matt Clinch and Cameron Ling tomorrow.
Maybe.
Oh, Courage comes in all forms. If Clinchy turns up tomorrow.
Oh, Marcel over there.
Incredible.
I've gone through 2 packs of lozenges. I'm not sure there's any more left.
I've got full confidence in you, Clinchy. Then the Sunday footy for it. But let's hear how things happen tonight across in Adelaide with Melbourne too good for Port. Take you across there for their wrap of their game between the Power and the Demons. Lauren Arnell, Rod Jamieson, Braden Ingram and Aaron Bryans, who led the coverage, their post-match coverage. Let's join it now.
The most disappointing part of the night is not the scoreboard. It's Aliir being concussed in his 200th game, and that could be part of the reason why many of the fans left. They may have shown up just to support Aliir and congratulate him, and to see him go down in the way that he did just before half-time was disappointing. But largely, this game played out. It was too much of a blowout, Jamo, but largely the game played out as we may have expected based on ladder position.
For those who have just joined us from the MCG, one-way traffic tonight. So Melbourne by 36 at the first break, 37 at the half, 53 at three-quarter time, and up by 76 at the end. Means they've won 6 of their last 7 games, but because of the draw that you're just joining us from, 5 teams fighting for 3rd and 4th in the final round of the season coming up next weekend. So Melbourne 2012, 132. Port 88-56. Rod Jamieson and Lauren Arnell are unpacking it all for you here at the Adelaide Oval, and we'll head down to the rooms very shortly.
Yeah, all class Melbourne. 9 goal scorers. Cade Chandler, he had 4. Bailey Fritsch kicked 2 goal 5 last week. He's ended up with 4 goal 2 tonight. Matt Jefferson with a 3. Bailey Laurie with 2 also, along with Jacob Van Rooyen, and he missed probably 2, so could have had a few more, but just their ability to be able to move the football with speed and precise efficiency when they went forward, particularly in the first 3 quarters. They had it a lot in that last quarter. Really blew out 22-10 inside 50s in the last quarter. Just multiple players that just played their role, used each other well, and their willingness to want to run for each other and their cleanliness around that contested. I felt Port Adelaide Loz got sucked in a lot, like it was like contest, and it was 2 and 3 up, and then Melbourne would stay down around the contest, came to ground, out the side, the back or the front, and being able to spread and go hard. And it was a super impressive win.
Yeah, and the numbers and the work rate we spoke about a lot early in the game, and that was the gap from the beginning, Jamo. And having the numbers in the right position is one thing, but being as clean as Melbourne were, and the left foot, so I know back in the day we saw a Hawthorn run of premiership success and how they leverage those left foot kicks in their team, but we've seen a number of tonight from Melbourne, and Harvey Langford at the front of that, Kate Chandler. I really like the balance that they've got in their team, and Max Gawn, the way that he's leading this side is exceptional. I don't think he had his best game. He was good, but I thought Jordan Sweet overall was better, and that's a testament to Jordan Sweet's year. Gawn still had a good game, but just the evenness for Melbourne. And while Fritsch kicked 4 goals and Chandler kicked 4 goals, there was such a nice spread of contributors. And throughout the call, thinking about a player like Stephen May, who came out of that side late in the preseason, was it, guys? Relatively late in the preseason, and to see someone like Dan Turner, he's a very offensive defender. But to be able to defend in the way that he is, and the system that they have in that back line of how they're supporting each other and peeling off in the right moments, it looks really, really good. And I'm going to be so interested watching how they go in the finals against genuine finals teams, because they just dismantled Port Adelaide tonight.
It has felt like the optics have shifted a little bit for Melbourne, where, yes, Stephen King's first year, they've done tremendously well through the campaign against the adversity of losing some stars and essentially starting again under a new system. But you get past the buys where you go, they're very competitive. And then in the last month and a half, it's changed from, this is a side that is quickly going to become very good to, they're actually already there. And now they're going to be a serious threat in September. Just a matter of where they finish. And right now it's, so tight in terms of that double chance for the 4. The Ds will essentially need Brisbane or Hawthorn to drop their games to the Pies and the Eagles, because the percentage might just be too much. But as we saw today, there were a few chances at some upsets in the draw I don't think many people saw coming. So there's every chance Melbourne could find their way maybe out west and playing Fremantle in the first week. And if they aren't, a home final at the G, where they've been so good through the year, isn't the worst case scenario either for an elimination final.
And that's the whole chat for Melbourne, in my opinion, is like, we know where the finals are going to be played, and where the grand final is played is at the MCG, and this is their home ground, and they play well there. And I just think that leans heavily in their favour to win.
It's just, there's so much chemistry there for a side that's under a new coach. And I mentioned it in the pre-game, but their midfield mix has stayed the same all year. They've had essentially 4 guys, and that 4th one has changed from Windsor to Fitzgerald, but still an amazing performance. Nice to see down here at the Riverbank stand-in, Aliir, who unfortunately was concussed in the second term. Game 200 tonight. His family's travelled from all across the country for it. He'll be chaired off by Sam Palpepper and Jace Burgoyne out there in front of the players' race for Port Adelaide. Their final home game of the season. Definitely didn't go the way Josh Carr was hoping. They've been so competitive through the year with their honourable losses, but the last month has been some of their worst football through the campaign, and they've got Essendon next week to try and at least build some momentum heading into 2027. Now, we'll unpack that incident very shortly for those who just joined us. In the second term, Jacob Van Rooyen leading out for a mark. Aliir cuts in front. Got there in time. There was a couple of seconds. Van Rooyen throws the arm out, collects him with the forearm from behind. Aliir hits the turf face first, concussed, and out for the game. So his season comes to an abrupt end. And if it's anything like the Darcy Fogarty issue a few weeks ago with Harry Cunningham, that was 3 weeks for severe due to the concussion. So we'll unpack it shortly. But the Ds are in the room, so it's time to head down with Brianna Fiore after they won by 76 points.
Lots of cheers as they come into the rooms. They're about to sing the song. Big yawn from Cosy Pickett. He's here, all bandaged up. Here they go.
Grand old flag, it's a high-flying flag. It's the emblem for me and for you. It's the emblem of Team We Love, Team of the red and the blue. Every heart beats true for the red and the blue as we sing a song to you. What we said should all the greatness be begun. Keep your eye on the red and the blue.
He's going to try. I do. He didn't even try.
An emphatic song down there in the room as we'll get some reaction with Bree very shortly in both camps. We're with you for the next half an hour and a bit, so if you do want to get in touch, the text line tonight, 0437 774 774. So the Hawks and the Pies with a draw at the MCG. First time in history that two sides have drawn twice in a campaign. Sets up this thrilling finish to September. Earlier today, Geelong and Brisbane winners to keep their top four hopes alive, and St Kilda with a narrow chance of squeezing into the wild card if Carlton can drop their last two games after defeating Richmond by 49 points. For those who weren't with us, Lauren, I'll throw it to you, Braden. Just describe the scene for us in terms of the incident and how it all played out with Jacob Van Rooyen and earlier.
Yeah, well, Jacob Van Rooyen was leading at the left, the radio dial, or the hill stand end, the cathedral end. It was leading kick inside the forward 50, and Aliir floated in front of him at the last minute. He would have seen him. Lauren and I were discussing this obviously at half-time. Would have seen him to a degree. He floats in behind it to take the mark, and relatively late or very late, he puts up his hand, Van Rooyen, and it is a bit of that swinging arm. And Loz was 100% spot on that it wasn't your normal marking motion, the way that it swung. And by the end of it, it basically looked like he clotheslined him, and Aliir was out before he hit the deck and slammed into the deck, and you knew it was bad straight away. And the one that immediately came to mind was the Darcy Fogarty incident at the SCG only a month or so ago. That was more of a tackle than a marking contest as such, but it was still that swinging arm, and that resulted in a 3-week ban. So the way these things are adjudged, you talked about the matrix earlier and what it's run through. I think at minimum it likely comes out at a 3-week ban. And if you look at the how crucial Van Rooyen has been this season, so he's played every game. He kicked 2 goals, I think tonight, so that's 42 this season. He's been really accurate as well, and previously his best was 30 goals, so he has gone to a whole new level under Stephen King. I think that 30 goals was 2024, so he's already gone far in excess of that. And clearly they've got options to move around in terms of Tom McDonald and throwing some players around, that type of thing. But the way he has been to their structure has been so crucial. And maybe I'm popping into the area of my special comments colleagues alongside of me. But, if he is indeed out for 3 or 4 weeks, that is right to the back end of the finals as well, given the fact that they're unlikely to be, I don't think they can be in the wild card now. So that's a long time if it is 3 weeks, so at a crucial stage in the season.
And Laura, not to bring up old wounds, but you were pretty strong on this. You said it was a rotten act and it should get worse than Darcy Fogarty's 3 weeks.
Yeah, I've seen it pop up on socials already, and I probably wouldn't use the word rotten again if I had my time, but I don't like the action, and I stand by the comment of it being minimum 3.
Under the grading right now would be careless, high and severe because of the concussion, which is what Darcy Fogarty got, and then it's 3 to the tribunal to determine how severe it gets.